An entrepreneur.
Ben Weisenstein.
Ben Weisenstein.
Ben Weisenstein.
I'm Ben Weisenstein.
Life can be very tough. It can have some terrible times. But there's also a lot of wonderfulness about life.
Yeah, man. Hustlers, man. My guy always had business mind, business sense. Now we still standing, man. Boom. We are on. Gabriella Wisdom.
Yes, I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming. Yeah, appreciate it. You made a drive.
I did make a drive. It was like almost 2 hours.
Damn.
It's gonna be like a 4-hour trip altogether.
Wow. I really appreciate that for. I appreciate that for. That says a lot about you, though, that you're willing to make a 2-hour drive, at night to go knock out a podcast. I would venture to say you're probably ambitious.
I thought about canceling because I
respect that.
I had a yesterday and the day before I did 2 13-hour days of filming, and so I was exhausted today.
Ooh.
Yeah, but then I'm like, I'm not gonna. I hate when people cancel. It's like a big problem of mine.
I wouldn't have been too mad.
I would have been mad at myself because I don't want to be known as the person that does that. I feel like, especially like as a model in LA, a lot of the models, I live with photographers.
Yeah.
And a lot of their models cancel on them randomly.
Uh-huh.
And so they get so mad about it. So I try never to cancel on people.
Does that happen often, though? That is like a big thing.
Oh, yeah. Models are super... Well, from what I see, other models are really finicky.
Uh-huh.
And like they'll wake up and they'll just be like, oh, I have a pimple, I'm not coming. Or
damn, I have a pimple right now, so that means I shouldn't film the podcast, right?
Yeah, no, we have to. I'm gonna go home.
Damn, I thought about it. I was like, damn, I got one pimple. I don't know if I can do this.
No, I feel like people get overwhelmed here.
Yeah.
And they decide that, which I think it puts other people out because, especially for me in my day, I have everything planned out, especially when I have something to do.
Yep.
So if people cancel on me, it really messes it up. Or if they try to reschedule, like I'm usually booked for a few weeks at a time. So
fair. It's like a respect thing.
It is. It is. It's very. But like obviously things come up and like you can't really do much about being in the industry I'm in. You randomly get called in for things.
Uh-huh.
So when that happens, there's not much you can do. I mean, you just have to hope that people are nice about it, especially when it's like something that's like this,
Yeah.
Like, if I would have got a really big, like, paid job, I would have been like,
honestly,
hey,
and I'd be cool with that. I'd be like, yo, go get that money.
I think it's all about the way you communicate it.
True.
And not just being like, hey, I can't make it. Like, I feel like I over-communicate whenever I can. I'm like, hey, I got this awesome job. I'm really sorry I have to cancel.
Yeah. Usually
everyone's really cool about it. I've only had one person be really difficult about a situation once.
What were they like? I want to hear this.
Oh, gosh. So, I was a photographer, and I was driving, like, an hour and a half, and I got in some job that was actually paying me, and this was just, like... I love doing photography. I love doing modeling with photographers.
Yep.
But a lot of times the people that I'm shooting with for content, it's like free for both of us. Like it's just like for both of our uses.
Exactly.
And so we'd had this plan for a while, but I told him, I was like, hey, I'm so sorry. Like I picked up a really good paying job and it's during the shoot. And he was like, I mean, obviously he's frustrated. I would be frustrated too.
Yeah.
I thought I really communicated it and I was really apologetic.
Did he freak out on you? He was like, I'm never working with you again.
Oh, no, he freaked out and he was like, how dare you? And then I was like, I felt horrible because I already felt bad in the first place.
Damn.
So then I was like, I can come earlier. So I remember I did like a 14-hour day that day and I drove like the hour and a half for the photo shoot. We did the photo shoot super early and then I went to whatever it is I had to do. And then I never got the photos because he was mad at me.
What?
Yeah,
you didn't even get the photos?
No,
did you follow up? You're like, give me those photos.
A few times, but I don't like to harass people. And then it's like 6 months later, and I'm like, oh yeah, that photo shoot I did. I'm like,
like, am I ever
get a photo? Is that going to happen, or are we just like scrapping that idea?
Right? Are there a lot of shady like photographers and stuff too, and just like shady people in the industry? Or
I have met some people that I do not like.
Yeah.
For personal reasons, and
let's hear them. What are the personal reasons?
I don't like the way they treat girls. I don't like, or sometimes like their technical ability is less of the reason I don't like them. It's more of the way they treat women or the way they talk or the way they treat me.
Women like objects or talk down to them, that kind of thing.
I can only think of 5, and I know a lot. I can only think of 5 that really left a really bad taste in my mouth. So, I mean, typically I feel like photographers do get a bad rap nowadays. But I know a lot of really amazing photographers that really just like to create art, and I really respect them.
Yeah.
There's
there probably are a lot of creepy photographers out there, just like, hey, I'll give you a free shoot, and like there's ulterior motive for sure.
There are. I think as much like, especially if you're not doing it for money or for work, and it's just a hobby, and you're not submitting to magazines, and you're just literally taking photos just for Instagram. The older you get, the creepier it is.
Are there like 70-year-old photographers out there? That's creepy.
Yeah, see, like if it's like a 7-year-old photographer, I mean like not the age that matters, but it's like an older photographer, and he's like submitting these to magazines, and this is what he does for a hobby, but like he enjoys like, you know, getting put in magazines, whatever. That's fine. Like I respect that, I understand that, but when it's somebody who has been on Instagram for forever and all they do is create for Instagram, but it's all naked girls. Yeah,
it's a little weird when that's all they do.
They get the
it's like, what are you doing, bro? Are there any girl photographers? Do you see that often? Really?
I do. Not maybe as much. Yeah. But I think it's becoming more popular because girl power.
Yeah, and girl power. Shout out to girl power.
I love working with female photographers for the reason that it's like I know they just want to create with me. Yeah. Same with like I have a few photographers I love creating with, because whenever we get together, like I know they have no ulterior motives, which sometimes I have to question with some photographers, and I really have to like lay that friendship line down the moment I meet them.
So is this like is it a pretty consistent thing? I feel like it kind of is, or no?
I think it is, but this is an unpopular opinion, and
hey, whatever the opinion is, it's an opinion. That's cool.
My opinion is I see a lot of young girls who are beautiful flirt with older photographers or photographers in general. Yep. Maybe they don't even realize they're doing it so much, but they're very flirty and touchy because
with the photographer.
Yeah, and I think it's like subconsciously, like they know that, like, you know, maybe they'll get more edits, or they want to be liked by him, or you know, whatever. But then the photographer, you know, he's reading that body language, and so he's like, oh, this girl likes me. But she doesn't actually like him. Yeah, she's just alluding to that because she wants to be in better standing with him, I guess. Yeah. And so I think it's like, that's why I try to never do that. I try to never be flirty or touchy.
That's smart.
I try to be super professional when I'm on sets. But like,
and then you get respect.
Yeah, I've dated a photographer before, so I mean, like, obviously.
Did y'all meet that way though, or was it?
Yes. Oh, and I actually pursued him for a long time. But
did it start professionally though?
It started professionally. Okay. It was actually really hard to get him to like open up. I feel like for a long time I was like, hey, I like you. Hey, I like you. And then he was like, no.
So I can't go there.
No, yeah. I personally do not want to ever date a photographer again. Yeah. Not saying I wouldn't.
What? Why? Just
it ended
generally
really bad, and the fact that I'm a model as well, it really hurt that aspect of it. I kind of stopped modeling really after the breakup because a lot of things went into that, and it was just really bad. Like, he didn't want anyone to work with me, and then like people felt like they had to pick sides if they did work with me.
Oh, it was super possessive.
Super possessive, but it was also just like a really bad breakup.
Damn.
Probably the worst breakup I've ever had.
Damn. Yeah. Do you care to share, or you want to hold that in? Yeah. You don't need to share if that's something you want to hold back. I feel like it's a really
personal matter.
Yeah. No. Because hold it in then.
Yeah.
Yeah. The people don't need to know.
The people that know, they know.
They know. The people that know.
But it's in the past, and I would prefer, like, just for him.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't respect me, I will respect him.
If he's watching this.
Oh, he will.
But no, like that's cool that you still have that level of respect. You're just like, I'm not gonna.
There's no reason to get back into it. It's old news.
Exactly.
Hopefully he's moved on. I have, so.
Exactly. Yeah, and relationships are tough. Like,
relationships are tough, and it was probably the first relationship that I've ever been on the other end of it, because I feel like in every relationship when it ended, I was the one that was like, no, don't leave. Yeah. And it was the first relationship whenever it ended, I was like, I'm free. Yeah. And I feel like that was not the... I don't think I went about it in a mean way. Yeah. But I definitely wanted that relationship to be over, and I'd never experienced that before, but I think it was part of growing. Yeah.
No, and that's the thing though, like a relationship. Are you in a relationship now or no?
I am not. Okay, I am with myself.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, see, there's nothing wrong with being with yourself.
I've been dating myself for about a year now.
Yeah, but see, isn't that better though than like settling and being with the wrong person?
It is, honestly. Like, which is funny because when I moved to LA, I met somebody.
Wait, so you moved from LA, because we were talking a little before this, from Texas, you said?
I moved from Texas. I'm originally from Oklahoma.
Did you know I'm from Texas too?
I did not. Where are you from?
Houston.
I lived in Weatherford by Fort Worth.
Okay, I was going to say Dallas. So just
an hour from Dallas, 30 minutes from Fort Worth. Nice. I lived there for 5 years. I absolutely loved it.
From Oklahoma originally?
From Oklahoma originally, yes. And then from Texas to here.
Okay, so Oklahoma, how long did you live in Oklahoma?
I was born and raised there until I was like 19.
Okay. Oh, so you were in Oklahoma most of your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't until after my 1 year of college that I was like, I'm leaving.
Yeah. You're like, I'm out. Oh, so you went to college for what, by the way?
1 year.
Okay. I went like a year and a half then Deb. So what was you were in college? Where were you in college first off?
Where?
Yeah.
CCC.
CCC, is that, is it somewhere in California?
Oh, no. That was in Oklahoma. It's in Oklahoma.
Okay. So you're still in Oklahoma for college.
I was still in Oklahoma for college, but I realized that I was going because my mom told me she wanted me to go. And the whole time I was there, I never felt drawn to study anything at all. Except I really enjoyed my writing class. Yeah. That was the only thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't make a single friend in college. College was not fun for me.
It was not fun.
I never had the college experience. It makes me sad because I see other people having it and I'm like, I wish I would have had that.
To an extent, but like, yeah, because I feel that too, because I was there for like a year and a half and I did make a few good friends, but like, it's probably a lot of people I didn't get to meet because I didn't stay, and like, same, I didn't have...
I went to class and I left.
Exactly.
I was never part of a study group. I was never... I literally did not meet a single person.
Do you think also, though, because you weren't passionate about whatever the fuck it is that they're trying to teach you? By the way, sorry, we do cuss on this, and you're allowed to if you want at any point.
Okay, yeah. Good to know. No, I made the mistake of my high school boyfriend. We went to college together, and we got all of our classes together. Oh. And then he started cheating on me with a girl in one of the classes.
Oh, damn.
So that could have been one.
Was this like a high school sweetheart type thing?
It was a high school sweetheart type thing.
Oh.
And anyone that's considering getting classes with your significant other, I highly recommend you do not do so.
Do not do so.
Do not do so.
Why? It just is not the move.
It's just not the move. It really isn't. It made college miserable for me, and if I hadn't, maybe I would have finished.
But see, then you wouldn't have gone down the path you went on.
I don't regret anything.
Exactly.
I went through a lot of years of difficulty and a lot of bad things, but it led me here, and it was pushing me to something better. But just for future reference, if anyone's wondering how fun it would be to get all classes with your boyfriend or girlfriend, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Highly recommend not doing that. Keep your life separate.
Keep it separate. Yeah. That is good. Like, keep business and personal separate. That's
but it's also...
to an extent. That's what that is. I hit the mic.
Oh, okay. I was like,
what was that? We got a little music.
Yeah, I was like, who's on the...
Got something coming in the banjo in a second.
One of the biggest things I've learned with dating myself this last year.
Wait, so you go on a dating app and you just find yourself and you keep swiping right? No. But only to yourself?
Actually, this is my date day usually, Tuesdays, because I'm also a little cheap. So
I appreciate you putting the date day away for a little podcast day.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. I did do a little bit of my date day earlier, but I usually take myself to a movie and I go get sushi.
Solid.
That's what I like to do.
Solid.
And I usually go see like a matinee at like...
Really?
I was going to go see The Joker today. I didn't get to.
Ooh.
And that was another reason I was like, should I cancel and just go see The Joker?
I mean, that wouldn't have been a bad move. I would have respected it. Like, yeah, you're going to see The Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you, do you think it's going to be a good movie?
I've heard really good things. I think.
Are there good reviews?
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
What's the worry? Like, people say there's like a security threat because of the movie. People are making threats.
I did not hear anything about that.
Yeah, crazy shit. Wait, when did it come out? It just came out?
It just came out. This is the first Tuesday since it's been out, I believe.
Oh.
Because I go on Tuesdays.
Yeah. Oh, so Tuesdays, literally, that's your fucking, that's your date day.
Yeah, because it's $5 at the AMC. I don't like paying $17 for a movie ticket. I think that's stupid.
Wait, movie tickets are $17 now? I literally never go to movies.
Okay, so I only go on Tuesdays because like I'm just like I'd rather buy a shirt. Sorry.
Smart.
I'd rather buy food. So I go on Tuesdays, I pay $5, and then I spend the rest of that $10 buying sushi or
smart.
More than that.
So yeah.
It's like a cheap. I'm like a less than $30 date for myself.
All you guys out here who are good guys, you heard it first. Yeah.
I'm not hard to please.
That's a good thing.
Literally, take me to a movie and buy me sushi.
Right? And see, that's a thing that like people have trouble with. They don't want to be with someone who like, you know, wants so much, which there's a lot of that on both sides out in California. But
there is.
Yeah. Do you think more of that here than in the South? Like more people that are more materialistic?
Very. I've noticed a definite difference when I have dated guys. They're hesitant to buy anything for me on the first date, and I'm hesitant to let them.
Interesting.
Because I don't want... I'm never going to go out with somebody because I don't like them. If I'm going out with you, I like you. Maybe by the end of the date, I won't like you.
Truth.
But
there's some level of interest.
There's some level of interest at the beginning, and it's actual interest.
Yeah.
So it's always awkward because I'm always like, I always offer to pay, and I always try to pay because I don't want them thinking that I'm just trying to get whatever that is, because I know that happens out here.
Yeah.
Whereas in Texas or Oklahoma, I would have just let them pay most likely.
Yeah,
just be
I don't need to get that across.
Like, I was raised in Oklahoma. I like a gentleman. I like a guy who pays.
Opens the door, pays.
I like it.
Exactly.
I think it's gentlemanly.
Yeah.
If you're in a relationship, I don't think the guy always has to pay. I think it's nice to be like, I mean, pay as much as you like.
Yeah.
I can also take care of myself.
Exactly.
And especially if anyone's ever going to like hang that over my head, that's not going to happen.
That's not cool. Anyone hanging money over someone's head is like one of the least cool things somebody can do.
Yeah, the bad breakup that I didn't want to discuss too much.
You're like, but now I'm getting into it.
Well, this is just one part that I don't mind talking about.
Yeah.
After the breakup, he tried to get me to pay him $800 for things. He said over our whole relationship.
Billing you?
Yeah, he was like, you owe me this and this and this because I took you here and here and here. I was like, that was my Christmas gift. And I didn't even want to go, and you insisted I go, and I told you I didn't have the money, and then you paid for it.
That's low. Yeah. That is pretty low. Yeah.
I was just like, I'm not paying you.
So it was like an invoice. It's like, yeah.
Basically, it was like a text invoice, and he was like, send me this money, blah, blah. And I was like, why?
Like, no, there's zero chance I'm doing that.
I'm not paying to be in a miserable relationship. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So how many, like, have you had any really good relationships though?
Yeah, I've
like,
had.
So wasn't the right fit type of thing?
I dated a guy in Texas. I would say that's my only really good relationship.
Yeah.
Just because every relationship I've ever had has taught me something. And I'm actually friends with pretty much all of my exes in some form. That's cool. Not close friends.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little weird. But like friendly enough to like catch up every now and then.
That says something. If you can still be friends, like that's a good thing.
The longer the space grows from that relationship, the closer I feel like we can be. And like the more we can catch up, as long as there's no like feelings.
Exactly.
Because when you're in a relationship with somebody, especially like every relationship I've been in, the shortest relationship was 9 months. It was 3 years, 2 years.
That was the shortest.
Yeah, 9 months was the shortest.
Wow. What was the longest?
Date a lot. The latest was 3 years.
Okay, 3 years.
No, the longest was
the longest was 3 years. That's a minute. Yeah. When did the 3 year end? Not that we'll stick on relationships the whole time, but 19. I'm curious. Okay.
And that one was a really traumatizing relationship.
Damn.
We're friendly now, but it was just I learned a lot about myself, but it was very traumatizing, and it was I had to break a lot of things of habits I had gotten from him.
What are habits that you like that you broke that you feel like really helped you to break?
That was when I was 19. I'm 26 now. Yeah. And I feel like just this year I've started to actually break those habits that I formed back then. And one of the worst habits I have in a relationship is making that person my everything in my entire life. Yeah. That is a very common mistake because
a lot of people do that.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you break up, where are your friends? Your day-to-day is with that person. You need to have a separation in life.
True.
You can definitely I want to be able to be with somebody that I can do life with.
Yeah.
But we have to be able to go off and see friends. You
have to have your own life too.
I didn't. Yeah. My life was every waking hour was I'm either working or I'm with him or I'm waiting for him.
Yeah.
It was sad. And then other bad habits
that's so common, by the way. Truly, though, that's one of as you're saying that, I'm thinking that is probably the most common thing. People, because you get so wrapped up, they love whoever they're with, and then you just want to be with them, and you forget about all your friends and the rest of your life, and then you just get stuck. But
that's what makes the breakup so traumatizing. It's because your life is over.
Your everything.
Because that is the life that you had, and that part of that is over. So it's if that's all you do is spend time with that person, that's why breakups can be so bad.
True.
And then another thing is staying with people I don't trust.
Yeah.
And then
trust is everything.
Checking their phone.
Yeah.
I haven't done that I haven't been in a relationship for a while.
Yeah.
But I don't want to ever be with anyone I have to check their phone ever again.
100%.
And I don't want to.
Exactly.
It shouldn't even be a problem. I should be able to pick up their phone and be I don't have my phone, let me call somebody, and it not be a problem. But I should never be let me go through my boyfriend's phone. If I don't trust you, we're not going to be together.
Not going to work.
It's not worth it.
Yeah. Friendship, relationship, everything, you need trust.
You need trust. And then probably just settling for guys. Settling for people or staying in relationships that I wasn't happy with.
Yep.
Past the point of not being happy because I was comfortable.
Yes.
Or because it was better to break than breaking up because I was scared.
Better than being single and
and now I'm
doing movie night and sushi alone, which is actually badass.
It's actually really fun because guess what? I always get what I want.
Right?
I get to always pick the movie. No one's ever whining
exactly.
about it. Yeah.
So is that really a consistent? You're going solo each Tuesday.
If I don't have anything else, obviously if I'm booked on something, I do that. I'm not I cannot work. I have to date myself. No. But
are you serious?
Yeah,
yes,
no.
I am.
Usually on Tuesdays I wake up, I go to the gym, and then I go go to a movie. And if I wake up late, then I go to a movie and then go to the gym.
Solid. So it really is routine.
Yeah, it's really routine. I usually grab sushi. Sometimes I go and I like grab something to eat in the movie. And I'm
smiling because like I feel like I really try to learn, and I really am learning something on every podcast. This I think is something I'm going to apply. I think I might do a single movie night by myself.
No, you totally should.
With sushi. Is it all you can eat sushi or what?
No, I haven't found that yet. That's good.
You got to do that. There's a good all you can eat in Laguna. You try that next time you're here. Pretty solid.
I will.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it just the good relationship I was in. Yeah. He was younger than me. And
just like by 10 years or?
By 2.5.
That's not too much.
Yeah, but we were 22.
Okay.
And we're both young. The relationship I was in for 3 years, I wanted to get married. Yeah. And that didn't happen. And I was kind of like in the mindset, I'm like, I'm 22. Like everyone I know in high school is like has kids or they're in the South. In the South. Yeah. And so I was like, I really want to get married. And I honestly like still to this day, I would still probably marry that guy.
Damn, that's real. That's real. I appreciate the honesty.
No, I probably still he's the best person I've ever dated, and but it's
is he back together with someone or is he with someone? He's married. Oh wow.
Yeah. All right. He just married somebody. He just married the girl that he dated after me.
It's not meant to be. Then you're gonna find a better guy.
It's not meant to be, but I don't know if I'll find better, but I'll find just as good. He was an amazing person.
Why was he so amazing? I want to hear this. Like, as a guy who, like, strives to be decent.
As a guy who tries to be decent. Okay, so my first relationship, the one for 3 years, that guy broke me down. He cheated on me so much. He really, he made me feel like I was crazy. He made me feel like
manipulative.
I wasn't good enough. Yeah. Like, everything that was wrong was my fault, and I was wrong. I wasn't beautiful. I wasn't worth someone being honest with me or being loyal to me. Damn. And so this younger guy that I dated, whenever he actually always had a thing for me, he was my employee. So embarrassing. He was my employee at my work, and he always had a thing for me. I never liked him ever because when I met him, he was like 17. Okay. And I was like, he's like 16. And I was like, he's a child.
And wait, how old were you at the time?
I was 2 years older, so I was like 19. So
18, 19.
But like, I appreciate it. He was really sweet. So like, at first I didn't do anything about it, but then like I would be like, oh, can you do this? Like I'd ask him to do the jobs no one else wanted to do because I know he would do it for me. And I didn't want to like make it. So like I did exploit him and his feelings a little bit. And then after
he's like, she likes me. She is asking me to clean the toilets.
Exactly. I'd be like, someone threw up. Can you get that?
Oh my God, she likes me.
Exactly. And he's just a Southern gentleman. I don't know. His family raised him right.
Nice.
I was still going through the really bad relationship, and he was just my friend. Mm-hmm. And he started going to the gym I was going to. So when that relationship ended, it was winter, and he had a truck, so he would take me to the gym because I couldn't get there in my car. I don't like driving in that weather. Yeah. Because he found a way. He was like, oh, if I can get this time with her. And then we started working out together. And then one day he just kissed me, and I was like, whoa, we're just friends. And he was like, no, we're not. And I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, it's like that.
Yeah, no, like he was like super direct about it, and I always kind of knew he liked me, but.
Did you appreciate the directness, or is it too much?
I actually did. Yeah. Which that can be a very fine line. Like,
right?
Please,
that's why I asked that.
Kiss me.
But exactly.
For him,
that's
it worked.
Very direct.
For him, it worked. Like he kissed me, and I literally was like, I did kiss him back, and then I pulled back, and I was like, no. Yeah. And then he was like,
go clean the toilet.
Yeah, no. He looked at me, and he was like, yeah, I'm not taking that, and he like kissed me again, and I was like. Instantly in that moment, I instantly did not see a kid anymore, which is what I did see before. Yeah. I saw like a man.
You grew like a long beard suddenly.
Basically.
What just happened?
It was like I woke we went to the gym and he was a child, and when we left later that day I was like, oh my God.
You sure you didn't just like take some roids or something?
I don't know, but he was just really good to me. He really broke down my barriers, and like I remember he would like let me cry about my ex-boyfriend. Like he knew I was crying. We never talked about it. That's real. Yeah.
That's real. Because that means he actually just cared about you.
Yeah, he just like and I would tell him, I'd be like, I'm so sorry. Like you don't deserve this. And I'd be like, I still love him because I'm like I was like all messed up. And he would just like hug me, let me cry it out. And wow. I just don't know if I could do that for someone else.
Right? That sounds like a real dude.
He was just really good for me, and his family is amazing. My in-laws. If a guy has a lot to live up to, my in-laws have even more to live up to.
Damn.
I'm in love with his family.
Do you still talk? Or?
I do still talk to them.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I do. Does he know that?
Probably, we don't talk. I think it's probably inappropriate for us to have conversations.
Because he's married now. Yeah.
So ever since he's been dating this girl, we haven't really talked. And I'm very honestly like, even though I say, like, if there's anyone I'd marry, I'd still pick him.
Low-key, you don't mean that fully. Or you do.
I mean, I don't know who he is anymore, really,
fair.
but the person that I knew was still the best person I've ever dated, and we broke up because I think I scared him off with marriage, which is funny since he's the one that's married now. But it just, no one's ever, when we were together, I've never felt like I didn't have anything to worry about.
Yeah.
He treated me with such respect, like.
That's real.
Yeah, he would come to my house whenever I was at work and clean it for me. He would leave me notes all the time. He would randomly do sweet things for me. I remember I'd go see him at college and he would have $10 and he would spend it buying me food.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I mean, like, taking me on a date or something.
Yeah.
But it's like, he did a lot for me.
He was a real dude.
Yeah, like, one time I was moving out of my apartment to another apartment, and I was really stressed out because I had to work all day, and I was like, how am I going to do this? And I hadn't even met his family yet.
Yeah.
When I'd worked like a 10-hour day, and when I got home, him and his dad had moved everything to my other house. I'd never even met his dad before.
Jeez.
And I remember getting home and everything was done. Everything was moved. Like 3 days of work was just, they did it all.
This does sound like a pretty good guy.
Right? I remember I told him I had to go to the trash to like throw something away to like a dumpster, and I literally bawled. And I remember I called my mom and I was like, I don't even deserve this.
Yeah.
And she was like, just enjoy it. But like, I was so blown away by the fact that somebody, first of all, his dad would spend all day doing this.
The dad as well, yeah.
Yeah, and he wasn't even technically my boyfriend yet, I don't think. We'd just been like...
It's actually just a random guy.
We were dating, but I didn't want him to be my boyfriend ever because he was younger than me. And I didn't want to date someone younger than me.
Do you feel like you compare every guy to him now, Loki? That's real. That's real, of course. Of course. In every way or just in like some ways?
No, just in the way they treat me.
Yeah.
I think I've definitely gotten to the point... I'm actually really happy he found somebody, and it's like,
that's good.
With my other ex-boyfriends, when they date another girl, I would hate them.
Yeah.
And I've never disliked this girl ever. I think...
Because that means you really care about him.
Yeah, no, like, she clearly makes him happy, and in some way, I almost love her for that, because I had a lot of insecurities that he did not have to deal with. I had a lot of insecurities. Like, I had a job I hated, and I hated my life.
What was the job that you hated?
Working at Chick-fil-A.
Wait, that's not bad. Wait, but why'd you hate it though?
I was not living up to my potential, and like looking back now, I hated it because it's not what I wanted to do, and I just felt like it's what I was stuck with, and I had worked there for so long, and I was making such good money, like I didn't know anything.
So when did you start at Chick-fil-A?
When I was 15.
When you're 15.
And I tried to quit every year until I was like 20, and every time I tried to quit, they just give me more money and a better title. So I just stayed.
Yeah, okay.
Like, I never wanted to work there.
Yeah, but so how did that even start? You're just like, all right, this is a good option.
My mom forced me to get a job there.
That's real.
And then I was like, I'll just get myself fired. She was like, if you get fired, you're grounded. And I was like,
great.
Yeah, so I ended up working at Chick-fil-A, and I just stayed there, but I was really miserable, and I was not the person I am now.
What part of it though was miserable? Was it like, was there a feeling of like, this is not what I'm supposed to be doing right now, or what was it?
So whenever I drive to work, it'd be about a 5-minute drive, and I remember thinking, like, what if I just drove away and never came back?
Yeah.
I would be at work, and I would literally go cry in the bathroom stall because I did not want to be there. I did not want to be stuck in this life. I did not want to work at Chick-fil-A. But I made really good money. I bought a house with that money. I didn't know what else to do.
Yeah, how old were you when you bought the house?
I was 22 when I bought my first house.
That's boss.
And there were wonderful moments of working at Chick-fil-A. There were wonderful things that came out of it. But I settled. I settled in my career. I settled in my life. And I got in this place, and I was like, it's too late for me to start over. And at 21,
that's crazy.
To think, it's too late for me to start over, that's insane.
Yeah.
But I did.
But it makes sense to feel that way because you're 21 for the first time. It feels like you're old, even though you still have so much time.
Exactly.
So yeah, you got to a point where you're like, all right, I can't do this anymore.
I just took a lot of that out on him, and I feel like I really ruined that relationship. So it's, I'm just glad that he found somebody that treats him the way he deserves.
Yeah.
And the last time we ever talked, he literally told me, he's like, I have nothing bad to say about you.
That's real.
Like, I will never tell anyone anything bad about you because there's nothing to say. And I told the same thing to him.
That's real.
So that's why that's like my best relationship.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in every breakup, there's like, don't get me wrong, I was mad because I wanted to be with him.
Fair.
And there was resentment. Yeah.
Of course.
But like, ultimately, it was a great breakup. And it was it was a relationship full of respect and loyalty.
Yeah.
And he was my best friend.
Isn't that like, I feel like that's what everyone seeks though, like legitimately, like just to have a best friend, right?
And
like,
I think I forget sometimes, especially whenever I'm dating somebody new, that like when we first started dating, I still was in love with someone else. Wow. And like it took time.
How does that work? I'm asking for a friend because I may have dealt with a somewhat similar situation where I met a girl who just got out of a relationship recently who I was really interested in. Yeah, I want to hear that.
So I knew that this guy I was with, he was a really bad guy. He cheated on me a lot. And I knew I couldn't stay with him.
Yeah.
I knew that my life would be miserable.
Wasn't the man of your dreams.
No, but he felt like he owned me.
Damn.
He felt like he controlled me. He felt like I was his property.
I feel like that's a common theme.
Yeah.
Right?
He was never going to let me go.
Yeah.
Like, even to this day, sometimes he'll call me and be like, it should have been you. And I'm like,
damn.
No, I'm very glad it wasn't.
No.
But, because we still talk. We haven't talked in a while, but we still talk like once a year or so.
Yeah, just once every 2 days.
Once every 2 days, yeah.
Yeah.
No, he still calls me every once in a while and tells me some sad story.
You'll take his calls though. That's nice.
I'll take his calls. Sometimes it makes me feel better, and I'm like, what I escaped.
Right.
Look how far I've come.
Exactly. Right.
And it's like I know that he's still, to him, I'm the one that always got away, and to the other one, he's the one that got away from me.
Do you feel like everyone has that? Like there's
Everyone
like that person that's like,
everyone has that.
That person got away.
I think so. Because it took me losing him to the next relationship I'm going to be in. I'm going to appreciate it in such a different way that I've never appreciated anything.
So
because
real.
I know what it's like to lose that.
Right. And it also, I think, going through relationships, like I feel like I'll be a better boyfriend the next time around because I've learned, like, you know, all sorts of stuff. Yeah.
Honestly, if it wasn't for dating the guy in Texas, I don't think I'd be a great person. Like, he really made me a better person, and he continues to make me a better person in ways he doesn't even realize.
So the guy that you loved a lot, he was in Texas, not Oklahoma.
Texas, no.
Okay, gotcha.
No. And
Weatherford, is that what you said?
Weatherford,
okay.
But he's just an amazing person. Like, he's the most selfless person I've ever met, and he did a lot to help me that I did not deserve.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's just you never know how people are going to shape your life.
True.
And it sucks to have that person that did get away. But I do believe there's someone better out there for
100%.
me. Yeah, no, I do.
It is a frustrating process though, isn't it?
It is.
It's very frustrating because I mean, it sounds like you're like me in the sense of like very picky, but like you want to like get it right. So it's frustrating because you're not going to just give in and be like, all right, this guy's good enough.
In the past, I've always settled, and I absolutely refuse to settle now.
Smart.
Yeah, and I
no matter how long you have to wait.
I have a lot of rules now for dating.
Can I hear the rules? I want to hear the rules.
I will not date somebody that I do not trust. The moment I stop trusting you, and like that's something that I've always like, oh well, I'm gonna make an excuse. Like well, he didn't mean to not tell me.
Yeah.
Oh well, you know, we weren't technically like a thing yet. No.
Yeah.
Like when someone respects you, they will tell you things that are not easy to tell you.
Yeah.
Just like I would, and
They'll be very honest.
Very honest.
Yeah.
And so I will not ever date someone I do not trust.
But do you have like a list of like what you're seeking to, like in guys? Yeah.
I wrote it down recently because I feel like there's power in writing things down.
Smart.
So I wrote a list of how I would like him to look.
I'm writing that down so I don't forget. Yeah, fair. What does he have to look like?
Not bald.
Not bald. That's a high requirement. So Larry David couldn't be on the list?
No.
Damn, but Larry David's the man.
I mean,
is Larry David single?
I have met someone recently who is my ideal man.
Oh, let's hear.
There's nothing to really talk about. He's with somebody else.
Okay.
So it's not. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, it would be, if we ever were to be together, I think it would be like so far in the future because it would have the relationship he's in would have to end, and then he'd have to get over it, which I don't even know if that's possible for him. Sadly.
Damn.
I was waiting in the wings. Trust me. I was like, they broke up, and so I was like,
oh, so they did break up.
They did break up, and I thought this was my time to.
Is it the time? Wait, this just happened, or
no? They recently got back together.
Oh.
Much to my sadness.
Wow. Okay. So what do you think though? I feel like
I would never want somebody who is replacing me. That's another thing on my list.
Right.
I am not what's the word I wrote down? I am not a consolation prize.
Okay.
I am not. And I will never be someone's consolation prize. Like,
you gotta be the first.
I'm the first choice because I would never be with somebody who isn't my first choice.
Boom.
And so
smart.
Kind of like whenever I was really hoping things would work out with him, I was kind of worried. I was like, even if he's with me, like I'm always going to feel like the consolation prize.
Yeah.
And you never know how things can work out.
True.
I haven't given up hope, but I know that I probably should.
No, I mean, don't ever give up hope.
Well, it's inappropriate.
Yeah. But life's weird. The way things work in life is just weird. Yeah. You know, the people you meet along the way and the things that it's just you never know.
No, you never know. And I feel very drawn to this person, so I'm just like, there is a reason, because I literally try to push it out of my mind. Yeah. And then it just will not stop, and I'm just like, okay, it's on him. It's not.
Right.
I literally put all my cards on the table. So
what else? What else are you seeking in this guy? Now. There you go. Yeah. So guy can't be bald. Can't be Larry David.
Honestly,
does he have to be like stable? Maybe doing decent.
But the older I get, the less I care about how they look. Obviously, I want to be attracted to you.
I think looks matter. I mean, to be fair,
they do matter. But
personality matters a ton.
The younger in my past, they've mattered too much.
Yeah.
And now, when I meet people, I want to click with them. I want to have chemistry. I want to like the same things.
True.
I think it's good to be different. I think it's good to like balance each other out, but I do want to like similar things.
Yeah.
And have similar interests. I want to be able to do life together.
Exactly.
My ideal guy wants to take me to the gym and then take me to church and take me to go get sushi.
Exactly. And go to a movie, right?
Go to a movie. Like, and that's like one thing I feel like guys don't understand is if you ask me out to dinner, that's great. I'm going to enjoy going. Thanks.
Do you do a lot of like dinner dates? Because I find them so weird. I just like don't do that.
I haven't dated a lot lately, but I feel like mostly it has been dinner dates. But what guys don't understand is if you ask me to go do something and then it doesn't have to cost money. It means more when you put more effort into it versus the money. And I feel like some guys are like, I'll just buy her flowers. I love flowers, but like
is that not aggressive on a first date though?
Oh no, not on a first date.
I was like, I feel so weird bringing flowers on a first date.
I'm saying if I was dating somebody for like a month or two and they were like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go buy her flowers. Honestly, I would love that, yes. But if you want to like do something that no one's ever done, like set up a romantic date somewhere. Go be like, you know what? I found this place to watch the sunset and I'm going to take her and, you know, I'm going to bring chairs and maybe like her favorite snack.
Yeah.
That would literally be like, wow.
Put thought into it.
Like flowers is like 75%. That's like 100. Like that's going to stick out.
Yeah.
And I don't see like, I feel like if I was a guy, I would have every girl like eating out of my hand because, and like not on purpose, but like I would do something.
You know
like
what
that.
to do. Yeah.
No.
See, my thing though is like I'm willing to go like all the way there, but only if I'm super into a girl. I'm not going to do it on like a first or second date. Like I need to have like a real bond, you know?
I did date a guy last year and we only dated for a few months, but he would randomly like message me and just be like, just text me and be like, what are you doing tonight? Nothing. I have a surprise for you. Be ready at this time. And it was like really simple things. Like one time his friend was renting an Airbnb and he just asked his friend to leave for a few hours and then there was a hot tub.
Yeah.
And so he just like took me to this hot tub and there was a good view of the city.
Nice.
And honestly, I thought that was adorable.
Yeah.
He didn't spend any money on it. It was
It was thoughtful. He didn't have to spend money.
It was cute
smart.
he was like, be ready. Like bring this. Like it's a surprise.
Right.
And then another time he took me to like a comedy show.
Do you think girls overall do like surprises, right? As long as it's a good surprise.
As long as it's a good surprise.
So let's backtrack. So you started in Oklahoma.
I did.
And then Texas. I want to go on the college thing for a second. I'm curious about that. So you were in school and you're just like, all right, this isn't for me. Was it more so the boyfriend thing though? It
was a lot. I was in a very interesting position. I just moved in with my boyfriend. Yeah. And we just got all our classes.
So I moved in at what? Like 19? Yeah.
So my parents had moved 2 hours from where we lived.
Okay.
And my job, my college, my boyfriend, my friends that I still have. They were all where I lived at that time.
Yep.
And so I didn't want to leave. If my parents had not have left, I would not have moved out.
Yeah.
But they left, so it kind of forced my hand.
Yep.
Me and my boyfriend moved in together. My parents are very religious. They ended up disowning me.
Really?
So I started college being.
So they're very religious.
Yeah, they're more relaxed now. But I started college being kicked out of my family, told I could not talk to my siblings, told that I did not have parents anymore.
Because you moved in with your...
Wow. And I just moved in, and so I just started paying bills, and I just started working 40 hours a week at Chick-fil-A, and I was taking a full class schedule.
Was that surprising to you, or did you think they'd react that way?
I was hoping they wouldn't.
Yeah.
But it was mostly my mom.
Yeah.
And I think I'm the oldest. And so everything...
How many siblings?
8. I'm the oldest of 8.
8?
Yeah.
Whoa, I did not see that coming.
But the oldest gets the worst. My brother lives with his girlfriend now, and it's totally fine.
So they're over that.
I walked so he could run. Basically.
Exactly. That was nice. And he's running.
I feel like I did everything for them because they don't, my parents don't even care about a lot of stuff they used to care about because I was the oldest. So everything I did was the first time the kid had done it.
Right.
So my parents were super against it. And also my mom hated him, and she had plenty of reason to, but I was so in love with this guy.
Of course. So he
could literally make me do anything. I was literally ready to marry him.
Wow.
He had me where he wanted me.
There's such a pressure though in the South to marry young and have kids young.
There is. And he was also my first boyfriend. He was my first everything.
Yeah.
So he had a lot of control over me.
Yeah, of course.
And
that's human.
Yeah, I was very naive. Yeah. But it was just the pressure of fighting with my family and feeling so alone and working more hours and then paying bills, and then that relationship was falling apart. He ended up moving out 3 times while we were in college.
Holy shit.
So it was just college was... I ended up having a mental break actually.
Of course.
Before college was over, I was hospitalized for like 4 days.
I respect that.
It was so
I appreciate
bad.
you care to go into that more.
Yeah, no, I just like
appreciate that.
Yeah, no, I think it's something that
everyone has like an issue at some point where they really feel like, damn, I don't know if I want to live right now. Like that happens to everyone, I feel like, to some extent.
It was just like a bad so first of all those pressures were there.
Yeah.
I was failing one of my college classes.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't doing super good in another class, and I just felt like all this pressure. I did not know what to do. I ended up getting fired, which I ended up not. Like they took it back. But my boyfriend had officially moved out. His friends came over to get his stuff with him. And in front of his friends, this is how pathetic I was. It was when I think of the lowest point of my life, I think of this moment.
So how old were you?
I was 19.
You were 19 that moment.
He was moving out. His friends were in the living room, and I literally got on my hands and knees and wrapped my arms around his legs, and I begged him not to leave, crying. Damn. And his friends are watching, and I begged him, and he like kicked me off, and he was like, "No, I'm leaving," and he moved in with another girl. And I was
immediately
just
or soon after?
He was going to move in with another girl.
Whoa.
That's where he was leaving to go do.
Whoa.
And it was just like, I was like, I felt like I couldn't breathe, I couldn't live, and then I had to go to work. And I went to work and I snapped at my manager.
Of course.
And she fired me.
You were like, no, you got to be kidding me right now.
Yeah.
Like,
And so I went home. I tried to call a few of my friends. No one answered because my friends were so tired of dealing with this problem. We were so on and off again.
Yeah.
They kind of like, they realized I was only friends with them whenever I needed them for, to hear about this. Yeah. And that's such a bad way to do it.
For sure.
So basically no one answered my phone calls. And I just felt... I called him and I was like, what am I going to do? I just got fired. Like, please don't do this. And he was like, yeah, I don't care, and hung up. And
you felt
that was it.
So lonely.
That was it.
Moment.
I started writing some letters and I had some pills and I was like, I'm done.
Damn.
And my coworker that I'd become close
Sorry to hear that. I know it's so many years ago, but that's
it was so my coworker called the police. And the police ended up showing up to my house.
Wait, so your coworker called the police because you didn't show up to work, or what was it like?
She knew kind of where I was.
Yeah. And
I honestly to this day have no idea what letter to call the police because actually I texted her, but like I just got fired, so you would assume that text message is because I don't work there anymore. Mm-hmm. But like she saved my life. Like she saved my life because she called the police. And the police showed up because of her. And
so she just called the police?
She was like, I'm scared for my friend. For no reason. And we'd actually never hung out outside of work. And I was actually hospitalized for 4 days.
So so the cops came and
they found my pills. They found the letters I've been writing. And I was still working on one of my letters. It was to my parents and my siblings.
Damn, that's tough. Yeah. And just like a goodbye, essentially?
Yeah.
Like,
and they put me in some handcuffs, which was embarrassing. And I was not fighting them at all. I'm not like that.
Yeah.
And they took me somewhere and I stayed at a hospital for 4 days. And then they were like, okay. Like I kind of got while I was there, I did a lot of thinking and I was like.
What was that like? Like the moment you walked in? Also, you're in your head, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm guessing part of you was like, I don't meant to be here. I'm not meant to be here, but I feel terrible.
I refused for 5 hours to sign myself in because I had to. And they were like, you're not leaving till you do.
Were it like cops
I was
just
very
with
calm.
you?
There was one cop with me and he was like, well, you're not going home. And I was like, my parents and me weren't talking, so I did not call them. And I actually signed something to where my mom could not know anything or contact me, but my dad could. Wow. And I ended up calling a friend.
Why is that? Because you felt like your dad would be a little more...
My dad and me were on better terms. Me and my mom had been on really bad terms for the last year. And she was the one that kind of like disowned me. Yeah. So I hated her at that point, and I really resented her, and I just didn't want her to know. I was ashamed. Yeah. And
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
fair.
I honestly though wasn't ever gonna tell my parents about it.
It's honestly I like super respect you even this many years later, whatever it is. I appreciate you.
I think it's something that can help everybody because while I remember being so scared when they put me in the hospital, there were people there that needed to be there. And there's people screaming all night long. And honestly, that hospital was really messed up because there was windows broken and it was in January in Oklahoma and it was really cold and they only give you a thin blanket and you're sleeping on a plastic mattress.
Were there cops around you?
No, there was just people that worked at
the cops dropped you off,
left. Dropped me off and left. Yeah. But it was so cold and one of the staff members was like filling up the girls. But I had like looked really horrible, thank God, because he was like being very inappropriate with the other. Because when you're crazy, anything you say is crazy. Yeah. And that's something you don't understand.
Yeah. No one will take you seriously. Even though you're like, no, I'm okay now. Like, or to an extent, like I know what I'm saying.
If you say, hey, I don't have to be here, I'm not crazy. It doesn't like that you just sound crazy. Shit. No.
So then are you first night? Are you like, when the fuck you let me out? Like,
no, first night I literally cried in my room and I could not believe that I was there. And I remember like having my back to the wall and like like walking against the wall with my back because I was so terrified of being there and like the people around me. Like I was I'd never been in that
Were you in like a
situation.
room by yourself? Or?
I was in a room with I had a roommate. And
really?
I had people coming in like every hour because I was on suicide watch.
Yeah, of course.
And they took like everything. And
what does that look like when you're on suicide watch? Like, are you free to?
They had to come in and check on me every like hour.
And do they like make sure obviously nothing's in the room? Yeah.
Yeah,
like,
they literally had to. My roommate was mad because they had to clear a lot of her stuff, and they took a lot of my stuff. They had to take the batteries out of the remote so I wouldn't swallow them. Honestly, they gave me a lot of. They told me a lot of ways I could kill myself that I hadn't even contemplated.
You're like, stop giving me ideas.
Yeah, well, like I would never swallow like batteries.
Yeah, that's not how I would go. I feel like,
no, but like they were like, well, we have to do this because you might, and I was like, why are you telling? Like, maybe don't tell people stuff.
Yeah, I didn't know that till you said it.
But it was.
So first night you're in there and you're like, holy shit, it's cold. Like this is scary.
I just it wasn't real.
Crying.
It wasn't real. But honestly, it was what I needed. I took like I didn't have to go to work. I didn't have to go to school. I didn't have to like. When I
you're looking at the positives, like no more work, no more school.
No, it was really bad for the first couple of days, but by the last day, I felt so much better in a way. I just felt so much. It was like taking like it's like going to a spa.
You might have the first one to describe it like that. They actually
told me that I could leave because like I was not a risk anymore, and they told me I could leave, and I asked if I could stay for lunch, and they were like, "What?" And I was like, I just don't want to leave yet, and they were like, "No." Like that made me sound crazy.
Like maybe you need to stay.
Yeah, but like I didn't want to get back to my life. I felt so I felt like I was drowning in my life.
But did you? Because like it feels like, man, if you're stuck there, you would think maybe like, when are they going to let me out? Was that a thought, or you were just kind of like, this is my life right now? That was a thought the first couple of days, and there was a girl there that was really kind to me. She was already a mother of younger kids, and she really like was really good to me. And she was like, I felt. It was a weird feeling. Like I wanted to get out until the moment I did get out, and then I didn't want to get out. Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I didn't want to face everything that I'd done, and I didn't want to.
Sorry to cut you off. I was just saying, like, a sense of shame, right?
Yeah, it was a sense of shame, but it was also like, so I called a friend, and her parents called my parents, and that's how they found out.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and
so you called a friend. What was that like when you tell your friend? You're like, how do you even break that news?
So I didn't really tell her the specifics. But my friend that called the cops on me did know the specifics. And she actually came and saw me every day. And it's funny because we were only work friends. And now she's one of my best friends. And it's been years. When I left the hospital, a friend picked me up and took me to my house. So I hadn't showered the whole time I was there because I didn't have shower shoes.
Yeah, of course.
And you do.
Yeah, I don't know if people even want to shower there.
No. So like I was there for like 4 days. And I did not shower. So I went straight home and showered. And he stayed in my apartment and refused to leave. And then I guess they'd been talking. And so he dropped me off at her house, and I literally lived at her house for 2 months, and she took care of me. Her boyfriend at the time that she lived with, now her husband, but her boyfriend at the time was at some training for a long time, and she opened her house to me, and she cooked for me. We watched shows together. We became she's my best friend.
Wow.
I was actually the maid of honor at their wedding.
Wow, that's awesome. Yeah. So she was truly there for you during your worst moment. She was one of
the she's been there for me through all my worst moments.
See, I love when you have real friends, it feels so good in those moments. You're like, damn, I need to talk to someone. That friend was really there. It's like that says a lot.
She has been the biggest, honestly, if it wasn't for her, I honestly don't know if I'd be alive because I was.
So is this the girl who called?
It is.
Oh, it's the same girl. Yeah. Oh, wow.
And it's funny because 2 weeks later she was joking about it, and I'm like, I don't know if we can joke. We joke about it now.
You're
if I say something, she's like, do you want me to call the police? I'm like,
she's like, you're too soon.
She's like, because she didn't mean to get me sent to a psych ward.
Yeah, of course.
But
of course.
So
but she helped.
Sometimes she'll be like, remember that time I accidentally got you put in a psych ward? I'm like, yeah,
it's
I do.
It's on dating apps 2 truths and a lie. Got my friend in a psych ward. Yeah, actually.
For 4 days.
Yeah, no, but that's very real.
No, her and her husband have been, when I moved, so basically when I was there, I realized 2 things. I was like, I am going to kill myself or I'm going to leave, and I have to leave. Boom. And I still went back to that guy a few times. It was so hard to break those bonds and those ties he had over me. But I ended up moving to Texas because of that situation.
That's what really helped you get over it?
I didn't even tell my parents I was leaving. Wow. I didn't tell anybody besides them. Her and her husband, actually, we worked 6 days a week together. We all worked together. Mm-hmm. And our one day off was Sunday. They took their entire Sunday. We worked I remember we worked a 10-hour shift, which was typical on Saturday. Yeah. And then afterwards, they came to my house. We stayed up till 2 a.m. packing, and they went home and slept for a few hours, and then they drove over to my house, and her husband drove the U-Haul to Texas, and they did not leave until very late at night on Sunday because they set up everything for me.
Those are real friends.
They were amazing. and it was so sad to leave. It was so sad to leave them, but they knew it was what was better for me. Right. And that situation led me to Texas. And my boss was amazing. I told him, like, he knew what was going on. That's why.
Were you transferred? You were at Chick-fil-A.
I transferred to the same boss. He was moving to Texas, and
Oh, wow.
I asked him if I could move with him because he didn't really want me to.
Oh, nice.
But he knew everything, the difficulties, and like he could tell I had to get away from this guy. And I just could not. I could not help it but go back to him. We lived in this too close. Like he had too much access to me.
Right. Was that the only person you knew when you moved to Texas?
My boss. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
and my boss and me were not very close. He's a very awkward man, but he was a very nice man. He had me babysit for him for a while. So he had kids. But I didn't know anybody, and I really didn't make very many friends there.
How did you get off your feet? Because like after that, it's not easy to just like get your life.
He gave me a pay raise. I got an apartment by myself. I literally for 3 years, I did not have any friends.
How did you stay positive during that time without friends?
I didn't.
That's real.
I spent 3 years
being lonely is not happy.
I was so busy working to pay for my bills that I wasn't even lonely.
Wow. So that's good. You didn't feel lonely.
It's because I
just thought that sounded lonely.
No, I was lonely, but like I didn't know I was lonely.
Okay.
I was miserable though.
Yeah.
This was my life. For 3 years, I woke up at 5 a.m. I went to work. I got home around 2 or 5 because sometimes I'd stay late. I would watch hours of television until I fell asleep. Then I wake up and go back to work. On Sundays, I stayed in bed the entire day.
Yep.
That was my life.
Exactly. You didn't have time to even be sad. You're just moving.
I was just working. And like, I kind of had friends with some people I worked with, but honestly, I caused a lot of drama and I was very negative. Like, hurt people. And I hurt a lot of people there.
That's fair.
I was not a nice boss. I was a good boss.
Yeah.
I was not
a nice one though.
I was nice, but I expected the best.
Yeah. Well, there's nothing wrong with that.
There isn't, but when you work with children, this wasn't like a corporate job.
Yeah, fair.
I worked with children. I should have cut them more slack.
Fair.
And there's a lot of people that definitely resent me and definitely resent the way I treated them. Mm-hmm. I had very short fuses with people.
Yeah.
And
that happens though.
It does, but it wasn't fair to them. And it's one of my biggest regrets looking back on that.
Yeah.
I was miserable in my life, and so I made their life miserable, I think. But it was like a subconscious thing. Like, I never, ever tried to hurt anyone's feelings or was like, I'm purposely going to do this to upset them.
Honestly, then that's all that matters. Truly. Yeah. I mean, you don't want to hurt anyone, but as long as it's good intentions, like, then you should feel good.
It was good intentions, but it was bad execution.
That happens. That's the story of a lot of lives, but I think intentions are arguably most important because that's where you're coming from. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I want to hear, like, how do you get out of a bad situation though, mental health wise? I want to learn more about your journey, but I'm really curious about that.
No,
because that's a big thing.
No, it is a big thing. So honestly, I've struggled with. My parents my mom especially does not believe in depression. I think
she doesn't believe in it.
No, I think now, over this last 2 years, she has begun to believe in it. But growing up, even as a child, I was very depressed.
Yeah. What was it coming from? Do you think it was a chemical imbalance, or do you think it was?
Well, we're gonna get really into some heavy stuff here.
Yeah. Hey, this is interesting. Like, I want to know all about your journey, but like, this is.
Whenever I was 5, my mom used to babysit, pretty much. My entire childhood, but she was babysitting these certain people's children up until from the moment I was born until I was like 5 years old. Okay. And they had a son who was 16 and he molested me when I was 5.
Sorry to hear that.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not, but I've dealt with it. Yeah. But it was my first, it's one of my very first memories. Yeah. Is what he did to me. And it kind of scares me though, because I was around him every day, all day. So it's like, I don't even know when it started. I just remember that one time because of how bad it got. Damn. So I really don't know. I don't really want to. It's like I know I should get a therapist, but I'm scared to know what else.
Have you ever had a therapist?
No, I haven't.
I don't know how I feel. Like, therapists they can be helpful.
I want one. Yeah. I want one, but I'm definitely scared because I don't want to remember anymore.
True. You want to get over certain things.
It happened and I need it. But like, so I think, honestly, it's so weird because it happened when I was 5. It's one of my first memories. I never thought about it again until I was 16 or 17. I did not realize what happened to me. I told my mother what happened and she stopped working for them and there was a huge fight and we never talked about it again. And then when I was 16, she claimed she had no idea what I was talking about. Wow. But like So
are you close to your mom now?
I am very close to my mom. Okay. Now. I was 5, so maybe I'm remembering things differently than how they were. Fair. But so basically I feel like that affected me a lot as a child. Yeah. It affected me so much and I did not understand that because growing up, it's like I look at these photos and I'm really happy as like a toddler.
Yeah.
And then you see me like at 6 years old and on, and I don't smile for photos. I look like I've always had really dark.
Wait, do you still not smile?
No, I still do.
I'm modeling and I don't smile. Yeah.
I actually at first I didn't, and people would always be like, "Why don't you smile?" So I tried to.
I gotta start smiling.
Yeah, but in my photos, I look miserable as a child, and I remember always being depressed. And I do think that I have a chemical imbalance, which I've been. I've dealt with it.
So you think that's very real?
That is very real. That is extremely real.
Right.
But I think that what happened to me at 5 years old affected me greatly.
Yeah.
Because, and plus I was also homeschooled till I was in 8th grade.
Wow. Yeah. What's that like? That's interesting.
It set me up for failure. A lot of people that homeschool, it can set people up for success in ways that are so great. But for me, it did not. I still have no idea what science is. Don't talk to me about science.
I don't know science either.
I don't know science.
You don't need science in life.
Not really. And I don't know math. Like basic math, got it. Yeah. Once you start putting letters in there, please stop talking.
1 + 1 is like 3, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
That's
cool.
I mean, pretty much. That's how you make babies, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's like, I'm pretty sure. I'm not positive though. Yeah.
But no. Math and history, English and history, I loved it. I spent so much time reading as a child, but being homeschooled, I was never really around other kids who were not homeschooled or around other kids a lot in general. Yeah. I was the oldest. So I didn't...
Of 8. There's 8 of y'all, yeah.
But like, I did not have sisters or anything.
Wow.
Like, I do have sisters, but I was the oldest. Yeah. I didn't have anyone to teach me. Exactly. Or to show me things.
So were your parents homeschooling you? Was your mom and dad teaching you?
My mom was homeschooling me.
Yeah.
But she had to go away for work a lot. So I was pretty much homeschooling myself.
Wow.
You can't teach yourself something you don't know, by the way.
You can't?
No, you can't.
Is that not how it works?
No, it's not how it works.
Damn, I really wasn't sure.
She'd leave me with a book and be like, learn this.
Yeah.
And that's not her fault. Like, a lot of times she did a lot. Yeah. But it was just...
Do you feel like you missed out on that schooling too, though? I missed out on... Basically, I consider myself... I never went to school until 8th grade. That's how I consider it. Really? Yeah. What was that like then, finally going to school? You're like...
It was so hard.
Yeah.
It was so hard. Yeah. I also am really bad at technology. People do not understand that. I have learned the ways of Instagram. Past that, I am useless.
How did you even learn Instagram? You took a course?
No,
it's pretty simple.
It's pretty simple, but like it took me a while. Like I didn't know how to tag people for the longest time.
It's not an easy thing to do.
This was like way back when it first came out. I
just learned tagging a few weeks ago.
It still took me a long time though.
Yeah.
And like the hat, all that stuff. But like I'm so bad at technology because I did not. Unlike most people my age, I did not grow up with technology.
You did not?
No, I was very poor. At all. I grew up very poor.
How poor? Like...
We lived in a 2-bedroom trailer house. I shared 1 bedroom with all my siblings. Wow. We had 2 bunk beds.
8 of y'all in 1 bedroom?
For 9 years.
What?
Yeah, we had 2 bunk beds, an army cot, and a crib in the room at all times.
Wow.
Yeah. We shared 1 closet and like 2 dressers.
That's crazy.
The only place that was my own was... I had a top bunk bed, obviously, because I'm the oldest.
Yeah, you gotta have. If you're oldest, you better have a top bunk bed.
Right?
Yeah.
And so, like, the only place that I had my own personal possessions was in my top bunk, because I had some shelves, and that was it. And that's all the personal space I grew up with.
Damn, what's that like being in a fucking room with that many kids?
I can sleep through anything.
Growing up, now you can, yeah.
Yeah, I can. Like, baby's crying, I'm still gonna be annoyed, but I can definitely go to sleep.
Yeah.
Right. No, it was a lot, but like, it's kind of what we were talking about.
It's humbling though. Too.
It is humbling. Yeah. And I sometimes in my life I've questioned like, God, why are people born a Kardashian and some people born like me?
Why is that?
How is that fair? And then like over the last couple of years I was thinking about it and I was like, it's awesome when people like that like create a business and it's successful.
True.
But that's not super inspiring to most people because they have got money already.
Correct.
For me, if I was to ever do anything like that, like I feel like God tells me, he's like, you're going to be more inspiring because of the things you've gone through.
100%.
Because like I have never in my life had anything handed to me ever.
I love that though. That's a good thing. That makes you a lot more motivated.
It makes me a lot more motivating. And I feel like that's what one of the things I've felt God tell me this last year is like, you're going to motivate so many people and inspire so many people because you haven't had it handed to you. Because I often am like, why is this not easy? Why do some people come here and try for 6 months and they like blow up and get famous? Yeah. It's so hard for me.
Yeah, it's like life's not fair, right?
Yeah, kind of that kind of thing. And I'm like, why? Like, why not me? And then sometimes I get caught in that like, oh, I just want to date somebody and just like
just chill.
Just be perfect and just and everything and just like kind of like settle. And then I just feel like God always tells me like, That's not what you're supposed to do.
That's literally never the answer.
No,
Because that doesn't lead to a happy place, and it slows down you getting to where you're trying to get.
And so I feel like God has been blocking my relationships lately because he knows if I was with somebody, like in an actual relationship, it would slow me down a little bit.
Fair.
And my dream would be to find somebody who would not slow me down, but actually like be into the exact things I'm into and push me in those areas.
Exactly.
But
the right partner, I think, makes us more successful.
It does.
Yeah. The wrong brings us the other way, though.
Yeah. But like even if you're in a relationship, like I can't imagine being like, oh, you know what? Instead of sleeping in and cuddling, let's go to the gym at 6 a.m.
Yeah, right? Like, who does that?
Yeah, like, even if you both love to go to the gym.
Yeah, you're still probably, like, going to chill and cuddle.
You'll be a little bit less motivated.
Right.
And, like, then date nights, like, right now, I barely have time to date myself. Like, I don't have time for date nights.
Right? I love this dating yourself idea. Like, I literally feel like I need to do this a little more.
Like, find one thing you really like and just do it.
And just do it.
Just do it.
That's good advice, I think, for everyone who's single.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
And don't, that is. But, no, I forgot what we're talking about now.
No, you're good. You're good. That happens to me all the fucking time. So, what's your like biggest goal right now? Like looking forward, where you're biggest at now? Goal? Yeah. Like where do you wanna get in life?
I have a lot of different goals in different areas, but I would say my biggest goal that I'm constantly working towards is I want to be an action actress. Okay. So I'm learning stunts and I'm learning boxing and kickboxing, all that kind of stuff.
Nice. What does an action actress entail?
So basically, you do all the stuff the stunt people do. Okay. But not the really dangerous things. That's how I understand it.
What do you consider? Well, what's really dangerous versus?
I'm not going to fall off a 30 foot. I'm not going to do like a 30 foot. Nothing
just 25 feet?
Nothing that I can get actually seriously hurt in. Yeah. Super bad to where I wouldn't be able to keep filming.
Fair.
I want to be able to do that.
But you could get hurt in what you're doing.
Like the thing is, like I don't. So every injury I've ever had in my life has been to my face. Yeah. And so I really need to protect it at all costs because I'm really blessed that you can't see or tell that I've had this many injuries.
Can't tell, you're good.
I'm good, which is a miracle.
Yeah. And I mean, being a model, like that's a good thing. You don't want to.
So I don't want to hurt myself, but I like feeling powerful. Mm-hmm. And kind of like my last relationship ended really badly, and I felt very out of control, and I felt like I was in danger. And just being single in LA and being somebody who like travels around LA a lot, I would like to feel like I can take care of myself. I don't like relying on people. Yeah. So learning these things and learning how to fight, learning how to kickbox, learning all this stuff, it makes me feel very powerful. Yeah. It makes me feel in control.
So when did you start doing that?
I started actually taking lessons for stunts and kickboxing about a month ago. Okay. I've been doing boxing for about 4 or 5 months here and there, but like I can never find somewhere that I was like, I love this studio. I love these teachers. And now I found an amazing place. And they're incredible. They're so patient, which they need a lot of patience because I am horribly coordinated, not a gift of mine. And I feel so bad for them. They try so hard.
You'll get it though. It just takes time, right?
I will get it.
Yeah. So what's the main focus then? Kickboxing or
no, both of them together. Okay. So we do an hour and a half of boxing and kickboxing, and then an hour and a half of stunts. So we do a 3-hour day on Wednesdays today, but tomorrow, but not this week.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So, but I'm trying to do it. I'm trying to do more, but it is expensive.
Yeah, I bet.
I would love to do it every day, but that's like my main, like basically when I'm not booked and I have free time, that's what I'm doing.
So majority of your time is modeling or acting or?
The majority of my time at the moment has been acting.
Okay.
I've been trying to model a little bit more just to have some like, just so I don't give it up because I feel like I have been putting it on the back burner a little bit. Yeah. But I've been doing a lot of movies.
Nice.
Yeah.
What kind of movies?
So right now I'm in the middle of filming a gore horror movie.
Gore horror movie. It makes sense. We're in October.
Yeah. Not my type of movie.
No.
But it's my type of character. She's like a Nancy Drew character.
Oh, cool.
Pretty badass.
Legit. What's that movie? Where's it going to be?
It's I'm not sure. I was talking with the guy, the producer, and he did, and
They're not sure. Yeah.
Not sure yet.
And that's the thing. Like when you're filming, you don't really know where it's going to end up a lot of times, right?
No. Yeah. And then the end of November, I'm going to go to Texas.
Nice.
And I'm going to be filming a romantic drama.
Nice.
And I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
How do you go about getting these gigs? Like,
so I'm on LA Casting, and I do have a representation.
Nice.
And so I get just auditions, and I just go audition for them.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing because this year has changed my life more than anything else in my life has. Like,
really?
This has been the best year of my life, and I've learned so much. Like, I don't even know who I am anymore because I'm so far from the person I used to be.
Wow.
That, like...
In what ways? Like, every way? Or
I used to be a glass half empty person.
Oh.
And now I'm a glass overflowing person.
Oh, I like that. Not even glass half full.
No, it's overflowing. And I learned the power. My mom always grew up, and when growing up, my mom always said, like, there's power in your words, but she never really explained it. And I thought it was like something my mom just said.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until this year I really realized that there is power in saying, like, when I wake up and when I go to sleep, like, I usually do it in the shower just because, like, I don't know why. That's why I feel like the calmest and the most like at peace. And I usually just like tell myself, like, you are incredible, you are amazing, like, you are capable of great things.
That's real.
And like I tell myself who I am.
Real. That's super real.
Yeah. And I say I am this, I am that. And I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen in incredible ways. And
well, where you say something and you really make it happen.
Yeah.
Right?
And it happens.
I believe that.
I never have until this year.
Yeah.
And even if it's a placebo effect, I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah. It might be a placebo effect, but it works.
It works.
I do that in the shower in the mornings. I'm like, come on, this can be a fucking amazing day. Like, let's get it. You just like you build it up and then you make it happen.
I've been listening to lots of like inspirational podcasts, which I feel like help me. Like, I like the ones with like music in it and a little bit of like, I love those. I usually do that with like when I do my cardio in the morning. That's what I'm doing.
Solid.
So I'm like,
which, by the way, we put on music randomly. I'll just hold it up right here. It's super official.
I love it. But so I've been listening to like podcasts in the morning and taking like the first 10. So like my favorite thing to do, I wish I could do it every day, is to wake up and just go to the gym.
Yes.
And then go about my day.
Yes.
That was my favorite way to start the day.
Yes.
And when I do that, the first 10 to 20 minutes, I spend listening to these podcasts telling me like, just like pouring amazing things into me. And like often I run and then in my breaks I close my eyes and I just talk to God, or I tell myself like, so something I've been telling myself over the last 6 months is 3 things. I am mentally, emotionally, and physically ready for a new phase of my life.
Solid.
Those things, but then I also like put it like there's so much more that goes into it. So I say those things, and then I say like I'm ready to be all I can be. I'm ready to be the best at every stuff like that.
So you've done a lot of, and you haven't even gone to therapists. You've done a lot of very real.
I've done a lot of really like this year. I feel like before this year, I've always looked for myself and other people in relationships, especially. I've always needed a partner. I've always been searching like a guy over here, a guy over there, like always. And now I find
you would want that, but
the last couple months, one of the things I was saying, because I met that guy and he was single and I was really like praying about it. I was like saying like something like I was really like speaking my love life into existence. I did it a little too good because I met a lot of really amazing guys that are like I would honestly have the potential of dating. And then I realized like I've never been in this good of a place with myself. I've never been this whole, and I do find myself terrified to give myself any part of myself to another person because I don't want to ever feel that broken again. And I do, because I never date anyone I don't see a potential with. If I can't see a potential with you, I'm not going to date you.
Yeah, it's just a waste of time.
Like, why? And people confuse that because they're like, oh, you're trying to get married. No. But if I can't see the like marriage in the future, and I'm talking like 3-4 years. If I can't see that as a possible, if I can't picture you as my husband one day, I'm not going to continue to date you.
Exactly.
Because that's just going to mean that means it's going to end, which is going to lead to my heart being broken or yours.
Exactly.
And then that's just like more years of healing.
Exactly. So and then it's longer for you to find that right person because you were stuck in that.
I was dating a guy last year, different guy than we've talked about. I was dating a guy.
Fair.
And he told me up front, he's like, I don't want a girlfriend, blah, blah. And in my mind, what I heard, which is another thing I don't do, I listen to what people say, not what I want them to say. Fair. I do not read between the lines anymore. So he literally told me the first time he met me, he's like, I like you. I would like to keep seeing you. I do not want a girlfriend. Basically telling me I'm not going to commit. What I heard was, convince me that I want a girlfriend.
Yes. So we all do that.
Yeah. I spent 4 months crying and to myself. He never saw me cry, but like crying whenever, like trying to get him to like commit. Yeah. And then I kind of realized I was like, no. And it's funny because after I feel like I let go, he like realized I was letting go. And then he was like more into the relationship.
Isn't that such a crazy thing how that works?
But he still didn't want to commit. And I was actually over it. I'm actually over it. And I remember him telling me something. He was like, why don't you want to come over? Why don't you want to hang out? And I was like, I don't want to just fill my life with somebody because it's empty. I want it to be with, I was like, if I hang out with you, I might start liking you again. And it's not going anywhere. And I want it to go somewhere. Like, I don't want to spend some time with somebody just because I'm lonely.
Exactly.
And he told me, he was like, I would rather be with somebody than be lonely. And I was like, I wouldn't.
Wow.
I would not. And that was like...
That's smart.
Yeah, and so that's something a lot of people I feel like do. They're with somebody because they can't be with nobody.
I would, like, real shit, there are many nights where I'm like, damn, I wish I had a girlfriend, but I'm glad that I'm not settling. I still
have moments. So the moments I want a boyfriend the most, when I want food and I don't want to cook it.
That's fair.
Whenever I'm running behind or feeling stressed out, and I'm just like, it'd be so nice to call somebody and just be like, hey, can you have dinner ready? Or can you go do this for me? Or like just having someone in my corner.
Yes.
You know, and I have 2 great friends that actually are like that, but I feel bad doing that.
Yes.
And then on Sundays or like on days when I do have time off and I'm like, it'd be so nice to just like cuddle in bed and watch a movie with somebody.
Of course.
And there's people I could call. They're definitely, and so like honestly, I have to resist the temptation because it is temptation, which is funny because I don't think
you're preaching the choir.
No, it is a huge temptation just to be like, I'm not with anybody, they're not with anybody. I find them attractive, they're a great person, but it's like at the end of the day, first of all, I mean like it's not fair because if I got to know them, maybe I could see that. But I think right now I'm at a place where I'm like going full steam ahead and I don't want to get distracted.
Smart.
And it's like,
unless you really feel like it's right.
And basically, unless it's like so undeniable, and I guess I'm like waiting for that, which is like it's like unfair for them because like I'm not even giving them a chance to show me.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm so much myself right now. I don't want to give any part of that away.
Fair until the right guy. That's smart though.
And I think whenever I meet that person, I mean, I thought I did recently.
Same, by the way.
No, like to be honest, if that person was in a good place and like ready for a relationship, I might actually.
Timing is everything.
Literally, I feel so mad because I feel like I was only like a few months away from meeting him before this relationship started, and I'm just like, why?
Right?
Like I was right there.
Right.
But like timing is everything.
Truly.
And you don't understand that until you get older, and the older you get, the more you realize because you can meet a lot of right people just at the wrong time.
100%.
But like
100%.
It's kind of like they say, like you never know how things are going to turn out.
True. So even some of those people I think won't work out, maybe one comes back around and y'all still like each other and it works.
But I think that's also it's also important to like, because that can happen. Yeah. So you should definitely be honest about things, and that's why it's important not to mess things up and not to like. I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
Honesty just gains respect because like if you're honest with them, then at least like later on, if they do break up, like it'll still maybe be something.
That's why I care about him so much because like he's been so honest with me.
Yeah, that's like one of the most attractive qualities.
It is it is so attractive to me. Like honestly, I know a lot of guys. I've seen a lot of hot guys. He is the most attractive person that I like.
Because the inside.
Yeah, I guess. But like literally, I cannot think of another person I find more attractive than him.
That's real.
Because like I don't feel like I trust very easily, and I trust him completely.
That's real.
Because he's been so like almost annoyingly honest.
Yeah, no,
but I appreciate it.
I love that in people. I truly love that in people.
I feel like guys don't appreciate it as much as girls because I've been like that with guys, and it's like a turnoff for them.
Some guys, some of my friends too, like I would say appreciate it. It varies, but yeah, like
I think the older they get, the more they appreciate it.
Exactly.
But the thing is, ever since I dated the younger guy, I feel like I always go for younger guys now.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to. I just meet somebody I like, and I'm like, how old are you?
Happens.
And they're like, oh, I'm 22, and I'm like, oh,
damn,
not a good age for me.
Damn.
Like,
and I feel like more often it's the other way, right? Like girls date older.
And you know what? Like I don't mind the age difference at all. It's just the maturity level.
Yeah.
And also, I don't want someone who's broken. But I think that it is nice to be with somebody who can appreciate the relationship the way I'm going to appreciate it because they've had bad relationships.
They've had struggle.
Yeah, and it's hard to appreciate something when you don't know how bad it can be.
True.
Which is like that one guy I dated that was amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's what was lacking in that relationship because he never really had a really, even a real relationship.
Yeah.
He'd had high school relationships. Like,
it's different.
It's different. Yeah. And so it's like when you know how bad it can be, you really just appreciate it so much more.
Right.
And so I would want somebody to appreciate me the way that I'm going to appreciate that.
Exactly. I'm with you there. That's like a big thing. I think people just want to feel like appreciated. That's just a huge part of a relationship. And in life, whatever you're doing, like in your work, like you just want to feel like you're adding real value and appreciate it.
I feel like I've been thinking about everything we just talked about.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been a little bit too honest on this podcast.
No, you're good. Honestly, you literally, if you were in my head right now, and by the way, it's so funny because everyone here is like, you make me feel so comfortable. I was like, I don't know what it is, but yeah,
like I know we're recording, and like while I'm talking about these things, I'm like, I don't care if these people see it. And now I'm like,
will it make you feel better if I say something that I've never said on camera?
No, it's just like knowing that like probably a lot of these people are going to like watch this.
I'm
sorry.
She's a cool girl, clearly, so you gotta respect the honesty. Yeah.
I'm very I'm an open book, but
no, I respect that.
Maybe they don't want all that dirty laundry out there.
It's fine.
I feel really bad. I'm second guessing my choice, and oh God.
You don't need to feel bad.
I feel bad for them.
It's but I think that's like a very respectable quality. Like people that just tell it like it is. Like I super respect that. Like no matter what the situation, like just being willing to say the truth, like whatever it is, right? Like
I think, I mean, I don't ever try to lie or be dishonest to anybody.
Everyone has flaws. Let's just be real. We're all humans. We're we all go through shit.
I can't think of any flaws I have.
Yeah, well, so you don't have flaws, but like everyone else has flaws.
I definitely have flaws.
No, but we all go through shit, right? It's just like, how do we deal with it, right? That's and you've been through some very real stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've gotten through it. You're just,
but it took so much. Like I feel.
I'm truly shocked you've never gone to therapist.
And I'm a very religious person.
Yeah.
No, not really. I don't like religion.
Whoa, those are very contradictory statements. I'm a very religious person. Yeah. I hate religion.
I love God.
Okay.
I hate religion. I go to church. Yeah. I love the church I go to.
Yeah.
And it's more my type. But I think religion is too... religion is just not... It's man-made. It's man-made. It's not God-made. God calls us to love. And he's called me to love people, not to judge them.
That's
and
real.
Religion is very judgy. You can't be part of this group because of this or because of that.
Especially certain religions, but all religions to an extent.
Yes.
But yeah.
And so like I'm not really a fan of religion. I go to church because I enjoy it, but I love God, and I feel like he's worked on me. Like I feel like he has brought me to my absolute worst moments, and it's funny because now whenever things happen to me, I'm like, God, why is this happening? Like, why are you doing this to me?
In those moments, though, do you you had a lot of faith, though? Or did you ever question, is there a God?
No. Actually, yes. Yeah. So, I do have 2 stories about that.
Oh, let's hear it.
I feel like growing up, my parents always told me there was a God. But and that happens to a lot of people. But whenever you get to an age where you kind of have, I feel like everyone wonders, is there really? I just grew up,
of course.
And so, I never really thought about it too much. It was back whenever I was 20, I was dating the great guy.
Yep, great guy.
The great guy. I remember I was praying about something really dumb. It was like something for him that I wanted to happen. I think he was his baseball tournament.
Yeah.
I wanted him to win it.
Fair.
And I was sitting there watching it, and I prayed in my head to myself, no one else. Yeah. And I was praying in my head, and I remember a thought crossed my mind. Not really that negative. It was just a simple thought, and I remember thinking, I was like, why bother? He can't even hear you. Almost there isn't really a God, or even if there is, he can't hear you.
Yeah.
Did not think about it. It was not oh my God, there's no God. It was a simple thought. Yeah. It was oh, it's cold in here.
Yeah. Just can't hear it.
I did not think about it. I did not tell anyone about it.
Yeah.
The next day, I am working at Chick-fil-A. This guy comes in, and I'm a manager, so I don't have to deal with customers really.
Yeah.
So this guy comes in, and I'm working over here, and he's I want to talk to that girl. Yeah. And I was like, oh, this guy's going to yell at me. I do not want to get yelled at. So I come over there kind of annoyed. And he was like, hey, sorry, I'm going to be late for work, but I drove past and God made me come, turn around. And he's like, I have to tell you, God knows the desires of your heart and he can hear you. And then I started immediately just bawling immediately.
That's
and he's like, I'm so sorry. I wish I could stay, but I have to go because I'm late for work. He did not get anything to eat.
That's bizarre.
He singled me out with 20 people. And ever since that day, I have never questioned it.
There's a quote that I heard that got me, and I'm not super religious either, but definitely believe in God.
Yeah.
And the quote is, coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous.
Yeah.
So all those crazy coincidences, you're like, oh, okay, I see.
I have never, ever since then, but and the funny thing about that guy telling me that is, I was working at Chick-fil-A. I wasn't even modeling then. That's how I got started in this, is modeling.
Yeah. God
took that sentence that man told me, and he has used that sentence throughout my life, even to now, because whenever I have moments where I'm this is not God, what are you doing? He's I remember that guy telling me something that didn't make sense to me then, which is God knows the desires of your heart. He knows what you want. And that was so impactful for me. And then recently, I guess I kind of needed it. This whole year I've been asking God for kind of a sign. I'm like, I'd like another sign that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Like, give me a sign. The other day I had a audition I do a lot of hair modeling.
Okay, cool.
It was very simple. It was only like $300 job.
Yeah.
But you get your hair done and you get $300.
Right?
Like,
that's legit.
Yeah, it's great.
I want to do that.
So, but like you have to drive like 45 minutes to audition. And so I get really frustrated. And I was speaking it into existence kind of.
Yes.
And all morning I was like, God, I'm going to walk in there. The moment they see me, they're going to know they want me. The moment I walk in. And what happens at the hair auditions, you walk in, there's a ton of girls. They look at everyone. They touch your hair. They look through your hair. You're literally standing there. They're pulling apart your hair like this, and they're because they have to.
You should play a prank. Put like fake lice in your hair.
Yeah, and then not get the job.
yeah, don't do that.
Be like, yeah, no.
hold back on that idea.
They touch your hair, and then they talk to all the girls, and then they decide.
Okay.
I spoke into existence all that night and the next morning, and I was like, I'm getting this job. I am getting this job because I've gone there plenty of times and not gotten the job.
Yeah.
I left and then I got caught in traffic and I was just running behind. Everything bad happened and I was like 15 minutes late and these auditions are very on time. Mm-hmm. And so I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go. I'm just going to go to the gym. I brought my gym clothes in case I didn't get it.
Yep.
And I was like, I'm just going to go to the gym. And then I felt like God was just like, no, go. And then I was like, no, like I'm going to be late. They're already going to be done. And it's like 45 minutes. Yeah. And I just went and I got there and I was on like, they were like, yeah, we'll take you. And they were actually excusing the girls and they looked at me and they were like, yeah, just sit down because the stylists are going to come out soon and, they're going to look through your hair. And I'm sitting there and I was like, you know what? I'm going to sit at the very front. So whenever they walk in, they see me. And this is kind of like a tactical thing on my part, probably. Yeah. I always look for the guys because I feel like they're least intimidating. So I try to get the guys to book me. Yeah. And
does that work better?
They're usually gay, so it's not like a sexual thing.
Oh, okay.
But like I just like I don't know why like the women like seem really intimidating.
They're more intense.
Yeah, and so I feel like they just don't like me sometimes.
Yeah. That whole thing seems intimidating?
It is intimidating, but
seriously,
like, I just typically go for the guys because like there's I usually work with more men.
Yeah.
And I never felt drawn like I want everyone to book me, but like I guess I feel more intimidated around the women sometimes.
Yeah.
It's like a really weird thing.
No, it's fair. I think a lot of people feel intimidating, period.
Yeah.
Intimidated, period.
But so like basically like these stylists are walking down the stairs and I see this one lady. She is so beautiful. And the moment I saw her, I was just like, I want her to pick me. And I was like, that's weird. And I just like looked at her. She looked at me right in the eyes and she's like, I want you. And I was like, what? Because there was like 30 girls behind me. And she's like, the moment that I saw you, God told me to pick you. Do you want to be my model? I was like, yeah. Wow. And then we got to talking. We had literally had the best day. I didn't even need a paycheck because she poured so many amazing things into me. She gave me like her story of how her and her husband met, which is like the whole timing thing, is absolutely incredible.
Oh, what was it?
It was like they met whenever he was married, and she was like, wow, that is the kind of man I want. And she was praying for a man that treats her the way that his, like, whatever. Yeah. Anyway, he ended up getting a divorce. Yeah. And then she didn't even know he got a divorce, and they were like friends. She got married. She got a divorce. They met years later, and now they're getting married.
Wow.
It was just like, it was incredible. It was like a 7-year, like, so many times during that story, I thought they were going to be together. It took them like 7 years. Wow. It was an incredible story.
It's meant to be will be.
Yeah, and so it was just an incredible story. It was amazing. And then, but we started talking about that, and I told her, I was like, I prayed for someone to pick. That does not happen. And I prayed for someone to look at me and just pick me. And she was like, this morning I prayed for God to lead me to the person to pick today. And I was like, and then I didn't even like, I thought that was incredible. But like the next morning when I was like meditating or like praying and stuff, I felt God tell me, he was like, if I can make a stylist pick you, if I can make a stylist pick you out of a room full of candidates without hesitation in mind, imagine what I'm going to do in your future. Right. Imagine how I'm going to make you stand out. And that literally, I was almost crying on the, because like I wasn't even thinking like that. And then I was like, why do I question this so much and like worry that I'm not good enough or I'm not pretty enough or I'm not talented enough? Like it doesn't matter. Like God knows what he's doing. And he's told me like, I feel like those are my 2 God moments,
But I feel like those questions must come up a lot though, in terms of being on auditions. Like, am I pretty enough? Am I, like for everybody who's there, right?
The pretty enough thing was such a downfall for me. Yeah, the good enough and pretty enough were my 2 biggest downfalls before the last couple months. Yeah. Moving to LA and being mostly a model before, I'm used to getting jobs based on how pretty I am, and only that.
So you were used to that though.
Yes.
For how long? Like
most of everything.
Yeah.
But like I don't consider myself very pretty.
You're a pretty girl. I said it in a non-creepy way. Yeah.
I'm pretty, but like I'm not like mind-blowing. And
that's how you feel when you're looking at the other girls?
That's how I feel. That's how I've always felt. Always. And I still feel that way sometimes.
Do you feel on top though when you're at a shoot though and like it's your shoot? Do you then feel like super confident?
So here's the difference. This year, instead of focusing on everything I dislike about myself, I have learned to accept my flaws, and I'm just like, you know what? I am I'm beautiful to me, and that's maybe it came with dating myself. I just like myself better.
That's how you should always feel.
Yeah. Though. But one really funny thing about one thing about not being in a relationship right now, which I find this funny, I get really irritated that I'm not in a relationship right now for the reason that when I wake up in the morning sometimes I do look really good, and I'm like one day I'm gonna be like 50, I'm gonna look hideous when I wake up.
I have this kind of similar feeling. That's hilarious.
It's like somebody should be dating me to appreciate how good my skin looks in the morning, or how my abs look. Because like when you first wake up and your abs look great, I'm like I am so mad that there's no one to appreciate how cute I look right now.
Right.
And so that's just like a funny thing about being single.
Yeah, it's a real thing. Low key, even as a guy, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna get like continuously worse looking over the years.
And so I'm like, I'm not always gonna be this put together. So somebody needs to appreciate this now before like. Right.
But at the same time, you don't settle. So you wait till it's right.
I will not settle.
Yeah.
And but no, that's like one of the funny things about it. But so this year I've been just like, you know what? You don't have to be the most knockout, drop dead. If I'm confident in who I am,
that's all that matters.
It's all that matters. And your confidence makes you more beautiful.
True.
And so do I still like, there are things I would change about myself a little bit here and there, but like mostly I love the person I'm becoming. And it's incredible because I don't think I've ever loved myself before, which is maybe why I always like sought that in relationships or needed somebody else to love me because it was like, I didn't love me.
It's important to love yourself.
It's so important. And I feel like I've never been in a better place to be in a relationship mentally.
Exactly.
But I'm not in a relationship. I don't know. I don't know if that would be damaging, but like...
Feels like it, though.
I would want somebody to be as obsessed with me as I am with myself sometimes.
Exactly.
But like, I never think like, oh, I'm prettier than her. Oh, like this. Because I just try not to compare myself to people. Because when I start doing that, I don't feel pretty.
No one feels good when they start comparing. Comparing is like...
It's so hard not to do.
Yeah.
I try to do it in a healthy way.
Yeah.
But not in like a way that tears me down, which is really funny because I really started my like fitness journey this year. And like a month ago, I was working out and I always look around and it's funny because like the people I want to look at the most are the girls that are super in shape and I'm just like, what are they doing? I need to do whatever they're doing. Like, how did she look like that? Right. But so like, I was like, minding my business and there was like I went to a gym I'd never been to before and I saw this girl in the mirror and I was like, damn, I really wish I looked like her. And it was me. And I was like,
I'm good.
And I was like,
it's
wow, I'm the person that I want to be.
That's where you want to be. Yeah. Like, that's when you know you're in the right place.
But I mean like, the high-waisted leggings were helping the situation dramatically.
That helps.
But I mean, but it's just like, it's one of those things like, you never know who's looking at you whenever you're looking at somebody else. Yeah. And
that's true.
Yeah, because like I'm at the gym and I'm always looking up at these girls and I'm like, wow.
Everyone's
but then there's other girls who I'm sure look at me and they're just like, they're just like, I wish I looked like her. I wish I could. And I'm just like, dying not to look like me. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
It's one of those things like I just accepting myself and I think that I am absolutely gorgeous and beautiful. Yeah. But I
feel like everyone should hopefully feel that way.
It's a weird feeling because like it's not like in a cocky way.
No, it doesn't have to be. It can be a self-love way. Just
I did meet a guy recently and I think we're just gonna be friends. He is super hot. He's probably one of the like attractive wise. Yeah. I'm not like
What's he look like? He's like 7 feet chiseled.
He's like 6'2", chiseled. He's so hot. And sometimes I'm around him, I'm just like, I don't feel hot enough for this. Like, we went somewhere and I saw us in the mirror together. Model. Yeah. Yeah. Seriously, like.
Is he a model? Is he actually a model? He could be.
He could be. Yeah. If he wants to be, I'm sure. I'm sure it will happen.
Yeah, he easily could be.
But like, I saw us in the mirror together, and I was like, I look fugly. Like, I do not look like I go with this guy. But that's just like it's like insecurities, and so it's like it's kind of like another reason I don't want to be with somebody because I am more than enough for myself. But like, it's the insecurity of being with somebody or being around people like that. It's like
everyone has insecurities, though, right? Like, everyone does. It's like, how do we get over our insecurities? Is it like just stopping?
It's so nice not having anyone to impress makes me so secure.
That helps.
But having people to impress. Like, I would say, like, my biggest fears in life is never living up to my potential. Being with somebody and never feeling good enough for them or enough for them. And then another fear I have is, like, being with somebody and then being left.
Yes. Especially, like, later in life, right? Like,
yes, that is my biggest fear, is being, like, divorced at, like, 50.
Same to an extent, yeah. No one wants that. That just seems like a terrible life.
And that's just, like, those are my biggest fears, I think. And ending up with the wrong person. I feel like I'm so picky.
But that's really why I think it's important to be picky, because, again, like, if you're not, then you might end up in that situation.
Yes.
You know?
I would love to get married soon, but I would not ever, because I honestly don't know. I do want to get married.
What's the, like, amount of time though that you need to date a guy before you're like, all right, now, like, I feel like I know him well enough.
I feel like if I don't feel like I want to marry you after a year, it's not going to work out.
That's a good point.
But I'm not going to marry you after a year.
Yeah.
After 2 years, I feel like is a great time to get engaged, and then maybe another year of planning the wedding. Mostly,
pretty reasonable.
Mostly just to, like, still, like, be like, okay, like, we're 3 years into this.
Yeah.
But, like, if I don't want to marry you after, like, the first date, it's not gonna happen. Because, like, seriously, like, it's different for men. But, like, when I see a guy I like, in 10 minutes, I already have our life planned out. I've already named our children. I'm sorry if that scares you. I'm a woman. That's what women do, okay? I'm, like, already being like, wow, his nose would look really cute on my son.
I think guys low-key do it, too, like, a little bit, but not as much as girls.
I think they do it later.
Yes.
Like, before you even said hello to me, I've already, like...
You have the kids' names.
We've already had a life together.
What are some of the kids' names?
I really like Landry.
That's a cool name.
I've actually never wanted children.
Really?
I think one day I will want children.
Yeah. You don't want eight, though.
No. At the very most 4, and that's still a lot. Like, if I was to have kids, I would definitely probably have 2 or 3. At least 2, most likely 3. I would not be opposed to 4.
Yeah.
I do believe in adoption, though.
Cool.
So, adoption, maybe 1.
You think that could be the route?
Yeah. I'm really selfish with my body, especially after working out. I'm just like, and that'll probably change.
What's your like workout routine look like? So do you try to go
2
multiple
hours.
Times a week? Yeah.
I'd go every day. I try to go every day, 2 hours
That's
a day.
legit. Same. Yeah, seriously, like that keeps you like focused,
and
right?
it's like whenever I don't, I feel like my whole day's messed up.
100%.
And then so it's like on Wednesdays I go for like 5 hours.
Do you feel off? Oh, 5 hours.
Well, because 2 hours in the morning and then 3 hours at night at
beast mode. So what do? Are you doing cardio at one point?
Usually in the morning I try to do cardio, but I hurt my hip doing kicks, so I've been just like walking.
Yeah.
But I try to do 20 minutes of cardio, and then I do my. I'm working on my arms finally.
Nice.
Trying to be a stunt woman, I realized, okay, fine, arms are important. So I've never worked on them before.
Yep.
Today, this man took pity on me, and he actually showed me the proper, because like I was pathetic. It was so bad. He like came over and he was like, no. I was like, I know. And he was like, let me show you. He took 5 minutes.
What did you do? You did some curls? Or
I was doing like, triceps.
Tricep pull downs.
I was doing it all wrong. And he was so nice. He showed me the proper form. I'm really
nice. Shout out to that guy.
Shout out to that guy. Yep. And for not making me feel stupid and for not calling attention to it. He did it in such a...
He didn't want to embarrass you.
Most of the time, I'd probably be really annoyed at that.
Yeah.
He was so nice about it.
He wasn't trying to just hit on you or anything.
No, he didn't even hit on me. He didn't even introduce himself.
Oh.
He just came over. And he was older, super built, and he was like, no. And I was like, I literally was like, I know. And he was like this. And I was like, okay. And then he like was doing his workout over here, and he would look at me and be like, and then he'd be like, and I was like, oh, and then he'd be like, and I was like, okay.
That's hilarious. Just like, no.
Yeah. So like he was like, that's what I appreciate. He wasn't trying to hit on me. He wasn't being a douchebag about it. Like, don't come over and be like, oh, I can show you some things. Like, like the way he did it, I don't know if anyone else did it any differently, I probably would have been annoyed. But I was actually really,
because it came from a real place.
It came from a real place, of pity.
Yeah,
he was like, this is just sad. I can't watch this.
I'm actually sad watching this. Like, please fix this. It
was bad, but I usually
you go 2 hours in the morning.
Yeah,
Monday through Friday.
Monday through Sunday.
Ooh, legit.
I do have days off because I do 14-hour shoot days sometimes. Yep. So, I mean, like, there are days where I just can't do it.
Yeah.
And it's good to have a day off. It's just, like, for me. And sometimes I'll go and I'll have, like, a lighter day. And I'll just, like, do some cardio. And I will still, like, I lift weights and stuff. But I won't. Maybe I'll just do, like, a few different things and not, like, my whole set.
Yeah. You do yoga at all or anything like that?
I hate yoga. But
really?
honestly, yes.
It's hard.
It's so hard. And I hate sitting still.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make me feel cool. Whereas like I'm lifting weights, and I'm like, yeah, that's right. I'm little, but I'm strong.
I can still lift.
Yeah, like there's like I'm like the only girl, and I'm like, yeah, I'm lifting weights. Move over.
Right? Yeah.
So I do feel cool. But like yoga, I hate yoga, but I'm trying to learn it. I know it's really good. For stunts, I need to take a dance class because I have no rhythm and I have no coordination.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things I need to do.
Stunts? So you have to, kickboxing is going to be a main one. And
kickboxing. So like they actually teach us stunts. So I'm learning how to roll. I'm learning how to like do combat fighting.
It's so badass.
Which is so hard because I'm learning boxing for the first hour and a half. Then I'm learning how to fight for film, which is the bad form. So not only do I not know how to do it and I'm learning it, I have to like compartmentalize to like, so whenever I do my hook to bring it in, to like bring it in, but then whenever I do hook for film, you bring it out. So it's like I'm learning the correct way, then I'm learning the wrong way.
I didn't know that. Wait, so you bring it in as the... I don't even know.
So whenever you box, like your hook, it needs to stay close to your body.
So with your elbow? Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really do it.
Yeah, no, you're good.
Like this?
Yeah.
Like close to your body?
You can knock out the mic, it's cool.
Whenever you're doing it for like film, you would want to go out. So, because like the bigger the motion, the better the camera's going to read it.
Gotcha.
And so like, which is awesome to learn stuff like that, but it is more difficult because like, it's like I'm learning a bad habit while I'm trying to learn the good habit.
Yeah, that's interesting. You're literally learning two ways to do it at the same time.
Exactly.
Do you have cameras around too, or you're not?
I make them record me because I'm trying to make like I want to make a really long video of my progression.
Smart.
In it. Because I'm so bad now that it'll be like an even better.
It's only uphill.
It's only uphill from here. There's there's literally no going downhill.
Yeah. So is that then like the main vision in terms of what you want to do? Yeah.
My main vision, I want to be the next what's it called?
You'll get it.
Yeah, I'll get it.
It'll come to you. It'll come.
There's a guy who just retired from doing movies, James Bond.
Oh.
And he said that they should do a woman as James Bond now.
That's right.
That is my goal. I want to be the woman James Bond.
Boom. Let's go.
I want to be able to do those stunts. Not all of them. Like I know I probably could learn to do all of them, but like it is dangerous and you can really hurt yourself.
Right? Legitimately
bruises,
hurt yourself.
I don't care. Bruise me up. But like I do not want to do like the jumping off one car into another car.
That's craziness.
Like let someone else do that because I might actually kill myself.
What's the line that have you thought about that legitimately?
I haven't thought about the line.
Yeah.
I have not thought about the line.
Yeah.
Basically, like, we'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. I'm willing to do whatever I can to get into that world.
Wow.
And honestly, I don't mind being someone else's stunt woman to try to break into that. But that is not the goal. The goal is to be a leading woman doing my own stunts.
100%.
So,
yeah, 100%. So that's the big goal.
That's the big goal. And it's just like, I feel like I've just been building on my dreams.
Yeah.
Because, like, I just wanted to be an actress. And then I was like, I wanted to, like, do this in acting, then this, and now I'm like, you know what? I want to do stunts and acting.
Thinking bigger.
So it's like, keep.
How did you start thinking I want to do stunts though? Where'd that come from? Like out of nowhere, you're just like, wait a minute.
A lot of my roles are I'm like a girlfriend, and I usually die, and I'm like really pathetic.
Damn. So are you getting cast typed as a girlfriend, guys?
Yeah, and so I'm just like I don't mind being someone's girlfriend, but like if you're gonna kill me, like I want to have a fight scene.
Yeah.
I just want to look cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like
I don't really. It's cool
and just like I've always wanted to learn how to fight, always, and like I said, it makes me feel powerful. It makes me feel like I can take care of myself, and it's just I feel like the world of actresses in LA, this big, right?
Yes.
The world of actresses who do their own stunts and can do their own stunts flawlessly. Let's say this big.
So that separates you a lot.
It separates me. I don't know that for a fact.
Yeah, but most likely I would think it does. Yeah.
And maybe in like A-listers, C-listers, B-listers, it's not like that. Maybe a lot of them can do their own. But people who are like me, who are just starting, how many of them are like, oh yeah, by the way, I can do stunts.
Yeah, right?
And I can act.
By the way.
A lot of people do stunts and they don't act, or they'll act but they can't do stunts.
Yep.
So from a director standpoint, what if I audition for something and they really want another girl, but they're going to have to like hire a stunt woman and it's like a low budget. And I'm just like, hey... I know I might not be your first choice, but I'm a lot. But and you never know. Like I'm a great choice, honestly.
Yeah. There
definitely
you go.
always be your first choice.
That's right.
I will not be your first choice in acting if you choose to go that route. In only acting, but I should be.
That's right. So if in your head is this like this is gonna work out? Period. Like is that? There you go.
There's no like.
Exactly.
So one thing I think held me back for a long time is I always had a plan B.
Yep.
And
that's a good point.
I don't have a plan B anymore.
Yeah,
so like I have no choice.
Exactly.
Because when I had a choice, I didn't go after it.
Right?
I don't want a choice. Like it is going to work out.
Boom.
And
it will. 100%. Seriously, that mindset is so powerful. Yeah, no, it sounds cheesy, but it's real.
It is real because when you have something to fall back on, then you don't go after it as hard, which is why like I haven't had a real job since I moved to LA.
Really?
No, I do brand ambassador work.
Okay.
And I've done like odd jobs.
Yeah.
I have not had a 9 to 5.
So you left Weatherford, Texas, and just up and moved to LA. How did that even occur? I don't think we got to that.
Oh yeah. So I just started modeling for like a year or two, and I was like, oh, I wish I could get paid to model. I didn't even get paid. I just enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And I was so I started modeling.
What did you enjoy about it? Did it make you feel great, confident?
I never felt beautiful before, ever. And all of a sudden, I did feel beautiful. I was getting attention. I did feel passionate about it. It felt so good to create something. I never thought I was a creative person. And I started modeling. I was like, wow, like I am a really creative person. Like I enjoy this. And I really loved it. I love being in front of the camera. I love feeling important. And I love people looking up to me. Yeah. And I love people being like, wow, you're really good at this. Yeah. I've never felt like I was good at anything ever before. Really? So for people to be like, you're really good at this, you're really photogenic, you really know how to pose, you really know how to model, it made me feel like I was good at something.
Of course.
And then I started dating a photographer and coming back and forth from LA, and I was like, I want to be an actress.
How did you meet the photographer? You just met him through work?
I met him through a photo shoot.
Oh, was that guy? Okay.
Yeah, and
then we briefly touched on him earlier. Yeah. He was one of the past.
He's the worst ex.
Oh damn, he's the worst one.
The worst one.
Yeah, damn. He's the worst. But is there anything good that came from evil laugh? Anything good that came from that relationship? Like even in the work, you're like, damn, that one, maybe nothing good.
Let me look really hard. Yeah, okay, the good thing is, I would never have moved to LA.
There you go.
If I did not come here so much and like feel like he helped me get used to LA. I was terrified to move here. And
what was so scary? So different?
Leaving my job, starting a different life, being away from that far from my family.
That's very far.
Just like wondering if I could even make money.
Right? Did you have any savings at that point, or?
So I did have a little bit, like we're talking like a couple $1,000s.
Yeah.
But I sold my house and I made a really good profit.
Oh, so then you were good.
Yeah, so I'm pretty. I'm still. If I didn't make another penny, I think I could survive for 2 more years.
That's awesome.
But you
invest wisely.
You do not want to touch your savings.
No.
That is for me to buy a house in LA soon.
There you go.
And soon,
which is not cheap.
No.
Yeah.
So like, and it's not. It is nowhere near enough money to buy a house in LA. It's very. Yeah. I think I've spent about $10,000 out of my savings since moving to LA.
Yeah.
And so that was really hard. So growing up really poor, I had the mindset, which is why I go to $5 movies. Yeah, I can afford to go to like the $17 one, but like I would rather put my money into other things. And it's really hard for me to put my money into acting classes and to pay for this stuff because I have a cheap mindset from growing up poor that like you shouldn't pay for things that are unnecessary. So one of the things I've learned this year is investing in myself. And that is it's always been so hard for me to do. To like every time I spend money on like a class or a workshop, I'm like, you are investing this into yourself.
100%.
And I've literally told myself, like, you don't need more clothes. You don't need more shoes. You do not need sushi as much as you think you do.
Yeah.
You do not need to do...
Well, no, you do. Sushi's good. Sushi's good for humans once a week.
Yeah, no, very good. But, like, I try not to go shopping anymore. I try not to, like, go buy clothes or anything. So I'm like, you don't need it. You have plenty.
Smart.
And whenever I do, I try to, like, buy cheap clothes. Yeah. And not, like, the designer brands or anything.
Yeah. Or you can get the designer brands at Marshalls and Ross.
Exactly. So like, and like, no, I still buy clothes now and then. I'm not like against it, but like, I'm trying my best to invest in myself, which is something before this year I've never done.
Really?
It's been so like I have a little bit here and there. Yeah. But like, it's just so hard to be like, oh, I'm gonna just like take these classes. They're gonna cost me like probably a few $1,000s for like every year, and hopefully something good comes out of it. Yeah. And so it's kind of one of those things. I'm like, no, like.
It's an investment.
It's an investment into myself. It's an investment into my future. And this year has been a year of building for what's to come. And it's so hard to look at it that way because a lot of the movies I've done for free.
Yeah,
and
really.
For my reel.
But it helps.
It does help. So it's like this year is setting me up. I feel like I'm doing what people get scared to do. Boom. Which is I am investing in myself, and it doesn't look from the outside like I'm doing much or like it's going to work. But that's the reason people fail. Correct. Because they refuse to take that, like, you can't expect somebody to just, like, book you on a big movie when they've never seen you.
Yo, literally so many people that have reached major success, it's because they're willing to eat dirt. They're willing to do some free stuff.
Years.
Yeah.
For years.
Oh, yeah.
I think modeling has helped me exponentially because when I started out modeling, I did it for the love of doing it. I did not care to get paid. Yeah. Just send me my photos. Yeah. And I still do free photo shoots. Like, just send me my photos. That's all I ask. Right. And so whenever I started doing acting, I kind of looked at it the same way. People did not pay me to do photos at first. Yep. I had to earn that. I had to put in my work of like doing free photo shoots and like showing, and like it made me better. It made me better to learn. And honestly, I would have rather done that because then I don't look stupid when I get hired for something. I remember whenever I've done a couple runways, and I did 2 runways that I knew were like absolutely like so stupid, but I was like, I would rather do these so I can be ready for the good one.
What was stupid about it? It was just like not legit.
It was not legit. Didn't even get paid for it, which you don't get paid for a lot of them, I feel like. But like it was just like, it was embarrassing almost. That was part of it. Yeah. But like I would have rather done that runway so I had experience and knew what I was doing whenever the like good one came.
Exactly.
So it's kind of like that with movies. Like I would rather do everything I've done this year for free, so that way whenever I do get on set, I know what I'm doing. I
100%.
understand how it works.
Yeah, 100%.
Because how much would it suck to get booked on a huge movie and never really know what being on set is like, and then never knowing the challenges of like learning lines on the spot, or the challenges. There's so many challenges.
And you might only get the huge movie by doing those other movies,
and sometimes you only get like 1 or 2 takes. You have to be prepared. Right. And that's something like, there's so many things I would have never thought about. And now I'm like, oh, this, I know these things. And I feel like that's why a lot of people come to LA. Well, so I think the downfalls of people coming to LA, they get stuck partying. They get stuck enjoying.
Do you never get caught in that scene? You're
actually,
like, I'm not.
Do not drink alcohol or do drugs.
So that makes it easy.
I've never tasted alcohol or any drugs ever.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, full disclosure, I'm a marijuana fan, but no other drugs.
Honestly,
so.
it's really hard for me not to do that because
I respect that though, that you don't.
I used to hate it and I would never do it, and like the last year or two, I'm like, I could really use that.
For whatever it's worth, I used to be very against weed, and now I'm a proponent.
It's also just like living here; it's legal.
Yeah, exactly.
Living here has definitely changed my mindset on it.
Yeah. But each his or own.
I'm a very what's the word? I keep forgetting my words.
No, you're good. Literally, I forget my words all the time.
I have an addictive personality.
Yeah. Same.
And so I get really...
That's not necessarily a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing whenever I'm addicted to like the gym. But imagine if I was addicted to drinking.
Exactly.
And put that with the fact of everything that I've gone through mentally. Yeah. That's why I don't do drugs.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't even smoke weed. Because I feel like if I smoked weed, I'd be more open to doing other things.
Fair point.
And I want to shut that door altogether. And people don't understand that. That is the most irritating thing about living here. Is like people, the only time it's acceptable to not drink alcohol here is if you have a problem. You're like, oh, I'm recovering. Then they're like, oh, okay.
That's super not cool though. No, like if you're around people that give you shit for not drinking,
they do, because
get away from them.
They're just like, why don't you drink?
You should get away from those people.
Yeah, I'm like, I haven't, like, they don't understand, like, maybe if they watch this, they'll understand, because people don't really know like what happened when I was a kid, or like the fact that I was hospitalized. Like,
did you want to like talk? I was like, I didn't know how much you want to go into that, so I was trying to like kind of go around it a little bit. No, it's. I super respect seriously that you've gone through that, and you have the confidence to talk about that.
Yeah, no, I think it's actually, I think it actually is something that happens to a lot of women, and it gets swept under the rug. And for a long time, like, it was a repressed memory. I don't know why it came up whenever I was 16, and then, you do feel broken. Like, honestly, that guy changed the way that I am with men. It changed my father's relationship. We don't have the best, we are not as close as we used to be. And I feel like I changed after that happened to me, but like, I didn't know. I was a child. I didn't know. Yeah. But like, I still to this day feel very uncomfortable around, and like, he was 16, I was 5, but like, I feel uncomfortable around older men. Yeah. And I constantly feel uncomfortable around any man who is not like around my age. I don't, I cannot have a relationship with them that's not professional. Yeah. And I feel constantly like I'm in danger. Yeah. And I think that's why also I never drank. It's because like I have to be in control. Fair. Which is probably like one of my downfalls in life, is my
not flaws. Necessarily.
I'm a very controlling person, but it's like mostly myself. I have to be in control, and I never want to be at someone's mercy, and I never want to be drunk and have someone take advantage of me.
Definitely not.
And I think that's one of the reasons I didn't start drinking. But like looking back, like, and it's so funny because you would think like, oh, she's never drank, like she's never wanted to drink. Like when I first moved to LA, I had me and that guy broke up, and it was the worst 6 months of my life. Not the worst, obviously. I'd already been through it. It was a really bad time for me. It was a bad 6 months. Yeah. And my roommates partied a lot. They did a lot of drugs. They drank a lot. And I remember one day I was sitting at my table. This is somebody last year who's never drank before, and there was vodka on the table. And I was like, I want some. I want to drink that. I want to get drunk.
What did your friends say?
They didn't tell them.
Oh, wait. So you're just thinking that?
I was just thinking that.
But you didn't do it.
I was like, no one's here. I can just drink it.
Yeah.
And so that's
definitely a bad time to do it.
That's because I'm hurting.
Exactly.
So that's why I don't drink, because I don't trust myself to be able to be like, oh, I'm only going to drink when I'm having fun. Yeah. No, I would be the person that takes it too far. Yeah. And so like, that's the way that I handle that. And plus like, I've never gotten drunk. I've never like had like a bender. I've never like lost my. I don't have to worry about drunk driving.
True.
I always know where my car is. I'm always in control of myself. I've never had a hangover. I don't spend money when I go out. Like
there's a lot of positive that comes from it.
There's a lot of positive. And alcohol is not good for your body.
It's not.
It's
not.
I get to eat my carbs instead of drink them.
True.
So that's like more sushi for me.
Yeah, right? You've clearly thought this out.
Yeah, but like it's irritating. Like for all the men out there, if you feel like hitting on me in the future, please don't offer me a drink. Like offer me sushi.
Sushi. And a movie.
Like if I'm like at a bar and a guy offers me a drink and I'm like attracted to him, I'm like, I wish you'd offer me, like, because like you like what do you say, like, I don't want to drink, then he's like, okay,
and you hold him against him at first. He's like, he doesn't know, but then if he still pushes it, then you do, or what? It's
so awkward. I actually try not to tell people, which is not good. I should be proud of it, but like it's
it's not. I don't think it's a bad thing.
It's an awkward thing to talk about though, because a lot of people are like, let's go for a drink.
I think the right guy will respect that though.
No, the right guy will respect it, but the problem is like with friend groups and meeting new people in LA, everyone wants to go out for a drink.
Yeah.
And then to be the one person who's not drinking with them, it makes you like the odd person out.
Fair.
And it makes people uncomfortable. It makes people very uncomfortable.
Because they're like, why won't you drink?
Yeah. It's like I think they think I'm judging them, but I'm not at all. Like,
it's just like not your thing.
It's not 100%. My thing. And if it like I would not be a good not that I wouldn't be a good person, but like I don't trust myself to be the person I am.
Fair.
That I want
to be. And truth is, a lot of people aren't the people that they really should be when they're drunk.
Like think of how many people have been like, I'm not like I can't even drink alcohol anymore, like because they can't handle it. Right? That would be me.
Yeah.
So I just stop myself before even getting there.
That's smart. That honestly is. But you feel like you are in a lot of situations though where people are judging you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
especially,
annoying.
but mostly just being in LA and being like,
it's gonna be frustrating.
Like,
frustrating.
It is so frustrating. Honestly, like I kind of stopped telling people, and I've like. There have been a few times where I told people, I'm like, I'm a recovering alcoholic. That way they respect it. Right? Because they don't respect it. And then I'm like, okay, that's so bad. I should not have
That's fascinating. The only way they respect it is if they think there's a real, like, that problem.
Because, like, they don't just respect it. And
that's annoying. Yeah.
It's the most annoying thing is when people start to feel uncomfortable around you. Mm-hmm. Especially if it's a guy you're interested in and he's like, I literally think once I got dumped because I don't drink alcohol. I'm almost 100% sure that's why we didn't work out. That's crazy. But I do think he was like an alcoholic.
Yeah. Well, then that's definitely not going to work because he really loves his alcohol and he's like, she won't even have to say.
I didn't see it at the time, but like looking back, I'm like, dude, that guy's an alcoholic. Like, no wonder. Yeah. But like, I think that's like the thing that like he didn't like about me was I didn't drink with him. And I let him drink. Like, I was never like, I don't drink, so can you not? Yeah. Like, I'd be like, hey, let's go to a bar, listen to some live music. And then I'd be like, perfect, you can drink, I can drive. Yeah. Perfect.
Right? That works.
That's a great way to look at it.
Yeah. To each or her own though, like whatever makes you happy. With that said, what makes you happy? Like what brings you joy? Not alcohol, not weed,
what do you
not
think?
Drugs. What brings you joy?
What do you think?
I mean, I think fitness is part of it. I think sushi is part of it.
Sushi. That brings me joy.
I think movies are part of it.
Yeah, just like spending time with like-minded people.
Yeah, and it's a big thing too. Chasing your dream, right?
Chasing my dream and feeling like I'm doing something that matters. And like, there's a lot of things I feel like I'm putting on the back burner because I want to do more than I'm doing for the world, not just for myself, but like I want to get more involved with, building
She's gonna build whales.
Wells. And
whales would be cool to build.
Yeah, I looked up this like really awesome charity, and they like go to the other parts of the world that really need help. Mm-hmm. I would love to volunteer and do stuff like that.
That would be cool.
I kind of put it on the back burner because of what I'm doing. Because I feel like I'm chained to LA. Yeah. Because I'm not in the point in my career where I can just be like, oh well, if they want me, they can like they can wait for me. Like I have to be here because they're gonna call me and be like, can you audition tomorrow? Exactly. So like, is it really? It's quick. It's for me.
Hey,
for me. But once I get to a different level, I'm sure it's gonna be like. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it'll still be like that to some extent. Mm-hmm. But like when you're well known and people want you because of who you are, and like they're like, oh, I already know she's a great actress. Like, yeah, let's do this. But like right now, it's kind of like, oh, you're just nobody. Like. Yeah, they'll. Do you feel that though? Do you feel like they're looking down on you legitimately like that? Or honestly,
it's not that?
Since this year, every time I go into an audition and every time I've worked with anyone, I've got such amazing feedback starting this year. I think it's the way I started. I used to approach auditions like going in there and having to like. Not knowing how to memorize lines and just like reading from the page. And if I messed up, I would immediately get read and be like, can I start over? And like, it was horrible. Like I would leave knowing I did horrible.
Damn. Where'd the confidence then come from? Where did you
I booked my first feature film in January. Boom. Off a self-tape. Yeah. Off a self-tape. I was actually I was really emotional. I just broken up with this guy just broke up with me, to be fair.
Did that help?
It did because I was doing a self-tape and it was like I had to say goodbye to this person. And so I was already emotional. Like, and so I'm like literally like crying, like bawling. And he thought that was just like me acting. Which it was. I was pretty emotional.
Yeah.
And so he was like, wow, like you really brought it. And so I booked it and I was like, yeah. And then so I got that and it gave me so much confidence. Like something just changed. A flip was a flip. A switch.
Flip, switch, either way. No.
Yeah, it's just like something just changed. And I started going to auditions and showing my personality. And I would add stuff into the script. Or I would be like, hey, like, do you want me to do that another way? How did you like that? Yeah. I would go in there with like confidence and letting them know who I am. Looking them in the eyes, walking in there being like, I am the best. And
I am the best. And you feel it. Exactly.
And, that really just like did amazing
Do you think, like, what's the biggest thing that could build someone's confidence in your opinion? Because it sounds like you've been on both ends of the spectrum and you come off pretty confident now. Confidence. Yeah, like, in my opinion, I think, like, fitness is a big thing.
I think fitness is a big thing.
Physically, that helps the mental, too.
That, too, because so I started working out, I told you, in January. Like,
so that's fairly new.
It's fairly new. Yeah. I put on actually
hence the wrong tricep pull down.
Yes. I don't focus on arms, ever. I don't care. I just want to have a nice butt, okay?
I mean, guys don't care about the arms. They're more about the butt. And,
and so I'm just like, why would I care for arms? But then, like, now that I do stunts, you have to roll yourself and you have to do handstands. So
you have to be pretty strong, legitimately strong. Yeah.
So I'm working on my arms.
Yep.
We'll see how that goes.
We'll see how it goes.
Like, for my legs, like, there was, like, fat to, like, get rid of before I could build muscle. With my arms, there's nothing there. So I'm actually building muscle quite quickly.
There you go.
Because there's, like, it's like, we're just building right away.
You're going to be jacked. Are you big on, like, how you eat, too? Are you all about, like, eating a certain way? Yeah.
I try to eat really clean, but...
Just Chick-fil-A, or...?
No, like, I try to eat, like, so when I'm home, I eat, like, seafood. I eat, like, shrimp, chicken, salmon, fish. Fish and chicken, basically, and veggies. And I try to eat pretty clean, but I do have, like, I love milk. I don't care what anyone says about it.
Is milk bad for you?
I don't. I don't care. Like, allow this. And, I don't drink alcohol, so you guys can drink your alcohol.
If that's your bad thing, I feel like milk's a good thing. You're like,
but, like, people hate milk.
I put cheese on my broccoli, but besides that, I'm pretty good.
I have like Honey Bunches of Oats with milk, and that's like my.
That's bomb.
It's not even that bad.
I don't think that's bad.
It's really not.
Yeah.
But like this is how I know I have an addictive personality. I am addicted to sugar. Like, I'm telling you, sometimes my cravings are so bad, I go buy, like, a piece of cake from
Ralph's. I have a question for you. I'm kind of similar. I'm like, this is how bad it is. I literally see a commercial for food, and I have to, like, get that food. Like, if it's, like, even if it's, like, something disgusting.
Well, see, I don't buy, I try my best not to buy foods that are not good for me.
Smart.
But the thing is, when I go on set, they mess me up. Yesterday, I had 2 Twinkies.
Oh, that's nothing. I would eat a box of 12. See, you're like, I don't think that's bad at all.
I'm trying not to eat bad.
Yeah, but 2, I mean, maybe like...
they had it on set. Like, stop bringing...
Right?
Like, okay, I like that they had that on set.
What's set typically like is always different, depending
it's always different, but they don't, like, they usually have healthy options, but, like, then they have bad options. I don't buy bad options because I will eat it. And so when it's accessible, I'm just like, don't do it. And then I'm like, just... Like, okay, the other day I worked a job, and they let us go eat. I had a hamburger, a hot dog...
Solid.
Chips that were not good for me, and...
Did you put the chips on the hamburger?
No.
Did you put the hot dog in the hamburger? No.
I had it separate. And then I had, like, 5 brownie bites. Oh. But they were, like, brownie bites. They were little.
Yeah.
Technically, it was, like, a brownie and a half.
Is it safe to guess that they were not weed brownies?
They were not weed brownies. But, like, that's bad. Like, I feel like a normal person would be like, oh, I'll have 1 or 2. No. I'm like, sugar.
Yeah. I need more.
Oreos are my kryptonite.
Really?
I can literally clean out an entire, like, half a pack in, like, 1 sitting.
Really?
Easily.
That's solid.
Easily.
I respect that. So, the Oreos with the normal white inside or the ones with the green?
I like the normal. The normal.
Yeah.
I just like the normal amount. I don't like the mega stuffed.
Yeah.
What I started to do...
mega stuff's a lot.
My roommate's ex-girlfriend, whenever she lived with us, she likes the middle, but I just really like the cookie part. So we'd get the mega stuffed, and I'd scrape out the middle, and then I would just eat the cookie, which I feel like was better for me.
Yo, you know a good, like, April Fool's prank? You put toothpaste. Yeah, okay.
If anyone ever did that to me, I would legitimately be so angry.
Right? Oh, because I would ruin Oreos for you.
I love Oreos. Like, I love them.
Sure, I can't have Oreos anymore. Yeah. Well, that would be so gross because you feel like you're about to eat an Oreo, and then you have, like, toothpaste.
Yeah.
That would be disgusting.
Because I also dip my Oreos in milk, and I get a spoon with a spoon because I like them.
Oh, solid. So what's your go-to then if you had to pick one bad meal that's tasty, but like it's
bad meal.
Yeah, bad meal.
Oh, we're gonna go get Italian. I'm gonna get seafood Alfredo, and then I'm gonna have like half a pack of Oreos.
Oh, that's bomb.
Or
do you throw the Oreos in the Alfredo?
No, afterwards.
Yeah,
but
good.
like also like if you've never had Linda's chocolate fudge cake from the Cheesecake Factory, I highly recommend
this
it.
Down. Linda's
chocolate fudge cake. If you're looking for like the best cheat meal ever,
I'm in.
And okay, this is very specific. Ask them to heat it up and put ice cream on it because they'll do that.
Ooh.
And it is incredible.
Heat it up. Yo, I'm such a fatty at heart. Like that's the thing.
Me too.
I'm such a fatty at heart.
If it was not about how you like we're eating, I'd have the best body, but it is.
That's what I feel like. Yeah, because so I work out too. I mean, I try to go like twice a day, Monday through Friday, but I'm not that cut up though because I don't eat that well. Like, that's such a big part.
I like to say that I go for 2 hours every day to allow for my Oreo cravings every once in a while.
Yeah, fair.
Like
I mean,
sometimes I feel like I just work out like that just so I can like afford to eat poorly.
Yeah.
And then I get mad at myself because I'm just like, why did you just been working out? You've been doing so good. And then downfall.
It's just downfall.
But it's like, it's funny because like I can get away with having like a really bad meal once. And if I'm working out, or I can get away with eating really clean and then like skipping a few workouts and I still look great. But like,
either way,
the problem is I'll eat really bad and then I'll be like, oh wait, nothing happened. Okay, let me do it again.
Yeah, one more time.
Yeah, and then it's like been a whole week and I'm just like, oh yeah, that was really bad.
Are you do you right? Do you hit steam room or sauna at all? Is that
I do this, so I do the sauna.
So relaxing.
But I only do it on the days I'm gonna wash my hair.
Oh, fair.
Because I don't like washing my hair. It's so annoying. And it's not good to wash your especially as a hair model.
So my brother used to tell me you're not supposed to wash your hair every day. I thought he was messing with me.
You're not.
You're not.
No.
Good to know. He also said that you're not supposed to like take showers more than once a year. Was he kidding? Your face, what? Are you serious?
Definitely kidding. No,
that's disgusting.
It's not good. It's not good to wash your hair that often.
Really?
And plus, especially for me because I have to curl my hair. That's how I like it, and it'll fry it. So
how often are you supposed to wash your hair though? Like as a guy or as a girl?
I feel like you're supposed to do like every 2 or 3 days. I try to do 3 to 4 though.
Yeah.
Just because if I don't go to the steam room and if my hair is not up super tight, like today I didn't do my hair.
Yeah, same.
I brushed it. And I headed over. Yeah, and this is like day 3 of it.
Yeah, nice.
Because like it stays really. I'm half Brazilian, so I have like good hair.
Interesting. You're really half wavy. Brazilian
on my mom's side.
Interesting. So sorry, that's a whole other.
Whole other topic.
Yeah. So half Brazilian and half
white.
Half white. Okay. Yeah. Cool. And so how did they meet then? Did they meet?
They met at college. Huh. So one of the reasons I worked at Chick-fil-A is the guy that started Chick-fil-A, the owner. His daughter went to Brazil, met my mother, and my mother was her babysitter for a long time.
Wait, so Chick-fil-A owner's daughter went to Brazil and is your mom's babysitter?
No, my mom was her babysitter for her kids.
Gotcha.
For her children.
She should tell her to relay the word to open Chick-fil-A on Sundays. Just a thought.
She said my mom was her babysitter for a while, and she's like, I really want to go back to America with you. And she was like, if you learn English, you can come back. And my mom learned English. So my mom came back to America with them and lived with them for a little while. And then she moved to go to college in Oklahoma. And that's where she met my dad. And that's like why she was really big on me working at Chick-fil-A. Yeah. And
that makes sense then. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So does she speak Portuguese, I'm assuming?
She speaks like 5 languages.
That's so crazy. I feel like a lot of people overseas speak like several. It's not like 1 or 2. It's like 5, 7 languages. Yeah.
I have always been, growing up, I hate change. I hate learning things. Mm-hmm. I'm very self-deprecating.
You hate learning things?
I hate learning things.
Interesting.
My mom would tell me, like, whenever she's teaching me the alphabet, I would have a mental breakdown every time a new letter was introduced because I feel like I couldn't learn it.
Do you have ADD or no?
I have, when you see words backwards, what's it called?
Dyslexia?
I'm dyslexic.
Yeah.
And
is it bad or
it's really bad? That's why you hear me like jumbling my words almost.
I didn't even notice. Yeah.
Like really? I twist them sometimes. Yeah. I think it's because I'm I think I have like a really bad form of dyslexia because I do that as well. I don't even know if that's a thing.
You haven't even been tested, but you just kind of know.
I haven't been tested, but like whenever I write, I twist my words all around. Yeah. Sometimes I can't even tell you how to spell something, and I don't understand it because it doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. It takes me a little while to like make it make sense. Yeah. And whenever I'm writing, I'll go back and look, and I'm like, I'll be like, oh, he ate that, and I'll be like, ate that he. Like, and to me, it looks right. Yeah. And it takes me a while, like a couple times.
Do you think like that's one of the things that you struggled in school too?
Yeah, it was a huge challenge for me. Yeah. And learning how to spell was a huge challenge for me because it doesn't make sense. Yeah. But my mother is such an independent, like she came to a different country that she did not know.
That's a big move.
She's always been she has dreamed and chased things. She's an incredible woman. She is an incredible woman that I look up to so much.
Would you have said that exact same thing at another point in life?
No, because I was a selfish child.
So that's
thought my mom didn't want the best for me whenever that's all she wanted. But she went around about it kind of the wrong way. Like when your kid doesn't like who you're dating, kind of just like accept, like, you know, like she was like, I don't like him, and like made it to the point where it was like I liked him even more almost.
Yeah, exactly.
But like she did the best she could. You know,
she wanted the best for you the whole time. Yeah.
We're really, really close now. And
when did y'all come back together? Like, was it after
when I moved to Texas?
Okay. Yeah.
And and now we're just really like she's my biggest fan, and so whenever I started to have successes in this industry, I would have people I called and I would tell them, and I noticed that it would like they would do the same to me sometimes. And I would feel almost resentful because I'm like, why? Like, I wish that was me. And I don't know if that's how they felt, but I kind of stopped telling people. You know, if they're my best friend, I'll tell them.
Yeah.
But like, I try not to be like, oh my God, guess what? Like, I'm going to be in this movie, because like, you never know what someone else is dealing with, and you never want to make someone feel like bad. And I would start to feel bad because my friends seem to be getting so many more jobs than me. So like, I started telling my mom, because my mom's my biggest fan.
Exactly.
And
she actually really wants you to succeed. Yeah.
But like, even then, like, sometimes I feel bad and I don't tell her some things just because like I feel like I'm always just bragging.
Yeah.
So I try to make sure that I definitely have plenty of phone calls where I don't talk about myself and I don't talk about what I'm doing. And if she asks, I kind of brush over it, because I don't want to always be seen as that person that's like, oh my God, guess what? Because I catch myself doing that.
We all do.
I don't want to be that, but I don't want to be that person that's always like just talking about myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like, something we didn't talk about, which I feel like is very important.
Oh, by the way, feel free to bring up anything. Like, you know, it's open conversation.
This is very important. It's a very pivotal point in my life.
Yeah.
I got a new boss at Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
He was...
When you were in Texas?
When I was in Texas. I was 22. He was 28. He immediately noticed I was working like 50 hours a week and I was like killing myself. I made the schedule. And so he asked me... One day we become really good friends, and we sat down and we were having lunch, and he was like, you know, why do you do this? Why do you work so hard? And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, well, you know, what are you working towards? Like, what is the goal? And I was like, I don't understand the question. And he was just like, well, you work so hard and you do it to yourself. Like, you don't have to work this hard. Like, you do that. And he's like, what are you saving for? Like, what are your dreams? And I started crying, and he was like, why are you crying? Because he just asked me like a simple question. And I was like, I don't have any dreams. There's nothing I'm working towards. I'm simply doing this because I think that I'm supposed to be saving money. I don't even know what I'm saving. Now I'm like, thank God I did years of saving and killing myself, because now I can enjoy this last year and a half with that savings. Right.
And most people, you're 26, right? Like, most people at 26 don't have any savings.
Yeah. So like it's actually really great, because like I put in the work.
Yeah. Like, put in the work. Reap some rewards.
I really realized I had nothing that I was looking for. And that simple question changed everything for me.
Really?
Yeah, like,
because what, it triggered something in your head. You're like, now
I
wait.
realized at 22 there was nothing in my life I was looking forward to. I had no dreams. I had nothing. And so like a few weeks later, somebody asked me to model, and I said yes. And then
that just like sparked something. You're like, wait a minute, I can do this.
And then his friend asked me, and then his friend asked, and like people just start working with me. And then I was just like, what? And then that's a question I try to ask people now. I'm like, what are your dreams? Like, what is the dream that you have? Because you, like, that question changed my life.
Right?
Like, that question woke me up. I feel like I was a zombie living this life that people think you should live. And after that, it was just like the lights went on.
What is the life you think people think you should live? It's just like the 9 to 5, the basic.
So a lot of people that I went to high school with, well, not a lot of them. Some of them went to college. And they got the jobs they thought they were supposed to get. Not the jobs they truly wanted. They did want these things, but once they got them, they didn't feel satisfied.
100%.
And they felt like, I mean, I'm just guessing, but like, you know, kind of like, what do I do now? I have this job, I make great money, but, you know, I'm going to do this for the next 40 years, and then what?
Right.
People do not, you get one life. And people forget about that. Like, I wake up every day, and I used to wake up at 5 in the morning and go to work all day long. I wake up and I watch the sunrise. I wake up and I sit and I think about life, and I'm thankful for the life I have. And that's why I'm so thankful for it, is because I did not have that option before.
Wait, you do that first thing in the morning? You just sit and are thankful for...
Yes.
That's so important, man. Like a few of my friends have been talking about this. Something I know I need to do that I don't do. So you just literally
I don't try.
Yeah.
I just am.
Well, yeah, that's good. But so you're not physically though saying like I'm thankful for it. No, you do that too.
I do that too, but like it's not like I don't even have to try. Like this morning I woke up and I actually put something on my Instagram about it because I woke up and I was sitting like I let my dog outside and I was just sitting there like.
Let's shout out your Instagram. What is it?
Oh, it's a little bit of wisdom.
A little bit of wisdom. By the way, is your last name actually Wisdom?
It is. Yeah, it's
that's
awesome.
Wisdom.
That's why.
I love it.
Yeah. So
Gabriella Wisdom.
Gabriella Wisdom. Yeah. Cool. For now,
little bit of wisdom.
Someone has a chance to change it.
Somebody out there, lucky guy out there.
Or maybe we'll change his last name.
There you go.
It's a progressive world.
Hey, it is. It's progressive. You can make it happen. It's 2019.
It depends how bad his last name is because I have a cool one.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to find a guy with a better last name than you. Wisdom?
I have some.
How do you get a better last name than that?
I almost actually said the last name that
the guy? Yeah, fair. Wait, is it a cool last name though?
I like it.
We don't have to say it, but like it is cool.
Yeah.
It's not as cool as Wisdom.
It's not like
there's no way.
I just like everything about him.
I know, clearly. He's going to see this. He's going to be like, damn, I missed her. I missed her.
Don't remind me. He's not going to watch this. He's not going to watch this.
Yeah, no. You're good.
He's totally going to watch
You're good. We'll see. Either way. I feel like
I just like either blew my shot or he like is going to.
Or you just made it. But it's one of the two. I would agree. I would agree with that. So, but you feel genuinely thankful though.
Yeah, I genuinely do.
Yeah. That is a good feeling.
Yeah, it is because I understand what it's like to wake up and hate your life. I've been there. I've been there for years, and I did not know how to escape it. It's so hard. It is so. I totally understand everyone who's stuck like that.
By the way, I'm sorry. I'm so loving this conversation. Like, I love the honesty so much. Seriously, it's real. You're being very real. I appreciate that.
It is so hard to escape that life because that is terrifying. Honestly, I think about what it took to get here, and I honestly don't. I feel like. You ever see those stories that people have brain tumors and they just like become a completely different person? That's how I feel.
I've seen that actually. Yeah.
I feel like that's what happened to me. And if I do have a brain tumor, let me die from it because the life I was living before, I was already dead, and now I'm alive.
Right.
Like, and
so
I
real.
totally understand. Like, especially when people have kids or like I understand getting stuck in that, and it's so hard. But like, whenever I started modeling, I was working 40 hours a week and modeling like 30 hours a week almost. I would wake up at 4 a.m. Put on my makeup like this, pick out my clothes for the photo shoot, go to work from 5 to 2 or 5 to 5. Then I would go back, fix my makeup, put on my clothes, and drive an hour to Dallas to do the photo shoot. Come back at midnight, wake up at 4. I was getting 4.
You do that consistent.
Every day almost, for 2 years.
See, you're a beast. You're the real deal. Yeah, you just drove 2 hours for this podcast.
Well, I was also
you're ambitious. Wait, so you've always been ambitious to an extent. You just didn't have the dream.
I didn't have the dream. Yeah.
But you were ambitious. You were putting in work.
I was always putting in work, but I never understood the concept of working for yourself.
Did the ambition also come from, though, like, growing up and very humble
and being
beginning?
Old.
Yeah.
And being the oldest.
Yeah.
I was, like, the mom for a long time.
Right.
And...
How young is the youngest? Like, what's the age
10,
difference?
And we're 16 years apart.
Yeah.
I raised a lot of my siblings.
Wow.
Not well. I was 12.
No, I mean, there's only so much you can do as a 12-year-old mom.
They all helped. We all helped out in certain ways. But, like, I was definitely, like, like, put in situations that children should not be put in.
Yeah, no, of course.
But it just...
But that makes you.
It does. It makes you. And you know what?
Builds your character.
I would never take it back because some of my siblings don't have the kind of work ethic I do. And I'm hoping they're going to get it. But, like, they're just not forced into it. I was literally forced into it. We had nothing.
That's real.
We had nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I had no choice.
You literally had to make money for the family.
I mean, I don't remember, like, actually paying bills for the family, but I took care of myself, which helped.
Exactly.
It really, like, I've always paid for my own cars and everything. My parents paid for my insurance and my phone bill for a lot.
Yeah, well, that's a lot less than a lot of kids have their parents do, right?
By 19, I was completely paying everything myself.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's way earlier than most.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I was disowned, so I was kind of forced to.
Yeah. Wait, so how long was that period where you were, like
2
disowned?
years?
2 years. Wow.
Yeah.
So, but you don't hold that against them to this day. Like, you're over that.
I'm over it. It's
good for you.
Life is too short.
You're right. Yeah, I think holding grudges is not healthy.
No, I try. I've held so many grudges against so many people.
Oh, I have too. No, that's why I'm saying that. But like me years ago, exactly.
And so I don't care.
Yeah.
And it's something else I've learned this year is, not learned. I've always known this, but like something I've been trying to really like put in my life is, just because I don't like another person doesn't mean I can't treat them
With
as a friend.
Yeah.
But I don't want to ever treat anyone in a fake way.
Love that.
You know what I mean? I am not a fake person.
Same.
I do not want to be fake to you, but that does not mean that I cannot respect you as a human being.
True.
That does not mean that I'm going to, like, you're going to come in, I'm going to be like, Like, I'm not.
That also does not mean I'm going to be like pretending like we're best friends.
I'm not going to pretend like we're best friends.
Yeah.
But if my worst enemy, which actually my worst enemy is myself, but if somebody I really don't like came to me and said, I need this, I need your help, and I legitimately thought they needed me, I would help them.
That's real.
Like,
your worst enemy is yourself. I think that's most of us.
My worst enemy is myself because the person that holds me back is myself.
Truth.
I am my own worst enemy. There's no one else. I am the person that I sometimes hate, which is something I've really been breaking down this year and learning not to hate myself.
How do you like break through that fully? Like, how do you, I mean, it's obviously, it's probably not one answer to that. Just
not really, but like, so.
Just reminding yourself, like, I'm a badass.
This is one thing. Whenever I started boxing, I'd get on the bag and they would be like, don't give it all you got. And I would give it all I had. And at first I was picturing like boys that I was mad at. And then over time, without even trying, I realized the person that I was beating up was myself. It was myself that was at Chick-fil-A for 10 years. It was myself that stayed in relationships. It was myself that, it was my old self. Like, I hated that person. So I had to come to and like still to this day, like whenever I feel like I need inspiration, like whenever I'm boxing, sometimes I'm just like, the person that I'm mad at the most is me for wasting so much of my life.
But that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is like it led you to all sorts of good things.
It led me to so many good things, and it set me up for success, definitely in a lot of ways, and it made me who I am. Yeah. But like I do get mad at myself for feeling like a zombie for like so many years and like not even understanding how to get out of those situations.
See, I feel like there's so many people that like they have those moments, right? Like I've had my moments, we all do, where you just like really feel down. Yeah. So that's why I'm like so curious because, you know, not to pretend everything's perfect, but it seems like you've pretty much like really.
Something I do is I'll look in the mirror and just I tell myself that I'm only looking for things I like.
That's a good way to do it.
If I don't like something, I'm not going to look at it.
Smart.
Like I'm not even going to like. I'm going to see it, but I'm not going to zone in on it.
Don't focus on the negative.
I'm just like, wow, my hair looks amazing today. Oh, look, my top abs look great. Don't look at the bottom abs.
There you go.
The top abs look especially amazing.
The fact that I have abs.
The fact that I have abs. I have a small notice of abs. But,
yeah.
And I just try to like, I don't know, like pour into other people because whenever you do that, you actually get something back.
Hell yeah.
I have two really amazing friends that really have also been very helpful with that because moving to LA, a lot of people I know are more of acquaintances.
Yes. I see, and I don't know, how do you feel about that? Because that's one thing that is kind of frustrating. Even with guys, honestly, that happens a decent amount where it's just like...
I know a lot of people know me, but they don't know me well.
Fair weather friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's totally fine. I have a lot...
How many people that know you know half the stuff we just talked about?
3 people do.
There you go.
3 people.
Yeah, because we're just having a real conversation. That's the point.
I'm actually terrified to post this.
Don't be terrified. If you remind me before we turn this off, I will literally, because I'm like I admire how open you are. I will literally say something that I've never said on camera that I'm embarrassed about. Okay. Legitimately, if you remind me before we turn off, be like, hey, you said you're going to say something? I will say it. It'll be the first time I've ever done this.
Okay.
So, boom.
But no.
Yeah.
I guess tonight is about leaving it all on the table.
Yeah. No, I think there's something therapeutic, though, about just like having very real convo. Whenever I have real convo, whether it's... My real friends know that if that camera's not there, this is the same convo I'd have. Exactly. Legitimately. Same exact convo. That's the
problem with this conversation, because same for me. Right. But like...
Same exact. Like legitimately. Legitimately, I love interesting convo. Yeah. I love learning about people. Like that's genuine. And so I think when you have that kind of convo, there's something about it. It's just like, yeah, therapeutic. It feels good. Like it feels good. Just like have a very real, genuine connection, like a conversation, right? Because there's a lot of fake people. There
is a ton of fake people.
Doesn't make them a bad person, but yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make them a bad person. It does make me not want to pursue any type of relationship with them, whether that's a friendship or especially anything more. But yeah, I definitely. So like my 2 friends I have, they have nothing to do with modeling. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're gorgeous and they can model if they want.
Yeah,
like,
but it's not.
They're not really models.
Yeah.
And they're just like real people. Like they're my real friends. They're my workout friends. They're the friends I call. Like today, I almost went to go see the Joker with one of them, but it didn't work out with her job. So I was like, that's okay. I have to go to the gym anyway.
Yeah.
But it's like they are my true friends, and I don't have a lot of those. I think the most I have is like 5.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy with that. I'm always down to add someone else to the crew, but like I'm not forcing that.
Exactly.
I want someone real. I don't want someone who's like, a lot of the girls I know are like Instagram girls, and that's totally fine, but like I don't want somebody who's like, I have more followers than you, and like obviously I'm better than you.
That's
that's like the vibe I get from a lot of girls. Like, like I'm too, like, obviously I'm here and you're here.
Do you feel like people though that don't know you might assume that about you? Because like, oh, she's on Instagram, she's doing some brand deals.
Oh
like,
my God, yeah.
Yeah, so she must be one of those girls.
My Instagram hurts me.
But here's the thing. But that's fine. Like, let that. Just like let them judge.
A lot of people
let them guess.
meet me and they're like, "Wow, I did not expect you to be like this." Or people meet me and they do know, like. Sometimes I meet people and they do know my Instagram, but like I don't. Okay, for example, this movie we were doing, a few people from the movie started following me before I even met them because all of our stuff was on there. Mm-hmm. And I went to the filming, whatever, and I didn't talk to anybody, so I think I looked really stuck up. I'm actually really shy, and I get really socially awkward. Yeah. And so I didn't really know what to say, but I think it came off as like, I'm like, for the first couple of hours, like now we're all cool because we spent a lot of time together. But like, for the first couple of hours, I think it came off as like, I'm too good to talk to you. And you know what's funny? I heard this the other day, if I can articulate it correctly. Oh my God, I don't think I can.
No, you're good. You can try or not. It's all good. Yeah.
I am not who you think I am. I am who I think you think I am. And people, so the way that we think people look at us is how we look at ourselves.
Boom.
And so like,
that's a real, I have heard that along those lines.
Yeah, along those lines. I don't think I said it the way.
No, I think you did say it pretty well. Yeah.
I heard that the other day and I was like, wow, that is so true, because sometimes like, or it's like my perception of your perception of me changes the perception I have of myself. That's another way. That's another way I've heard it said.
Exactly.
And it is because like, I am very socially awkward at times. I can totally come in and be bubbly. Yeah. But it's like, I have to feel it. And sometimes I don't. Yep. I don't feel that way. I don't feel like super confident to do that. Yeah. And I walk into a room and I feel like everyone's judging me. And so I act like everyone's judging me, and then everyone starts judging me. Most likely that's what happens.
Real.
Do you know what I mean?
That's real.
If you just go in with confidence. Right. I try, so like I mess up so bad because I'm so socially awkward. I try to always tell myself, especially if it's like a room full of people I'm going to be with, like if it's like a casting, or not really a casting because you don't really have to talk to people then, like everyone's kind of in the zone, you just kind of leave them alone. But if you're like going to film something with people you don't know and you're all going to be on set together, I try to make it a goal to say hi to everybody within the first 30 seconds. That way it doesn't even give time for awkwardness.
I love that. You just go right in.
But sometimes I don't. Yeah. Sometimes I don't, and I feel really awkward, and then it just turns to like hours of awkwardness. Yes. But like I try to tell myself before I walk in, just talk to everyone immediately.
That's a good trick,
talk to every single person.
It's a really good trick.
Yeah. Because then it's not like you're not standing there and being like, oh, by the way, what's your name? You're like walking like, hi guys, I'm Gabriella. What's your name?
Right. And you're like, making the moves. You're building your confidence.
And a lot of people say that a lot of people don't want to open up first, and they are not going to open up to you until they feel you opening up to them. And so
that's a good point.
Yeah. And so you have to kind of build that first road. True. And show them that you're capable of like, you know, and people do look at my Instagram and like assume things about me. Guys too, like it's a compliment though, because when they meet me, they're like, you're really down to earth. Like, or sometimes people say like, oh, you look just like your photos, and I'm just like, thank you for that too. Yeah, thank you. Because like, sometimes girls don't look. Oh like their photos.
I bet there's so much Photoshop and stuff.
So much Photoshop. Yeah. I don't like heavily change my look as much as I probably should as a model. Like you need to be really versatile, but I typically just stick to my typical look. Yeah. But
do you feel pressure to though, or like not really?
Yeah. I definitely have this year. There's a lot of things I said I wouldn't post on my Instagram that I've definitely posted. I typically have been really like conservative. Okay, and so more like risque stuff or whatever. Yeah, and I think that comes with the fact that I've been working out a lot, and I feel really proud of the way I look, and I want to show it off.
Do whatever you're comfortable with, right?
It's like I see it differently now, and I see it like, I don't know. It's like a fine line that I probably cross a little bit too much now.
Do you have a lot of creepy DMs?
Not a lot. Really? And if I ever do, I set them straight pretty quickly. Yeah. But I do have my fair share amount. I had a guy somehow get my phone number, and he was calling me for like 2 days.
Damn.
And he kept calling me from different numbers, and he would say really disgusting things to me. And then
how desperate does one need to be?
Yeah, it was really bad. And so like I screenshot it and I put it on my story, and I was just like, does anyone know who this person is? Because I was trying to publicly humiliate him, and it worked. So yeah, someone actually did. One of my followers went and found him and found all of his information. So I like copy and pasted it, and I sent it to him with a long message, and I was like, he's from Texas, and I was like, hey, just so you know, I'm gonna be in Texas soon, and if you ever call me again, then I will. This is your address. This is where you work. This is your phone number. I am going to come to your job and tell everyone what you've been telling me over the phone.
Yeah.
I will contact your family. I will go to your house, and if anyone lives with you, I will tell them what you've been saying.
Good for you. He was harassing you.
Oh yeah, and he never messaged me back or called me again.
Of course not. Yeah.
Because like it's so simple to block somebody, but I like to teach them a lesson. I'm not about just blocking. I want it because that's what everyone said. Why don't you just block him? It's not about the blocking. It's about teaching a lesson. I'm about building people. Okay.
You built him in a way.
Hopefully think twice before kicking out
Hopefully
another girl.
He never does that again. Yeah.
It's not about like. So that's like it's kind of like that thing. Like, why would you take a pill to cure something that's a side effect? You got to get to the root of it.
Boom. Right. That is like
too easy to block somebody. Okay.
Right. No, that's true. Just in life too. It's like, all right, what's the real problem you're always trying to solve? What is it? And then how do I fix it?
Honestly, if I had the time, I would have just blocked him. But I just feel like it was a great teaching moment.
That is a great teaching moment. Yo, so random. This is just random. I just thought about it. So you do meditation?
A little bit.
Some?
I'm not. I don't like know heavily about it, but like I do my own version of it. Yes.
Have you ever heard of a guy named Wim Hof? Mm-mm. He's like this guy who's created a breathing technique that just like it's a form of meditation. It just gets you like very relaxed.
I would be interested to learn more about it.
Dude, so I've had people do it on the podcast. I just do it like this out of nowhere. I'm like, have you heard of a guy named Wim Hof? And if you're down to do it, it's are you?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to pull it up on here. It's I will say when my friend told me about it for the first time, I was like, bro, that's the weirdest shit. Like I had a weird reaction to it. Like this isn't going to work. Even though I trusted him. So it just gets you like very relaxed. So it's essentially this guy has, and I'm probably not explaining it that well, but he has all sorts of Guinness World Records. And one of them, I believe, is he climbed Mount Everest without a shirt on. Like this dude has just like manipulated his body in such a crazy way through these breathing techniques. I know it sounds like kind of crazy.
It's such a powerful tool.
Exactly.
And people do not utilize it.
Exactly. Yo, so this like breathing technique, to put in perspective, you'll be able to hold your breath for like longer than you would ever do it, without this. So anyways, it's literally like, I'll put the volume on, but it's literally like just breathing in, breathing out, and you just keep doing it a bunch, and then before you know it, you just pass out. No, I'm just kidding. You don't pass out. So yeah, it's intense. And you close your eyes, it's the real deal. If you want, you don't have to do this, but
I want to do it.
All right. So yeah, you're just breathing in, and then now I'll start it over. All right, and the guy's a cool voice too. Wim Hof.
Fully in. Letting go. Right on. Fully in. Letting go.
It's just like a bunch of breaths.
Fully out. Just letting go. But fully in. Letting go. And once again. Come on. Don't hesitate. Give it. Deeply in. Letting go. Deeply in. Letting go. Going great, man. Deeply in. Letting go. Deeply in. Letting go. Deeply in. Letting go. Deeply in. Letting go. It's about changing the chemistry right now in your body. Deeply in. Letting go. Deeply in. Letting go. Nice one. Feels good, huh? Hey. Give it fully. Take him in. Letting go. Take him in. Letting go. Take him in. Letting go. No hesitation. It's about changing the chemistry right now in your body. Times more. Deeply in. Letting go. letting go. Deeply in, letting go. Deeply in, letting go. Deeply in, letting go. Deeply in, letting go. Okay, 5 times more. Deeply in, letting go. Deeply in, letting go. Deeply in, letting go. 2 times more. Letting go and stop. Just stop. Witness. Without air in the lungs, you are able to stay much more than normally. Why? Because we changed your chemistry. Carbon dioxide went out, O2 went up, filled up all the cells, and the pH levels go up. Then we are able to tap into the central nervous system, and at the end we got the brainstem. And that's the place of the pineal gland, hypothalamus, pituitary gland. And the pineal gland makes the secretion of adrenaline in dangerous situations. Normally we do not get into it because of our shallow breathing. But this is the way to get into the most primitive part, the reptilian brain, without many difficulties, and fend off bacteria, getting better into the endocrine systems. In minutes, and you're still on. That shows that the capacity to fill yourself up with oxygen is a lot more than we normally use. And as we do not use it, we are not making use of the full capacity of our physiology. Now we found out we got a different layers, and we never use it. And this is the way to learn to use it, to tap in and bang into the primitive brain, into the endocrine systems, immune systems, the way nature has meant it to be. Everybody is able to do it. Whenever you feel the urge to breathe, you don't need to force. It's only learning how to oxygenize the body and all the cells. You're going great, man. Nice one. Feels good, huh? When you feel the urge to breathe, you breathe in fully and keep it for 10-15 seconds. Then that's one round. Fully in and keep it. Letting go. Fully in.
That was it.
Letting go.
What are your thoughts? Honest opinion, weirdest thing ever. It's very real. It's not real at all.
No, I believe that's real because I've heard of it before.
Yeah.
And whenever I do feel like overwhelmed or stressed, I do like take a moment and I breathe really deep. I don't really count my breaths. I just breathe. And I tell myself to change the things I can change and disregard the things I cannot. That's all you can do.
Do you feel like more calm than even like
I do.
2 minutes ago? Mm-hmm. You don't even realize that like
I feel high. I don't know what being high feels like, but I feel woozy.
No, that's very real. Legitimately, he even says like it's a high. Like it is a high. There you go. You can get your high without any drugs. It's so real. Like I know part of us both, just want to just sit right now. I'll talk for a second if you want to just enjoy it. It's so real. So I'm always looking for like more ways to self-develop and improve. And at the core, I legitimately think like what is most important in life is happiness. And so part of that is, understanding ourselves and like growing. And so whenever I hear something that might be of benefit, I'm like, all right, I'm interested. Yeah. I have an open mind. And my friend told me about it. And again, it was like, all right, I don't know. And then I did it. Oh my God.
It worked.
Right? Like, yeah, it puts you to sleep too, yeah. No, it's so real. I think meditation is very helpful.
Yeah.
And that's a form.
It's one of the things I want to get more into and learn more about. Mm-hmm. I think I do meditate, but it's like my own version of it.
Do you feel like, are there moments where you feel like a little overwhelmed and maybe that would help a lot?
Definitely, but I do it to myself. I still am a procrastinator. Mm-hmm. I procrastinate a lot and I hate technology and I have a lot of things, like even to this day, I haven't been paid for this job that I did 2 months ago because I haven't completed the paperwork because I don't understand it and it's difficult and I have to like, yeah, I'm like.
Let's talk about that after. I'll help you with that paperwork maybe. Let's paperwork to get the dough.
It's like one of those things I'm just like.
Yeah, I feel you though.
Like that stresses me out more than anything, but yeah, just I still get stressed out. It just,
of course,
I deal with it differently.
Yeah.
I don't let it like I get overwhelmed and then I just try not to like. One of the things I love to do that really relaxes me, and sometimes it's just drive. I love to drive and listen to music and just
windows down,
sing, and I write a little bit, and so just like write some thoughts and just like escape. I usually go watch a sunset. I don't care how long the drive is, and I think the times I'm most grateful for my life is like when I'm watching a sunset, and I still to this day I've lived here since not this April but last April,
okay, and
sometimes like. It's always in the sunsets and I'm like looking out. It's so beautiful. I'm like, I cannot believe I live here.
Right.
And I hope that never changes because I feel so like sometimes I'm like, you live in LA. Like how is that possible?
Right. So. Yeah, no, I'm from Houston, Texas. We're out here in Laguna and LA. Like what?
Yeah. Yeah,
it is good. Just like appreciate, just think like, wow, this sunset is.
There's so many different choices I could have made.
Mm-hmm. Were there any other states in particular you thought about or not really? Like in terms of moving? I
just wanted to get away.
Yeah.
But for this trip, this move, no.
This was LA.
This was LA.
Yeah. Because the career path.
The weather, the career path. Like I do not. I've never been to New York, but I hate the cold.
You haven't been to New York. You gotta go to New York.
Yeah, I do have to go to New York, but I hate the cold. So that's like not an option for me to live there.
And if you go to in the summer, it is crazy humid.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
I definitely cannot wait to go. But
yeah.
As a place to move for my career, this was like my number one choice.
It's like the obvious choice.
And people make it so difficult, and I don't feel like it's that difficult. Like I understand that. It is more expensive out here, but there are ways around it. The problem is people want to look like they're living a better life than what they can actually afford.
Truth.
The place I live is amazing and it's really cute, and I have a very small bedroom, but I do have my own bathroom. But it's pretty cheap compared to like LA prices.
Yeah.
But it's like, yes, I could probably afford to live somewhere more showy, but I would rather live within my means and enjoy my life. And that's something a lot of people don't do.
Correct.
They're like, oh, I make $5,000 a month. Let me have $5,000 worth of bills. And then you have to work that much. Yeah. And it's like, if you live below your means, you're going to save money. You're going to be able to enjoy your life more. You're not going to feel stressed to be like, I have to go. Like, you can call out. I don't know if everyone's job allows for that, but people.
Good amount of jobs do, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like I know whenever I just moved to Texas, I'd set myself up for failure because I live in the nicest apartment complex I could find. I just got a brand new car, and my boss gave me a raise, and I decided with that raise I would do those two things. And so I was living exactly to the penny of what I needed.
Oh man, yeah.
And so like when you live well within your means, you're setting yourself up for success.
You are.
And people here do not understand that because what they want to do is they want to live in a place they cannot afford and then buy things they cannot afford to make them look a certain way.
Correct.
Fun fact, this dress was $3. I got it at Goodwill.
Dude, I love it. Hell yeah.
I love going to Goodwill.
Yo, I got this shirt at Marshall's, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And I know it's not like the glamorous thing.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Like, a lot of people do. In LA, correct. A lot of people do.
The answer to who cares is a lot. You're right.
Yeah, but
You're right.
It's like don't let what they care about affect what you care about, because at the end of the day, I would rather, so going back to like setting up my priorities, I love to shop. I love it. Yeah. It used to be one of my outlets before the gym was of like.
That was therapeutic. Yeah.
It was. Shopping is therapeutic when you have the money for it.
Yeah, exactly. When the dough's there. Yeah.
But it's like, would I rather buy a shirt I don't need for $50, or would I rather pay for my gym membership for this month? It's kind of like the way I look at it. Yeah. Or often, do I want to buy the shirt? Or do I want to eat sushi? And usually the answer is simple. But sushi. Like, I still buy clothes, but it's just like. And every once in a while, I'll like buy something really expensive, but it kind of comes down to like, is it needed? A lot of people, they don't need half the things they're buying. Smart question. And why am I buying this? Like, am I buying this for me or to look cool for that other person? Exactly. And it's like the same as social media. Like you look cool. Yeah. But you're not as cool as you look. No, of course not. Which is something I always like people that especially girls, but anyone that like comments or messages me, they're like, you're perfect. I'm like, first of all, this is photoshopped. I am literally sucking in. I'm at an angle to where I look like that. Yeah, I do. I love myself.
Does that ever get to your head, or are you always like, well, shut up?
No, because I know how the original photo looked, or I know how bad I can look. So like I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. But the problem with that is I don't want someone feeling bad about themselves and comparing themselves to a version of me that I have spent 2 or 3 years learning how to make look like that. And it's kind of one of those things like, well, then why don't you post like, other stuff? And I posted stuff that I'm like, I didn't super love this angle, but like I like the photo. But like people have to remember that like I do get a lot of jobs from my Instagram. That is my portfolio.
It's real, exactly. It's business.
And I always say that I put my best foot forward. I'm not going to post something that I think is going to every once in a while I'll post something and be like, this is me without makeup. And I do that on my story a lot, especially now, just because I think it's good for people to see the real side of me.
Absolutely.
But I always try to set people straight. If they're like, you're so perfect, or I want to look like you, or blah, blah, like, no, because I look at other girls and I say the exact same thing, and I see them in person and I'm like, you don't look like that, first of all.
Yeah.
And, people could say the same thing about me. And we do touch up, our photographers touch up things, and like,
of course.
Also, like, do you see me taking pictures in direct sunlight with harsh light? No. There is a reason for that. Like, lots of times my photographers do not do heavy touch-ups, but we're also doing it in the right light.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
It's
how have you gone about building your Instagram page? Has that been like organic, just kind of like
honestly been so bad lately.
Yeah. Bad in what way?
I don't care as much anymore.
Yeah.
And like I posted a photo earlier and I noticed the likes did absolutely horrible.
So do you think, obviously you think, but everyone thinks
I think about it a little bit just because like you want it to like at least be building up or stay the same.
Yeah.
But the problem is I posted a video a couple posts ago.
Yep.
And it got like videos never do good on my Instagram. But the point of the video is I have directors looking at my page when I submit for stuff. And they've told me like, why don't you have any acting on there? So anything I can post, I'm like, first of all, it's kind of like a long-term mindset. I'm like, yes, this is going to hurt my engagement. Yes, this is going to hurt my likes. But why do I have this page? What is the reason for this page? The reason is when people want to book me, they look at this page and hopefully they overlook the likes. And they're like, wow, she did really good in this scene.
Yeah.
So I had to like really get over that for myself and just be like, you're going to just post it.
So stop caring about the likes and followers as much.
Do not care. And another thing people really care about is if people are following you. My one rule of Instagram that I follow very strictly, I never check to see if people are following me. Ever.
Interesting.
Because there are people that I know that I'm friends with who do not follow me.
And then they would mess with your head and stuff.
It will, because like of course that's going to upset you.
Of course.
But like people don't realize this is an app.
Smart not to.
This is an app.
Preach.
How are you going to let an app determine how you treat another person? If someone doesn't want to follow me, but they want to be nice to me and treat me like a human, why should I let that make me treat them badly? And sometimes I accidentally unfollow people because sometimes I end up following a lot of people I don't want to follow. So I go and follow them and I don't see that someone changed their Instagram profile and I will unfollow. And then I notice like, I'll go back and be like, I'll think about that person and go check their thing. And I notice I'm not following them and that they unfollowed me. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. And I usually message them like, hey, I didn't mean to unfollow you. I'm sorry. Like, you don't have to follow me. I'm just going to follow you back.
Yeah.
Just because it's like awkward. And it makes things so awkward. So I try to pay attention whenever like I'm unfollowing.
But it is like people, everyone takes it personally.
Everyone takes it like it's hard not
normal.
To. That's why you shouldn't look.
Yeah.
I refuse and sometimes one time my friend told me one of my roommates wasn't following me.
Yeah.
And he was like, did you know your roommate isn't, well, I'm not particularly close to this roommate, but he literally felt the need to like tell me, he's like, did you know your roommate isn't following you? And I was like, that kind of made me mad a little bit because I was like, that's so rude. Like we work together, like he's a photographer, I'm a model. And he's like, I'm not good enough for him to follow. So it's like, yeah, it's going to hurt your feelings.
Yeah.
So don't look at it.
I was debating if I should call this person out right now as we're talking. Because I was going to say there's a famous person who followed me. And they eventually unfollowed me. And I was like I was a little hurt. I was like, damn, why do you unfollow me? But I won't call him out. I almost did. I won't say the name.
It's not unnecessary. Like Instagram is just a tool.
It is.
It is a tool in my life. And it's hard because like even now I want to go back and delete that picture because it did poorly, but I know that it's a great picture and people love it. The problem is like my engagement's not there because of the video. Like it's a whole thing. But
building up your follower base or whatever.
I think that really helped because I've had an Instagram since I was in high school.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I just went back and deleted all the personal photos. And I have a second Instagram.
Did you get most of your followers back then or now?
I probably had like 5,000 from back then.
Okay. And what are you at around now?
I'm like around 40.
Okay.
I think I was at 40 and then I lost a lot.
Do you have what was there a reason for that? Like that you lost
I think it was the video.
Yeah.
It was like after the video. It's like I couldn't get, like, I don't know.
Damn. Yeah,
I really don't know.
But do you make an effort to, like, when you catch yourself thinking about it, like, all right, let me slow down.
So like I wanted to delete this picture earlier and I hate when people do that, and I was like, no, because it's a good picture. It doesn't matter if people like it. You're leaving it up.
Yeah.
Like, and people will delete their photos, which I totally understand. I want to do it right now, and they'll be like, oh, I'll just post it another time. And oftentimes, like, different times of the day are better for engagement. I did post at a bad time. It's my fault. I know better. But it's like one of those things.
Yeah.
You can't let that get to you, because it's just it's an app, and people will talk and people will make assumptions and people will do whatever. But like at the end of the day, I'm getting paid.
Exactly.
And a director's going to look at that and they're going to like what they see.
Exactly.
Versus you're not paying me. You're just going to judge me. So like I'm willing to take your judgment in order to book this job.
There you go.
Like it's
smart business.
It's smart business. And honestly, I feel like more people follow me that don't engage because they want to see me fail, which it's just like, it's a natural thing, I guess.
Well, there's a lot of people like that out there.
Well,
yeah.
I know a lot of people because I see them on my story. And they don't ever like anything, but they watch everything I do.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it makes me kind of sad. I'm like, oh, I remember being that person. I cared so much about other people's lives because my life was so miserable. Not saying that's what's happening, but
in some cases it is, though.
Yeah, it's like they want you to do bad or they want you to fail. Or sometimes, like, maybe they
That's not a healthy mindset, by the way. Wanting others to fail, that's super unhealthy.
I have had a lot of negativity lately. A lot of people tell me, like, I'm never going to make it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, people you don't know that just say that?
Yeah. Like, the other day I was out.
See, that would really frustrate me.
It frustrates me. Like,
but you also got to brush it off.
Yeah, so, like, I was working the other day at one of my brand ambassador jobs, and it was so funny. Okay, if you're ever going to hit on a girl, if you're ever going to hit on me especially, do not approach it this way.
Listen, guys.
This guy approached me, and he was like, do you even make money doing this? And
that was his line?
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, obviously. Like, I'm not doing this for free. And he was like, well, it can't be that good. And I was like, I mean, it's $18 an hour. It's just like a random, it's pretty good. And I was like, and sometimes these jobs pay as much as like $40 an hour. And he was like, I make $60 an hour because I have a degree. And I was like, okay, I don't have a degree and I make $18 an hour and sometimes $40. So how does that make you feel? And he was like, honestly, he's like, I make a lot of money, blah, blah. And I was like, well, this isn't what I want to do. I want to be an actress. I told him, I was like, I'm an actual actress. So this is just like a side hustle to do to like, you know?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, that explains it. And he was like, good luck with that. And talking down. Like,
sounds like a disgusting human.
He was very obviously trying to hit on me and show how much money he had. Yeah. Because he thought I cared.
That's so unattractive.
Which I don't. Yeah. And then he decided that the next course of action to get me would be to tear down my dreams and tell me I'm never going to make it. Good luck with that in a very sarcastic way. And like, laugh at it. Dude,
that's literally him just mad that he can't get you. Yeah. That's literally all that is. He's like, oh, shit.
Because, like, I guess, like, if he tells girls he makes that money, they're usually like, oh, my God. And I'm just like, yeah, first
Does that actually work, though? I guess with super fake
I'm sure in LA it does. Like, girls like that, you know? Sugar daddies and all.
Yeah,
but I'm very against it. Like, I'm a self-made person. I've always been. I always will be.
Boom.
I'd rather fail by myself than...
Rely on a dude.
Especially like a sugar daddy. Like,
yeah, that's not the move. That's not happiness. How can someone be happy like that?
I can't.
Like, what?
I can't. I'm too self-driven.
Yeah. That's a good thing though.
Me.
You don't. Yeah.
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 It would. I just trust me. The idea is very appealing until you like actually think it like no.
I mean, on a high level, it's nice. Like someone else is paying, you get to relax.
What if I just like got $3,000 a month to just like talk to someone?
Just talk to someone. Exactly. Yeah, because that's all they actually. In some cases, I think that's actually what they're literally talking. I know that's probably
very few.
Yeah, very few.
I think what they do is they start off like that. They get the girls hooked and reliant on the money, and then the relationship changes. Because I've seen that happen a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, because that's what you do. You make someone dependent on you, and then you add other stipulations to it.
Wow.
I've seen it happen a million times to girls. They don't want to do anything but talk, and he's getting me my own apartment, so I'm moving out. Me and my boyfriend are breaking up. I can live by myself. He pays all my bills. And then 3 months in, all of a sudden, the rules are changed. Because guess what? He's got you where he wants you.
Right? They say that's one of the big... Yeah,
don't be stupid. Like, if you're going to have a sugar daddy, do it. Do not become reliant on that money. Do not let him trick you into being your sole provider. Okay? Do not.
Preach.
You're being tricked.
Yeah, it is a trick. I
It's
mean,
manipulation. It's the best kind.
the like biggest way to gain power is to give. Like people don't realize that because then people become reliant. So that's all it is.
Exactly. And then like later that day, I was frustrated. I told my boss a little bit of what that guy said, and he was like, "Yeah, but you want to be an actress. You know how many people want to do that here? Like,
Who cares?"
Yeah, and I was like, he started like he was nice about it, but like he basically told me like the same thing. Like, you're never gonna make it. And I looked at him and I was like, I will make it because guess what? There's no other option. And if I accept that mindset now, I might as well stop.
You're right.
If I want to be an actress, I can't be like, oh, you're right. Like, not a lot of people make it. Guess what? I'm going to make it because if I accept the fact that I could not, I might as well not even do it.
Right.
There's something I posted on this quote I heard in one of my messages this morning, and it was, if I believe I am great, I will attempt great things. Like if I don't believe I'm great, then I'm not going to attempt the things I want. And it's like, if I let somebody else tell me, and it's funny because when people do that, I just use it as motivation. I just I go to the gym and I'm like, yeah, they think that I'm not going to go anywhere, but I'm going to do an extra set just for that person.
Right?
I do that a lot, actually.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm like, please, tell me more. Because
right?
I really need to hurt myself tomorrow.
Doubt me.
Yeah.
Doubt me.
Please.
Doubt fuels. Doubt really fuels.
It does.
It absolutely
You can't let it be your only fuel. Because I did that sometimes. Correct. That was my biggest downfall.
Then it gets a little negative.
It gets really negative. Like, you have to really do it for yourself. But, like, it does help. It is a little bit.
It is.
It's
I have that on my shoulder. I think we need that. I'd also argue that if you went around and asked every actress or actor, like, did anyone ever come up to you and be like, you're not going to make it? I bet you all of them would say that happened to them. All of them.
And guess what? People are so right. It's like 1 in millions.
Yeah.
And I get that. But guess what?
But you can be that one.
There's going to be that one.
100%.
And that's going to be 100%. Me. Like, it has to be.
100%.
And it's like, you have to pay your dues. And do I know what I'm doing 100%? No. But
nobody does.
Nobody, I'm faking it till I make it.
Yeah,
and
to an extent, that's what you have to do. And you learn as you go.
And I'm getting great feedback and I'm becoming better all the time.
Exactly.
But it's like, people, if I don't believe in myself, how do I expect to ever make it?
If you don't believe in yourself, no one else will, first off.
No one's going to. And that's what people don't get. Like, I don't want anyone to ever look at me and be like, oh, she literally thinks she's the best at everything.
That's not what I hear. Yeah. I hear someone that's just like confident you want it. Exactly.
Yeah, I want it. I want it so bad. I'm so ready. But at the same time, like, I know there's a time and place for everything. Yeah. And I'm more than willing to put in my fair share of time and effort. And I'm putting in the work.
Right.
And I just have to trust I'm trusting the process and I'm putting in the work. And
oh, I love that.
Fail.
I'm laughing because, like, I love when people say that. I'm all about that. Trust the process.
You have to. And for a long time, I still get frustrated. I'm like, why? Why not me? Like, I see, like, people that I know, and they're like, I see them on HBO, and I'm just like, why? Like, how do they do that?
I should have gotten that gig. Yeah.
How do they, I just want to audition for that gig. Just put me in the room. Like, sometimes I'm just like, how do they even...
So do you have trouble finding some gigs that you want?
I have trouble getting into all the right rooms because I want to be in all the right rooms. I've gotten some really good rooms, but like...
So how do you get into those rooms you're not getting yet?
I have some representation now, so that's definitely helpful. But this industry is a lot about who you know, which is so funny because I did not know that I have so many connections or know so many people in the stunt world. And I found out I do.
Really?
So I don't know really anyone in acting, but I know I have connections to quite a few people in the stunt world, which it was just a happy coincidence. And it like reaffirmed my faith and this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And God's like, look, like, this is what you, like, this is for you.
Yes.
And then, like, my ex-boyfriend that we haven't talked about yet, my first boyfriend.
What? There's one we hadn't yet.
he was like the first guy I ever dated.
Okay.
I was 16.
Okay.
He was actually older than me.
Okay.
Quite a bit older.
Yeah.
But
how much older?
He's 21.
Okay.
But like we never really did anything.
Yeah.
It was so like you never know how relationships are going to come back to like benefit you or like be there. We dated 10 years ago. We dated for 9 months. I was super in love with him, but like we were different ages. And when we started dating, he thought I was 18. I legitimately did look like I was 18, and he looks like a baby. So I thought he was also 18, and we literally dated for 4 months before we realized that we were not that age. He thought I was a senior, and I was not a senior, and I thought that he just graduated. We just never talked about it because we met in the summer, and we just casually dating. Yep. And then school was coming back, and we were talking about it, and he was like, "Oh, like, are you excited to graduate?" And I was like, "I'm not graduating." He was like, "Wait, what?" Yeah, and so it's like, we kissed and stuff like that. I don't know how. I was 16. I don't know how inappropriate that was, but like, we dated for 9 months, and he really broke my heart. He's my first boyfriend, you know.
Damn, how many times do you feel like your heart has been like broken? I feel like
that was like a first heartbreak.
Yeah.
And so
you really it is real. You feel it. It's physical.
Oh yeah, at the time that was absolutely horrible. It took me a long time to get over. And then the guy that I dated that was really horrible, that was a different kind of heartbreak than the other ones.
Yeah.
It was deeper, and it was like I can't explain that one. It was just really hard. But then like the one where my heart broke from like I love someone so much, it's still broke, but
what is the key though to like kind of get over that? Like, is it just the next person? But you're like, I don't know, I'm still in it.
I'm still trying sometimes because like it's not like I'm still in love with that guy, but he's just no one ever compares to him. He's just like his parents. Wow. His parents did such an amazing job. He's such an incredible person. Like the way he treats the person he loves.
Wow, that's real.
Yeah, no, like props to him. He really messed me up.
Damn. The good news, another one's out there somewhere.
Yeah,
like,
no, for sure. Yeah. But just like sometimes I'm not even sure if I really miss him or if I miss just having like someone in my corner.
There
like
you go.
100%.
That's a good point to think about. Like, is it him or is it like, and it's probably partially him, but it's also partially like, I just want that.
Like I said, I don't really know the person he is now. I still believe he's an amazing person.
Yeah.
Just from the years I knew him.
Yeah.
I still love the person that, like, that time we spent together was always going to be a very treasured memory of mine. And every time we spent together is always going to be very near and dear to me.
That's real.
And sometimes whenever I'm having like really bad moments, there was a particular time we went on a vacation.
Yeah. And
we were in Honduras and we were floating side by side, but we didn't want to float away, so we were like holding hands.
Yeah.
We didn't know about the otter thing, okay? We weren't trying to be dumb, but like
wait, about what thing?
Like how otters, whenever they sleep, they hold hands so they don't float away from each other.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's the thing.
I just learned something new.
Yeah,
nice.
there you go. It's really cute. It's like a thing all over Instagram a little while back.
Nice.
But we were like on these we were like in the ocean and we were just kind of like relaxing and we were like closing our eyes, but we were holding hands so we didn't like float away from each other. And every time I've been in physical pain because I've had like some stuff that I've had to take care of.
Yeah.
I've always, like, whenever I close my eyes, I go back there. And that's, like, my safe space. And I never really, I know people say they have stuff like that, but I've never had that. And that's, like, because, like, my eyes were closed, but I was still, like, not asleep, you know? And just felt like everything felt perfect in that moment. So it's, like, he is a lot, like, those memories I have with him are a lot of my safe spaces. But, yeah, it's just getting over somebody, it just takes time.
It does. That's part of it.
I think it takes twice the amount of time it took to fall in love with them as it does to get over them.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's real.
I think that because like that's what's happened for me.
Yeah. It makes sense. I mean, it's not an overnight thing.
It's not an overnight thing. Not. I think it does help to definitely find somebody else, but I think you should definitely wait.
The right part. Yeah,
it cannot be like instant. It has to be like after you're already like kind of over it, and you can't not like a rebound. Like it has to legitimately be the right person. Like have some time in between. But it's like. You just have, and it's also like accepting what happened.
Yeah.
I like to think that I learned a lot in that relationship and I will never lose somebody because of my actions again, because I was not very...
But you're at a very different place then.
I'm a very different, like, I was in a very different place and I was just like emotionally, I was a wreck.
Yeah.
He held me together. And honestly, he probably felt like a parent.
Yeah.
I was just emotionally always falling apart and I actually wrote him a letter. I don't know if his parents gave it to him.
Wow.
Whenever I moved.
Handwritten?
Handwritten.
That's real.
Yeah, because he was dating that girl, but like I didn't know how serious they were because we hadn't talked. When they started dating, we stopped talking. Just like he's a very upstanding guy. He's not gonna like cross lines.
Yeah.
And so in case they broke up, I wrote him this letter and I gave it to his parents and I asked if they broke up or if it was an appropriate time. Give him the letter. I don't know if they ever did or not. I don't want to know. But it was basically like in the letter. It was basically just like me saying sorry and like how much I care about him and how like I don't really remember.
Good to get it off your chest.
I think mostly even just like having it written out was great, which is something I do a lot now. Whenever I'm really conflicted about things or I want to tell somebody something but it's probably too much, I write it down now and I just don't send it. And it honestly works.
I do the exact same shit. Yeah, I put it in my notes on my phone. It really helps. I'm like, I'm so glad I didn't send that.
I do it on my notes on my phone. I have like a journal. I have a journal section on my notes section, and then I have like a letter section because some of it I don't want in my journal. But boys, you have been saved.
Boys,
I literally the guy that just got back in a relationship.
Yeah,
I wrote something to him and it ended up being so big, it was a file. Like, I sent it to my best friend to read it and she was like, it's not even coming up as a text message. It's coming up as a file.
Yep, been there.
She was like, do not send that to him.
Right.
And I was like, but it says everything I want to say, and I want him to know. And she's like, then you need to call him, because if you send him that text message, you will never hear from him again.
Right.
And I was like, why?
But like, party is just, no, that was probably a good move, but party is just like, I just want to have real convo. Yeah. That's how I feel. I'm like, in the whole dating thing, it's like, I don't want to play games. I just want to like be very straightforward, you know? Like when you're talking to someone, just like be straightforward, period. Like no games. What you're saying is what you mean.
Exactly.
That's simple.
But yeah, so I have made many files.
Same. So I guess maybe there's a lot of us out there.
There probably is. And honestly, I wish guys would be more direct whenever they want to like talk, because I feel like I can't do that. Because
I'm like a girl. I'm like too direct, because like I'm like in the podcast. Like I'll want to know. I'll talk. Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, I'm way too open and too direct.
No, it's. I think that's a good thing in humans, generally speaking, is to just be honest and open. Period.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a good thing. I think people respect that. I think people respect authenticity.
If nothing else, at least they respect that, hopefully.
Yeah. No, at the very least, people should respect authenticity. When you know someone's being whoever they are, like, that's admirable, like, in my opinion.
No, honestly, right now, as I'm thinking about this, I can hear my best friend listening to this podcast, literally texting me, being like, I cannot believe you brought up all this stuff on a podcast.
You know what? There's also going to be a lot of people that are like, this girl's cool as shit. Like,
hey, Joe, how you doing? Hope you're enjoying this.
Joe?
Yeah, my best friend, Joanna.
Okay. Joanna, Joe?
Yeah, Joe. Yeah. She's going to be like, I cannot believe the things that you talked about.
Yeah, no, I respect it. I really do. And I think legitimately, all jokes aside, like that actually helps people. Like some of the things that you've gone through that you've said. Yeah,
no, that's the purpose of me talking about.
I believe that. I believe that's the real purpose. I could hear it in your voice.
A lot of people have had it worse. A lot of people have had it worse. No matter what I've been through, somebody has had it worse.
Yeah, but you had some very real shit that you've gone through.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. I mean, but it's like it's one of those things. It's like you have to let it do what it's gonna do.
Make or break you.
And it's gonna make me.
Hell yeah!
I've already
it's already exactly.
I've already decided. So.
And you should always keep that mindset. Yeah, it will. It's making you, and it'll continue to make you.
Exactly.
Period.
So it's like, I can't hate what happened, or in any of the situations. Like I can't despise that just because it made me who I was.
Like you were saying earlier too, there's kind of always like something good that's coming from it. Like most of those bad things, there's gonna be something good. Yeah, maybe not always.
Honestly, I think if I would not have tried to hurt myself, I would never have left Oklahoma.
Really?
I think that really like opened up my eyes.
You would have never done so many different things. You would have never gone to Texas. You wouldn't be here right now. Like you wouldn't have your friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Wow. Everything bad that's ever happened to me has mostly always led to something good.
I believe that.
And it's funny because something else, I love quotes and I love, like, I pick up on things and I just love them. Yeah. So something I heard, I think it was Jim Carrey. I believe it was Jim Carrey who said this. He was like, my father wanted to be a comedian his whole life and he was too scared to pursue it. So instead he worked a job he hated his whole life because he was so scared to fail as a comedian that he worked a job he hated and then he ended up getting fired. So if you can fail at something you hate, why not fail at something you love? And that's my mentality. I failed at Chick-fil-A.
Hell yeah.
I failed.
Yeah.
And I hated it.
Yeah.
So why?
Well, you also succeeded to an extent. Like you made some dough, but
extent, but like I also I hated it to an extent.
Yeah.
But it's like I did get fired from one of my jobs.
Okay.
Well, not really. Like my boss told me he could tell how miserable I was, and he said, I'm not firing you.
Put you out of your misery.
Yeah, he was literally like, because like he's the boss that I moved with from Texas. Yep. And so I felt very loyal to him.
He ended up, you got a new boss though. He didn't stay there?
I went to a different store.
Okay, gotcha.
Because he let me go.
Gotcha.
Because he could tell like I was so miserable. And he literally was like, I talked to him about it many times and I told him, I was like, I want to quit. And I was like, but I feel like you need me. And one day he was just like, you know what? He's like, you can't work here anymore. I'm not firing you technically, but like, you can't work here anymore. And he's like, you hate this. Yeah. You are not happy. Like I want.
So you're clearly unhappy.
I was so like everyone around me was miserable because I was like, if your mom was ever miserable and then she made everyone in the house miserable, that was me.
Yeah.
I made everyone at the store miserable while I was there the last couple months. Yeah. I hated being there.
Yeah.
I hated my life.
Yeah.
And when I get back to Texas, I actually plan to go there and see him and just thank him for firing me.
That's legit.
Because he saved me. Like
right?
I would have stayed. I would have stayed at this job I hated.
Yeah.
With people that I couldn't stand, which is like a flaw of me, not like.
Which is what exactly you're saying? It's like staying with people that
Like I despise a lot of people I work with, and I had a lot of conflict with them.
Yeah,
but it was
that
more
happens.
Like, but it was more like I was not good at resolving issues, and I wasn't good. I do, so like my family didn't really have the best way of dealing with things.
Yeah,
and so I was raised in a very passive aggressive way, and so I'm very passive aggressive, which is habits I've been breaking this year, trying to be very direct. And trying to understand that just because someone does something to upset me, that might not be their intention. And just because I'm upset, like, let's fix this. Because, like, we just want to go about this and, like each other.
You're very conscious.
Yeah, I'm trying to be very conscious of it because I know that I can, like, sometimes I do it and I don't know I'm doing it. And so I try to be very conscious of it. I was very passive aggressive in that relationship. And I was also very manipulative.
Yeah.
Not very, because I think I was already accomplished with the manipulative part, so I wasn't as manipulative, but like I could be. Yeah. And I don't want to be like that. I think
that also, that's good that you realize that. And I think a lot of people do that in relationships where they just kind of like, it just happens, right?
No,
like they might not even, it's not about being like a good or bad person, it just like happens in relationship.
It happens,
like,
and I'm not saying it would never happen again, but I'm very hyper aware of it.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, and I don't want to guilt someone into spending time with me. I don't want to guilt someone I want people to do things because they want to do it.
100%.
And I remember I like one time like guilted my ex-boyfriend into buying me a diamond necklace, but he was cheating on me. So like,
damn, did he get the necklace?
Yeah, and he like threw it at me when he gave it to me.
What the hell?
It was like because like it was a weird situation.
Did you pawn that shit?
No, I still have it actually.
Do you wear it or no?
No, I don't wear it.
Yeah, right. Maybe you should pawn it. At least get some cash. I really
like it, which is sad because like I picked it out because I used to work at this jewelry store and I wanted it and I wanted him to buy it for me and he wouldn't, and I made a big deal about it, and then one day he cheated on me, and that's like his I'm sorry gift.
Oh wow.
But then like he gave it to me, like he came over and like he was like, oh, and I was like, no, you can leave. And then he was like, whoa, I got you this anyway, and like threw it at me and left.
Damn.
And I was like, oh, that's so it's like, it sucks because like I love the necklace.
Yeah, I just can't wear it.
But I can't wear it.
So you've had it for a minute, just so
I've had it since I was like 20. I've had it for 6 years. Oh dear God, I should probably sell it.
Yeah, sell it, get some cash.
I love it. It's so pretty.
It's nice to look at.
It's nice to look at and be like, yeah, I'm not wearing that.
Yeah, right.
It's like a heart with diamonds all the way around.
Oh, it sounds cool. And real diamonds, so it's legit.
It's legit. Like, I have the receipt and everything. I still have it in its actual packaging because I only wore it for a month.
If you ever need cash.
I've tried to sell it a few times.
Oh, so you have, so you've thought about it. Yeah. I thought about it. Hadn't been the move yet.
Yeah, people are always like $50. I'm like, no.
Yeah, no. I need at least 75.
It has sentimental value in some way.
Yeah, in like a weird, like I don't want to give it up way.
Yeah.
I respect that. Yo, I'm trying to see, like, we've gone over so much. I don't want to keep you all night, but like, favorite music. That's one more thing I'm curious about.
I mean,
favorite
I'm an Oklahoma girl, so country was my first love.
All right.
But coming to LA, I like a lot of different genres now.
Yeah.
And I actually write a little bit I write lyrics.
Okay.
I'm not good at writing music.
You write bars. You freestyle rap?
No.
Because we're about to freestyle rap if you do.
No. But like I do write music, and I've been putting together my own songs.
Nice.
And so I feel more like it's weird because I do want to make some country music.
Yeah.
But like I think it's like the gym influence. I listen to a lot of not techno. It's like because I don't like the recurring beat, but like the drops. I love the drops.
Sick drops.
That's like my thing, and so like that's the kind of music I want to make. And that's like my song, like my style has changed.
Yeah.
I also listen to a lot. So like, have you listened to Grandsons?
Grandsons? No, let's do it right now. Yeah.
Oh no, let's not.
Are they bad?
It's just like it's a little scary. It's a very violent. For the gym.
Yeah.
It's good.
All right, I need to try that at the gym. It's like intense.
It's intense.
Okay.
The lyrics.
Hey, I'm not judging.
I'm a very lyrical person, and I love lyrics. And the lyrics on some of them is super intense. My favorite song by them is "Blood in the Water."
Blood.
So you can
now I see.
There's like a song about a school shooter.
Oh wow, it's intense. Like they go in. But it's is it motivating shit or what is it?
It motivates me.
Okay.
The beat does. But then like some of the lyrics too, but like also they talk about real things.
Yeah.
And they don't like sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
But like that's just one of them. Because I'm just trying to show you my different ranges.
Yep.
I mean, I like a lot of stuff. The only thing I don't like love is screamo because I like lyrics. There's a little bit of screamo I do.
Wait, is screamo? I'm not gonna pretend like I know it. Is screamo like the like metal?
It's like heavy metal when you can't even hear what they're saying. So
yeah, literally screaming.
Yeah, I dated a guy like in a scream like there wasn't that kind of band, and he opened my eyes to it a little bit.
Interesting.
I think I'm partial to only his music though. Like I only like the music he made because he made it. So I think that's the only reason.
Fair.
You know,
I've never given it an honest chance, so I'm not gonna judge. I've just never like.
I like.
Seem a little
he's
intense.
he's a drummer. He's a really good drummer. So it's like whenever I hear him playing, I listen more for the drum than for anything else. So I like there's a few songs I like. Yeah, no, like, but I have different
hip hop,
everything.
Yeah,
R&B. It just depends what mood I'm in.
Do you have a favorite artist though, or not really?
I mean, Lizzo right now has been on like the. I've been on my like not like hating men, but like girl power.
Hey, go for it. It's all good.
Probably like some of the people I really listen to a lot is like Lizzo, definitely. Lately,
top right now.
Taylor Swift.
Solid.
Taking back. I love Taylor Swift's new album. I'm a huge Taylor Swift fan ever since I was a kid.
Solid.
If I hadn't started listening to her when I was a kid, I might not love her right now. But like I feel like I've grown up with her.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
yeah. You feel like you've grown up with her. Yeah. I feel like
she's like my best friend. Yeah, like I feel like I can meet her and be like. But obviously she'd be like, you're weird.
She probably gets that a lot.
If I could be friends with one celebrity, it'd be Taylor Swift. I've legitimately had many dreams where I'm friends with her.
You never know.
She inspires me. She's incredible. I love her.
Keep talking about her and we'll send her this clip.
Please do. Taylor Swift. My thing is like I hate saying I'm someone's fan. Fair. Because I don't like that term. Yeah. And like whenever you say you're someone's fan, I feel like it's like it's putting them in a pedestal. Yeah. Like, I admire her. There you go. And, like, I want to be friends with her because I want to be like her. Yeah. And I like to surround myself with people that are inspiring to me and people that, like, are making me a better person. And, I mean, I don't know her, but I like the way that she, like, I've heard really great things about her.
What you, what your diet is what you consume, right? Yeah, so what you read, what you watch. You. Yep. 100%.
And so I like to, like, and there's some celebrities I'm just like I really don't care. About that whole thing. Like, if you're real with me, that's awesome. Yeah. But like, I don't really.
Nor should you. I mean.
Nor should you. Yeah. But I mean, it's great. It's great to know those people, but like to be friends with them, like I'd want them to be real people. Exactly. And I feel like it'd be hard to be friends with a celebrity because they would feel probably used. Yeah. Or so I was almost on a dating show this summer. I was really, really close.
You almost did it.
Did
you want to do it?
I wanted to do it.
Really? But for the reason of like business, or did you think you might actually find the right dude on a dating show? Because I'm gonna keep it real with you. I feel like finding the right relationship on a dating show is highly unlikely.
I was excited to see the possibilities.
Okay. Wait, like bachelorette?
No, I wish.
By the way, I dated a girl who who won the Lauren Bushnell.
Oh, I know her.
For a second. She's getting married. Is she really?
She's getting married to a country legend. He wrote a song to propose to her. It's called Big Big Plans.
What?
Yeah.
This is news
she just Chris. Oh, what's his name?
Not Chris Lane. Wait, what?
Yeah, she's engaged to Chris Lane. They're getting married.
Wasn't she engaged to?
He wrote a song called Big Big Plans for her. It literally made me cry. It's adorable.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, she was engaged. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. To be fair, when I knew her before she was famous, she was a cool girl. So I don't know how she is now. Talk to her for like
her life is great. I'm sure it looks great. I think it turned out really great. But like, nice. So during that time, okay, I really did an inventory of my friends because something I really have dealt with in LA is being used by people, and I was like, how much more am I going to be used by people once I'm on the show? Like when I come back. Oh, everyone's gonna be my best friend, of course, because I have a lot of people that use me for different reasons. Yeah, and it's like I really don't like being used, and so I can only
nobody does.
No, but like I can only imagine how celebrities feel because like how I look at it is once I make it, everyone that has been my friend before are like the only real friends I can trust. Like those are my friends.
I've always felt that way. Like to an extent, I've always felt like once I reach a certain level of success, whether that's like being well known or like money, whatever it is, shit changes.
Especially those two.
Right.
And so like I really dialed down my friend group. And I even reached out to people I felt close to kind of test that relationship because I wanted to see how they would treat me. Mm-hmm. And I wanted to like remember how they treated me and to see like if we were really friends. Mm-hmm. And so I literally have like a group of like maybe less than 10 people.
That's cool. Yeah.
And I'm just like, those are my friends.
Same. 100% that are like your real like.
And it's not like I'm going to like be like, you're just trying to use me. I will hold people at arm's length and I will be friendly, obviously. And I want to work with people and it's great. Like if I can help you, that's fine. But like, I don't want to be used and I'm not going. So like one of the things I was like, you know what, it's going to be the most annoying thing is coming back and people that aren't really my friends, but that are friendly with me all of a sudden feel like we're friends, and they're going to see a different side of me, which is going to be a really closed off side of me. And they're going to probably say like, oh, she's changed. Oh, because like I will not be used by people. And
No.
I see the way people treat me, which is totally fine. Like you can treat me however you want to, but like,
But how you react is up to you.
Yeah. How I react is up to me. And I don't care if you don't want to be my friend. If you just want to be like work friends, that's totally fine. But if I was to ever make it, don't act like we're best friends and be like, oh my God, we need to hang out. Oh my God. Like, no, you didn't do that before. So don't do it now. And that's my biggest thing.
Yo, that's so real.
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh, that's so real. Like that, like, and you don't know. That's the other thing that you kind of don't know unless you go through certain things.
I reached out to people.
Yeah.
And I started working and strengthening those relationships that I wanted to have because I was like, I don't want to feel like they're using me. And a lot of these people, they're photographers or they're models or whatever. And so it's like, I tell them, I'm like, if I ever make it, the thing I'm going to love the most is helping you make it.
Right.
Because you're my friend.
Yes.
But like, the thing is, like, there are people that I know a lot of models and photographers. And so the thing that I'm not going to like is when I make it.
Boom.
I always say if, because I always like, don't want to sound, but like,
No.
I have to say when.
Absolutely.
When I make it, like,
Boom.
I do not want all these people to come back and be like, oh, like, you're my friend. Why won't you hang out with me? Oh, she's changed. She's different. No, I just know who I am. I know who my friends are, and you're an acquaintance, and I'm not going to invest time. It's not that I wouldn't anyway. Like, I'll probably still work with them, but I'm not going to be like, oh my God, shout out to this person. Like, hey, I have a job coming up. Let me get you on it. I might still do that, but like, I'm not going to like
go out of your way big time.
And a lot of things, people get used to people treating them that way, and they like having friends, and they'll start buying friends without knowing it, whether it's with their Instagram or with their fame or with their money. And so it's like, how can you trust those people?
You can't.
No. And so that's why I'm like, I know who my friends are. I know the people that are there for me, and I will still be kind to the other people, but like, if you start acting fake with me, I will call you out on it.
Right, as
and
you
I will not stand for it.
As you should.
No.
And there's something like beautiful about knowing that someone's like a real friend. Like knowing legitimately.
Yep.
Like you obviously have some in your corner. I have some in my corner that legitimately, like, if I had $0, billions,
If
I had
fail,
no clout, a lot of clout, doesn't mean shit. Literally means nothing.
If I literally never make it and look like an idiot, they're still my friend.
100%. And they wouldn't even flinch. Those are the real ones. They're like, oh, we're good. Like,
Exactly.
In fact, not only we're good, you're going to be all right. Like picking you up,
So I've been working with some YouTubers. I got really lucky with like helping them with some of their sketches.
Nice.
And one of the things I don't really know the whole story.
Okay.
I don't even know part of the story, but from the outside looking in, like are you familiar with like Lele Pons and?
No, I don't
So
think
they're like really big YouTubers, but I feel like they cater more to
Maybe I should.
They cater to a younger crowd.
Okay.
So you, like
I'm 14. 14 with a beard.
So they cater to a younger crowd, but one of the things I noticed is like when Lele I think got like her and Hannah, they're all big. Okay. But like I feel like Lele is like the main one, or she was. She didn't forget her friends. When she made it, she brought them with her. They all worked together, and I like it makes me want to be friends with them so bad because I'm like, but then it's awkward because I'm not part of that friend group really. But I'm just like, I respect that so much because I think what happens a lot of time is people make it and they forget who their real friends are, and they try to distance themselves. Why would you do that?
Oh my God.
Because that does happen.
That happens.
People get famous
so much.
and they start acting different.
That happens so much.
I don't ever want to act different.
And you know what's a really cool feeling though? If someone is famous and like is the same. Yeah. Like I don't know if I should say certain name stuff. Well, here I'll call this out. So my friend Corey, who signed to Lil Wayne, who's a friend of mine. I knew him before he was signed to Wayne and after he signed to Wayne. And you're signed to the biggest rapper in the world. Like it's okay to maybe be like kind of cocky. Let's just say like after that, like did not change at all. Like for example, I was visiting New York recently. I was like, yo man, like I have a podcast now. You want to be on it? Quick response, yes. Like not changing. That's so respectable. Someone that like, as you grow, you stay real. That doesn't mean you let everyone in, but those that are like that are like real with you, you keep it real with them.
Exactly. And that's how I feel. I mean, I definitely have my very close friends. I have other friends, and I have
there's levels.
Yeah, there's levels of my friendships, and it's not to say that I don't want to help people. I definitely do. But there's a fine line between helping and getting used by.
100%.
And
100%.
So there's one girl that I went to high school with, and she's probably like one of the only girls from high school I still talk to. She's amazing. And we talked the other day, and she was like, oh, I was bragging about you to my friend. And he was like, yeah, but does she even like treat you the same? And she was like telling him, she told me, she's like, yeah, she treats me the exact same. She hasn't let it get to her. And I'm like, first of all, haven't even made it yet. But I appreciate you thinking I have.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you thinking I have.
Yeah.
People in Oklahoma think I've made it.
Of course, because just living in LA,
Yeah,
period. Yeah. But you've made some real progress.
I made some real progress.
Yeah.
But so she told me that, and I was like, wow, you know, like that really does mean a lot to me, especially that she can see that because, and I don't want to be one. I definitely think I will be more hyper aware of people trying to become my friend for reasons.
It's always good to be aware of.
But I don't ever want to be somebody who's like stuck up or be like, you're only ever trying to use me. Like, that's never a good mindset.
True, because not everyone is trying to use.
But
there are a lot of people that are.
It's great to help people.
Yeah.
But I want to help people that have good intentions and people for the right reasons. I don't want somebody move to LA who's like a really hot girl and just be like, I deserve to make it, and like be like, oh my god, let me help you. Like,
no thanks.
Like, I want you to put work in, to be honest. I had to put work in, but like I will help you. I will meet you halfway because I wish I had someone to do that for me.
Yes.
I wish somebody would look at me and be like, that girl is doing the most she can. You know what? Why don't I give her my contact?
That's who you want to help.
And I would love that.
100%. You want to help the people that actually want to help themselves too. Like they're putting in the work.
If they're putting in the work, I am more than. Yep. I hope I'm in a position to help them, and not only that, like I hope my greatest joy would be if I could make it and afford to pay my friends what they deserve for the work that we do together, and afford to like or be able to like help them make it because that would bring me like they've done so much for me, and I think it would make me so happy to see my friends succeed with me. Right. I think that's like that would be the biggest joy of my life. And how could they not? If I succeed, how could they not succeed? Right. A lot of real. Like if you have a big platform and you are using it to like promote other people, how can they not succeed? Right. You know. So it's like if I make it, guess what? We all made it.
Right. Exactly. That's how I look at it too. Yeah. Like everyone who like I care about, y'all are good. If I make it to where I'm trying to make it. Exactly. That's a good mindset. You see that globe right there? Yeah. Yo, so there's a little globe challenge. And oh, God. You're like, how many weird things are in this podcast? No, hey, look, I left early too. To be fair, I think you're going to be good at it. Words of encouragement, right? So I always say, like, I could say something cheesy and, like, pretend this is all about, like, how you're going to touch the world and you've already touched the world in different ways. You're going to touch it in more ways. You're going to make your impact, and that's true. But it's really just like a stupid game that we thought of and been doing it every podcast for some reason. So it's actually not too bad. What you're going to do is you're going to get the globe to float. So you just pull the globe off. Boom, you're already halfway. And then you see the little white piece right there? The little that's next to it. You see on the side? Yeah. Yeah, so you're going to hold that bad boy. And then you're going to put it over the globe. And then, promise it's the only weird game that we play on this podcast. Yeah, so you're going to basically, there you go. And so you're trying to get it to float midair. So you're going to hold the globe and the white piece, and you're going to put it like back towards the middle. There you go. The white piece in between the top of the globe. There you go. And that, boom. So the goal is you want to get it to float, and then you want to spin it, but spin it very lightly. It's always funny to see people do this because it's like, what the hell is this thing? But you'll get it. If you believe, you will achieve. So, yeah, there you go. So you want to get it like right, I'd say a little higher. In fact, I think if you get it to the point where it's touching that white piece, there you go. And then you just let that white piece go slowly. And if you hit the spin too hard, now you got to get the white piece gone without it falling. Oh, wait, light tap. You got this. Wait, you got to get it to spin. So, all right, you almost have it floating. All right, cool. Now I'd say just let it spin for a sec. Oh, wait. So, yeah, I'd say less hard spin. You had a good workout today. You got this. By the way, it's taken some people way longer. So, like, you're still in good time right now. Yeah, get the pops going. So I'd say light spin just like that. Perfect. Then, like, lightly take that off. You actually might have been one of the faster ones to get it. Don't touch again or else you might mess up. You got it. Boom. That's a win. Right here.
We should time that.
So the thing is, winning. Right? So here's the thing. I literally am planning on going back at some point, having my video guy go back and edit the clips of all these globe challenges and putting timers on it. I will say, you might have come close to like top 3 for sure. Maybe a top 1. I don't know.
I feel like you didn't explain it very good.
I know.
I should get 30
Thank
seconds.
you. I love that call out. In fact, I will agree. And you know what's funny? My explanation probably gets worse each time. Like, it's more confusing. I had one guy who's like, bro, do I even need this white piece? I was like, I don't know. Like, and then he did it without the white piece. I was like, all right, so you don't technically need that. How long will
it spin there?
It'll just keep going. It'll be there for days if you don't move it. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's floating. But I will say, I'm pretty sure you were one of the top few fastest.
I mean, if you had explained it correctly.
Exactly. I know. I love the call out, and I deserve the call out.
I was like, am I like trying to like spin? I thought it was spinning like right here. I didn't realize.
That's part of the funny part about the game. How poorly I explain it makes it so confusing.
Every time makes it more confusing.
Exactly. And then seeing people's reaction, they're like, wait, what do I do? And truth is, they're not confused because it's confusing. They're confused because how I'm saying it is confusing.
I was so confused.
Fair. All right, so a few more things, then we'll wrap it up. I know you got a long drive. And again, super appreciate you being here.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm glad we got to do this. This was really good.
Seriously.
If anything, at least I will have no more options for men after this. Because they're all going to think I'm crazy.
No, I think there's a lot of guys. There might be a few that think that, but a lot of guys that think you're a super cool girl.
God.
Like any cool guy would think you're cool, in my opinion, after hearing this. Like, this is a real chick.
Yeah. Unless it's any of the guys I've talked about.
Yeah, true. They're not going to, but you don't need them anyways. Yeah, but they're in the past. Your Prince Charming's in the future. He's somewhere. He's not bald.
Pretty sure my Prince Charming is like 15 minutes away from me, but.
Oh damn! Oh, you know who he is.
I mean.
Wait, is this another guy?
No, it's the guy we talked about.
Yeah, okay. It's like this is a new one. This is a surprise.
It's gonna be like a 10-year wait. I feel like.
Fair. Nothing good.
It's like so. Like easy. Every time I think about it, I'm just like, if I had a boyfriend right now, I'd probably like. God has great timing. Mm-hmm. Maybe there's a reason why I'm single because I go after my dreams more. Mm-hmm. I'd totally jump on that at a moment's notice.
Yes.
But it's like, it's fine.
No, but you're right. And truth is, I'm somewhat similar, bro, in the sense of like, there's many moments I'm like, damn, I don't want to be single now. But then I rethink it. I'm like, all right, I am more focused.
I think I just feel so close to I can visually see everything I want.
Of course.
I'm so close to it and there's nothing in my life really holding me back. So I get so frustrated and I forget that timing's just because I can doesn't mean I should.
Truth.
And so timing is so important. And so I'm just like, I don't know what to do. I'm just like, I'm just going to not do anything. And then everything's going to happen the way it's supposed to happen. Boom. How about that?
Yeah, not forcing anything, and just making moves.
The more busy I keep myself, the less I think about it. So.
That's so true. Like staying in the gym, staying working.
It kind of pushes me because I'm like, I don't want to stay home and think about this. So today we're going to the gym, then we're doing this and this. I'm going to do a podcast.
So true. There you go.
Stay busy.
There you go. And then obviously on Tuesdays, you got your sushi and movie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right. So anything we didn't talk about that you want to cover, we'll give you a chance to make sure that, I know we covered a lot. We went all over the place, which is. Let's see.
Do you have any more questions?
We could go, if you really wanted, we could go for 20 more hours.
Is my specialty.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like I was born to be
do you even know how long we've gone yet? I'm impressed.
2 hours and 46 minutes.
So we started probably right around 8. Wow, are you going for the record of longest podcast I've filmed so far? Because you're getting up there.
Oh god, I'm not gonna get home till
that's
1.
A good. Yeah, no, so it's 11:30 right now. Oh. So you've gone a solid. I feel like over 3 hours. Yeah, which is that's pretty much. I'm
epic. Very talkative. If you get me talk, especially about something I'm passionate about, I will not stop.
Epic. So
I really want my own podcast, but I don't know how to operate it.
If you ever want to start, I'll try to help any way I can. I mean, I'm not a podcast expert. It's very
expensive though.
It looks expensive. It's not that bad. Honestly, you can get most of the shit on Amazon. You can get deals, bro. I got these fucking guests. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll call. Shout out world.
$3 dress. $3 dress. Remember that.
So this chair set. This was they were movie theater chairs, seats. Can't speak English. Me no English. And so they're connected, comfy, decent chairs. They're typically a few grand. Got them on Craigslist for a few $100s.
Wow.
Yo, and the guy almost never used them.
This is a great.
Dude,
space.
So this used to be, I used to have a roommate. Roommate lived here. He had his bed here, and it didn't look anything like this. And then I would come in here, and I would just vision. I was like, I want to start a podcast one day. Then eventually he moves out, and then just start finding the stuff, and you create, right? I mean, you know how that is. It's art. Yeah. You just fucking make it happen.
You know what we haven't done?
What?
I haven't asked you.
Ask me whatever you want.
So what is what is the dream?
The dream is to get to a place where I'm so comfortable that I can do anything that I'd like in my life, which means a lot of things. So one is my grandma, for example, passed away. She had a foundation, she had a foundation called Women on the Way Up, helping underprivileged girls to get more cultured and just learn about life.
All about that.
Yeah, very cool program. So I want to, if I had like all the money in the world, I would literally get that in every city in the country, and I'm going to, and I'm going to put her face on it. And like, that's
amazing.
That's one thing. I want a family compound in Cape Cod. Like, so there's money things that it's like, I want a lot of money, but a lot of it is because I legitimately want to do a lot of good. I'm not going to pretend I don't want things too. Like, I want nice things, and
I'm in the exact same boat.
Yeah, you can have both, right? Like, you can want nice things, and also, like, again, if I was wealthy, I would be so generous and do so many good things for others, like legitimately, because that's like a passion. It feels good.
Yes.
And it's weird. I think like a lot of my motivation comes from people who have passed away in terms of things that I want to do in the future. So like my grandma, I want to get her organization everywhere. I had a close friend who passed away, and I want to have like, you know, a building with his name on it and scholarships. And so, yeah, that's like one of the weird things that makes me tick.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's to have a mindset to even want to do that is really important, because I think a lot of people want to get rich and famous, and they don't really think about those things. And that's similar to some of the goals I have, especially like that's one of the biggest things that pushes me is my family. And especially like the wealthy aspect. I'm like, if I had all this money, I could change their lives.
Right.
Like they have more money now, but like all my relatives in Brazil, they don't have a lot.
Yeah, Brazil.
And I would love to be able to like, it's funny how one person can change an entire like generation of family.
Right.
And I feel like I have to do it because I can't rely on anyone else, which you shouldn't. You should rely on yourself.
True.
And I also think about my future children and my future grandchildren. And I'm like, what kind of legacy am I going to leave? I want to learn generational wealth. I know there's a secret.
There is.
That people, I've been learning a lot about it. And I want to be able to create generational wealth, but not just material things, but like I want the people in my family and the people that I'm going to create to understand the importance of giving back and the importance of sharing that wealth, but also maintaining it, because I was not raised to maintain wealth.
But it sounds like you've been pretty smart about money, though.
I've been pretty smart about money, but I definitely have done frivolous things. Yeah.
As we all have.
Yeah.
No, and I would say to add to that answer too, in addition to that, cheesy as it sounds, just like find pure happiness. Be at a point where like you wake up, you go to sleep, that entire time that you're up, you feel so happy. And where do I get that? Where am I going to find that? Because I'm happy now, but I'm not at that point yet. Like full happiness where you feel like just like so vibrant. Part of it is the right relationship. Part of it's being, you know, where you want to be in your career. I think those are like the two biggest things.
Yeah.
And just taking care of yourself.
Definitely.
100%.
Yeah. I agree. Traveling is also on my list.
Where have you traveled that you've like loved?
Brazil.
Okay.
That's because I'm from there.
Yeah.
I wanted
I
went to Rio, but then we went to Rio de Janeiro, which is 6 hours away.
Oh, there's a difference. I know.
Yeah,
I've been to Rio de Janeiro. I didn't know there was a Rio and Rio de Janeiro.
Yeah,
nice.
There's two, and so it was great. It was amazing meeting my family and seeing like the way I could have lived. But
very different life.
A very different.
Even
life.
Though you came from humble beginnings, that's another level.
Even a different level of humble beginnings, and they are more happy than anyone else in my family,
right?
Or any of my other relatives. They're so happy because they don't even realize what they're missing,
right?
And they don't need it.
Yeah,
they're not about material things.
Exactly.
They're about family.
When you grew up like that poor, it's hard to actually care about that stuff.
Exactly, and I really look up to them for that. But I really like being the oldest of 8 kids and being the first, and just thinking about the children I'm going to have one day and the life I'm going to live. I want to make sure that I'm somebody that, I want to be the person that starts everything. Like,
yes.
I want to make sure I'm giving my kids the best possible life, but not just like materialistically. Like, honestly, I don't care how much money we have. My kids are getting a job when they're in high school.
Yeah,
because I think that builds character. And
it does build character.
Yeah, I don't we could literally be as rich as the Kardashians, and they're going to be working some job somewhere. You can go I don't 100%. Care. I think.
Look how much money's still going to work.
Because there's nothing worse than say I make a lot of money and I become I have billions of dollars, and my kids never have to work ever. Whenever I die, they're going to spend all that money. It's going to be gone.
Of course.
I want to build something, but I also want to be able to give back. I want to be able to there's a lot of things I'm passionate about. One of it is like the young people and people not understanding that they can do anything that they set their mind to.
I can tell it's genuine, and I can tell because that's me too. Of like, you do want to motivate people.
I actually, it's one of my passions is to be like a motivational speaker.
Same. I left that out. That's literally something I want to do in the future. The only reason I don't do it now is because I don't feel like if I get on stage, everyone has to take me seriously because I haven't like made it far enough yet.
That's what kind of like God was telling me, like whenever I was having my heart to talk to him about like my struggles. He was like, you're going to move so many people and you're going to change so many people's mindsets because of all this that you've gone through. If you would have been born into wealth, if you would have not gone through this, then like, yeah, you could still do this, but like people are going to identify with you. If I can stand up on a stage and be like, I was where you are and this is where I am. Let me tell you how to get here.
Right.
And people don't understand that. People, especially young people, especially people from poverty, because that's where I come from. I come from absolutely nothing. And so if I can come from that, I know that they can. And it's just like telling them that. It's just pouring that into them and making them believe it. Because so many times we forget about our youth and we forget to tell them that like they don't have to go get a job they hate. They can move to LA. They can, if they want to be a dentist, go be a dentist. I know it's hard. Go do it. Like
put in the work.
There's so many things people can do and they don't believe in themselves. They aren't told that that's one time. So I told you, I asked people what their dreams are, what their goals are. I started doing that after my boss changed my life with that. And I asked one of my employees once, a girl I really liked, she was 16. And I said, you know, what is your dream? Like, what is your future? What school do you want to go to? Whatever. And she was like, honestly, I'll probably get pregnant in high school and drop out. And I was like,
she said that.
Yeah. And I was like, why? Do you have a boyfriend? She was like, no. And I was like, are you sleeping with someone? And she said, no. And I was like, then why did you say that? And she's like, well, all my sisters did.
So you just assume that that's what you have to do?
She accepted. She accepted it already because that's what her whole family says. She said no one in her family's graduated high school.
That shows how powerful a mindset is.
Exactly. And I literally, I made it my mission to change that mindset before I left. And I told her, I was like, you can do anything. And I told her that. I was like, you don't have to do this. You do not have to end up like that. You do not have to have a child at 16. Like, I know she wasn't trying to, but she literally was just like, that's probably what will happen to me because it's what happened to everyone else. I'm like, no, you can change that story. You can change that narrative.
Right?
You have the power. And people don't understand that. And it's something that I'm really passionate about is opening people's eyes and just having them see that the world, you get one life and once it's done, it's done. If you want to spend 50 years working in a plant that you hate, that's fine. But when you retire, you don't get to be young again and go live the life you want.
Right.
You're probably going to be done with living. Yeah. You're just going to want to like sit home and do puzzles. Yeah. I actually love doing puzzles now.
Like, I'm actually a big puzzle fan.
I'm doing puzzles at a young age, so.
Then it's all right. You start puzzles early.
It's still okay, but.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
People wait to live their life till later. Later isn't coming.
Correct.
Later is not on the way. Yeah. If you keep waiting for someday, you're never going to get there.
Exactly. I mean, literally, and this sounds so like morbid, but like legitimately, I could walk outside right now and a dude happens to have a gun and is like mad at someone and shoots and I'm just there and I get shot and I die. Like, who knows, right?
You do not know your time. You do not know how long you have. And one of the things I say every morning is, with whatever time I have left, let me make an impact in some way.
Boom.
That's
which you are right now.
Hopefully.
Yeah, I think for sure. You've impacted me. Legitimately.
I think the most thing I've done today is like make sure that I'm going to be single for at least the next decade. I have definitely made I've sabotaged myself really well.
You're good.
Sabotage at 100%.
No, I think legitimately the right guy is going to be like, this girl's cool as shit. For real. Like, the right guy will appreciate everything you've said.
Definitely he will, but I don't think the right guy's going to listen to this podcast.
Yeah, maybe not.
Maybe not 3 hours. Though. Yeah, right. That's one thing on my side. I don't think anyone's going to listen to 3 hours.
There you go. That's on your side.
But, like...
Except... certain people.
I will be really thoroughly impressed if they get through 3 hours of this. Then honestly,
that's dedication.
You should accept what I've said about
right,
you.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, at that point, they should just accept.
If they get through 30 minutes, if they even get to the parts about them, honestly, you know what? I'm not even worried.
There you go.
People listen to things for 10 minutes.
Exactly.
I know a couple people are gonna listen all the way through. Yeah. Shout out to you guys.
And it's funny.
Don't tell anyone what it's about. Make them watch it.
It's funny. Like when I first watched a Joe Rogan podcast, I was like, holy shit, this thing's like 3 hours. And then I listened to the entire thing, and I was like, all right, I can see how some people wouldn't, but some people, like, that is their thing.
Also, you don't have to watch it. You can,
exactly,
like, go
just
do
listen.
other things.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about podcasts. Literally, like, someone's working out right now, laughing.
I mean, I did really get really pretty for this podcast. Just saying.
There you go.
You don't have to watch it.
But you don't have to watch, but you can. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's good shit. Yo, it's been fucking epic. Seriously,
it's been awesome.
Seriously, like I legitimately I enjoyed it.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
I'm glad I didn't cancel.
Yeah, no, I'm glad too.
It was only like a 5% chance out of 100.
Oh, nice. That's not bad.
No.
Yeah, it's just a thought.
It's just because I wanted to watch The Joker. And
yeah, and I respect that.
Tuesday.
Hey, it's a Tuesday. it's sushi movie. Yeah, that's what you do on Tuesdays. Yeah. I respect that you're like, all right, I'm gonna put that down. I'm gonna come do a podcast.
Also, I know there's a Cane's close to here.
Yeah,
so.
That's so weird that you. That's.
I love Raising Cane's, and they don't have them in LA.
No, you don't know how weird that is. You know, coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. This isn't like we didn't plan this. This is just a funny moment that's happening right now. So I just did an unnecessary build-up, which I love doing. I love doing unnecessary build-ups. So I kid you not. I had not had Cane's in probably like at least a year. Uh-huh. I swear to you, last night, I literally see on DoorDash, like one of the only restaurants still open is Cane's. I was like, and it's a way higher delivery fee than most. It's $7. Normally it's like a $2 delivery fee. I was like, fuck, I haven't had Cane's forever. I literally have Cane's in my fridge right now. There's leftover Cane's. I ordered so much Cane's. Their sauce is amazing. Yeah. And the fries and the chicken and the toast. It's all on point. I
love Chick-fil-A, but it's got nothing on Cane's.
Maybe not, actually.
Chick-fil-A has a very different, it has a very diverse menu. Cane's has strips. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're making a living off of strips.
Right?
Chick-fil-A couldn't do that.
I mean, no, they can't. I mean, I will say, just saying. I mean, Chick-fil-A is pretty bomb, but they're not making a living off strips.
They're not. Cane's has, the
Cane sauce, too, is just stupid good.
The cane sauce is...
What is that? It's like peppercorn in there.
It's
and
like
some,
everything. It's like mayonnaise.
Yes.
And
mustard,
ketchup,
maybe.
Everything.
Yeah.
It's like everything.
Amazingness?
Yeah.
If that's a sauce, they just throw amazingness in there.
The way they develop Chick-fil-A sauce. Have you had Chick-fil-A sauce?
I have. It's like a creamy yellow mustard mayonnaise.
Almost all the sauces mixed together. Somebody that worked in one of the restaurants developed it, and it became so popular they started mixing it and selling it. Wow. Not selling it, but giving it away. Yeah. Then Chick-fil-A found out about it and bought the recipe from him, and he quit and retired.
I love it. What a way to fucking make it.
But I think the same thing happened with Cane's.
I want to have that dude on.
I'm not for sure.
Yeah, but it might be. Yeah, I want to have that dude on the podcast, the Chick-fil-A sauce inventor. That's bomb sauce. Yeah. It's like, it's maybe not as good as the sauce of Cane's, but it's solid.
It's still addicted.
Yeah, it's addicted.
Yeah. But no, Cane's is just the bread.
Dude, that's so weird. I literally had this last night.
That was
I'll show you before you go. There's Cane's in the fridge. Every time I come to
Laguna, I'm like, there is a Cane's close by. Yeah. My radar is going on.
Right? So Cane's, but
I think I might have missed it, but
yeah. What time? Let's say 11:50. Yeah, it's getting there. Well, here, let's. So last thing we do on the podcast. Well, two things. First, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at Little Bit of Wisdom, but it's LIL_BIT_of_wisdom.
LIL_BIT.
I like to be difficult.
There you go. _of_wisdom.
Yeah. I'm not changing it. So
no, you should not ever change that.
I love it.
Never change that. So a little bit of wisdom. Anywhere else?
I might start YouTube. I don't have it up now. So
okay, eventually.
Go to my Instagram. You can find everything else out on there, and. Maybe like the photo I just posted that did really poorly.
You should like that photo. Whichever photo, just like it.
Just like
so, it. Lil_bit_of_wisdom.
At the time, I didn't realize it sounded like a rapper, but when you type it in, a lot of rappers.
I just made it sound like a rapper.
No, when you type it in, a lot of rappers come up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's good to know. That is good to know. A little bit of wisdom. Yo, seriously, I appreciate it.
I love it.
And hope to have you back at some point, too, because I know we have even more to talk about.
Even though we could go forever.
I believe it, and I like it. So we'll do a round two at some point in the future.
Sounds good.
So how we end this podcast is this. We do, you're like, there's an ending to this? So what we do, you're good. The globe. So I know, so much effort getting that globe. So we do a little song. It's always the choice of the guest. So whatever song you want to do, we can play a song. You don't have to sing, or you can sing. Either way, or we can rap. Whatever you want. Or get a little Spotify? YouTube up. Oh, dude, I'm so old school. I use literally YouTube. I literally go to I'm gonna call myself out. I'm gonna pull up YouTube.
We're gonna go with Lizzo Truth Hurts.
Lizzo, Truth Hurts. Nice. And so we're going to sing our way out.
Anthem right now.
Lizzo, Truth Hurts. This is the anthem.
It's the anthem.
And then what I do is I start playing it, and then I slowly walk and turn the camera off, and then we finish this epic sesh. Here we go.
So I don't have to dance?
You're welcome to dance. You can do whatever you want. Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to dance. You don't have to sing. You can do whatever. Just whatever comes to you. Hey.
If I walk over there. I'm not gonna sing it.
Oh, this is a sick song. Yeah, I've definitely heard that.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
It's on my generation.
Right? Yeah. Hey. This might be the song of our generation.
Just saying.
Just saying. Hey. Yo, you killed it. Yeah. Oh, you can play us out. Oh yeah. Oh, you got this. Hey.
Just saying.